Well, we're here. How are you beautiful tubers doing? Holy cow, man. Once I started talking just now, that I realized, man, this is in my chest. Ouch. Ouch. Yes, you are first. Yes, you are. The Roz. Betsy Weingartner, how you doing? Hellcat80, what's up? Fly on the wall, a sweetheart. How are you? I'm not comfortable. I'm comfortable at all. I gotta get everything's messed up here. Why is that messed up? Let me get it. I gotta pay some. See how Christmas went, and I need to get a new outfit. So crazy here. It was snowing. No, it still kind of is. It's snowing here. D-Rex, what's up, my man? Lady Tammy, keep me company at work for the afternoon. It's gonna be a party. Denise Bergson, how are you doing? It's 5 degrees Celsius and the sun is shining here. Riding Mountain, Manitoba, Canada. Could never send you a letter. There's so many letters in where you live. You know, I've always thought it'd be cool to if you lived in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. So I'm gonna start saying I live. That's where I'm from. Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Real place. Broken Hearted, how are you? Linda Lazier, what's up? Daniel Barry Sports Highlights, how are you? I had to stop for a second and think about what Mucinix was because I was thinking about this stuff, which I probably need to take this. I was going to tell you before the stream. So, Lady Jamming, Mucinix. Yeah, and I had to stop taking it. It was killing my stomach. I may take some more, though. I was thinking about that. I was like, so what do I do? Like, I need to loosen it back up, but man, it's. Talked to a guy today. He had it before Christmas, and what's he saying? RSV or something? RVS? That's what they think it is. I don't know. Respiratory something sucky value. Grandkids Taxi, how are you doing? She Hunts, how are you? David Nelson, what's up? CJ Lorraine, I have a neighbor getting a garage built. The thing I'm wondering about is why are they using nails instead of screws? RSV, yeah, you're right. That's what it was. So you know what? Not many people think this way, CJ. It's nails are the thing. But so like when who was I talking to? I was talking to Shizzy last night about that. About like, you know, the price of lumber will be going up. And I was talking about my mother-in-law got a deck built. So she had her son design it. He's an engineer. So of course he got over-engineered, overbuilt. Like normally on like what it was like 6-inch wide boards, 4-inch, not 4, there's 6, I think. Anyway, you'd have like 2 nails in it, right? Going down the line. He had 3 screws. Is most overbuilt thing ever. I mean, that thing will last longer than anything in the world. But yeah, screws are definitely the better thing to go. By the way, that reminds me, my front door lock was loose. Steam can also help loosen up. Yeah, I forgot to take my eye drops yesterday, and that's supposed to be like part of the process. Is steam the shower. And so I was in the hot shower just a second ago. Use Robitussin DM and Vicks Vaporizer. My mom used to put Vicks on me, man. If I had the old-fashioned Vicks, I heard they don't make it anymore. Actually, they got some Zicam that reminded me of it. Hey, you know what, though? I've got one more of the red stockings. Let's get this party going. Mm. Hey, Joe. My daughter lives in Koreatown, LA, is about 10 miles from her. Oh, wow. I'm watching. So, like, the TV sucks so bad for like Apple stuff and trying to find streams and everything. I'm on NBC LA over there. And they're interviewing a woman, and I was like, what does her hat say? And it's a Premier Meat Company. Yeah, it's me. I was trying to show the eye. That was a chili pepper. So weird. The design is like in the Premier. It's a chef's knife. I thought it was a chili pepper. I thought it's a Premier Heat Company. Brains, right? Well, I do need to go to the store either today or tomorrow, but we'll see. Building a structure with screws in it is screwed all the way around. Oh, man, I'm sorry, guys. I sound better today. Maybe a little bit better this morning than I did. I'm like, this is the truth right here. That's the truth. All right, we got to start looking at some of these things. I'm gonna start looking these up. Let's see here. So I started to jump on and do this thing real quick because Joe Biden is still there. He's still in Los Angeles. He's been there like 3 days now. That means the Air Force One's in there, not letting helicopters fly around. So the news helicopters can't fly around and assess the damage. Is that not crazy? LA, who has like, there's a car chase. It's LA. Why? Because they got all the helicopter stuff, all the TV crews. I mean, TVs make all their money with the helicopter deals, and they can't fly. We got, well, one, they're saying wind now, but also they're grounded because Air Force One is parked over there at LAX. And so I heard today Joe Biden's over there because he's having a grandbaby born. It's funny. I was like, I guess this isn't the the stripper's kid that Hunter had and ignored. That kid didn't get a stocking in the Christmas card. So yeah, he's sending FEMA to help. Good luck with that, LA. Well, probably help out. They'll make it there before they make it in North Carolina. You could try eucalyptus branches in your hot shower to help you lose them. I'm not Australian. I'm not. I don't have koala DNA. Something like 80% of Australians share DNA with koalas. It's a crazy statistic. What? Vicks is solid now? Oh, that's stupid. I'm talking about that old like petroleum jelly. That, gosh, man, that stuff. Oh, that smell. I hated that. I mean, if you coughed or sneezed, your mom would. Here she comes after you, man. She got all her fingers, like, rub it all over you. Oh, it's awful. Um, Actually, hang on a second. I am going to take this, which means I'm going to turn the camera off because I'm not going to have you. I mean, it's bad enough I eat. I'm not going to have you watch me shove something on my nose. I'm not a. I'm not a guy. Hang on. I need to turn that off. There we go. Thank you. Commie internet. What are you doing, Baker? How are you doing? Are you doing the Lolita of Boston? Is that real? Like, I didn't know there was really gonna be another trial. Right? Oh my god. So anyways, they had Joe Biden on and Governor Newsom. And I was like, oh, I started like, oh man, like be covering this right now. Well, they're inside of a huge fire department. And then Newsom starts to talk to the lady who introduced them. She, great voice, came through clear in that microphone. They go to Newsom. They don't have him a microphone. He's not mic'd up. Can't hear him. They go to Joe, and he's like, I mean, it was like, what is happening? And then, like, they wanted to ask questions. They looked around, and they just, next thing you know, they start pushing the press out. So they didn't get to ask the governor of California or the president of the United States a single question about the biggest catastrophe in U.S. history. Oh, by the way, I started hearing that last night after I got done streaming. You know, we were saying that yesterday. I was like, guys, think about it. This is the biggest thing we've ever seen in our lifetime. I heard several late night, man. Those what was it? K-Cow was on and something else. Hang on a second. Oh, you can still get old Vicks. That's awesome. Linda, how you doing? It's Lindy, isn't it? Lindy? Yeah, well, it does. It says Lindy. I'm not very bright. I'm not very bright. I like to have a hug right now from France. That'd feel nice. I was texting a client and thought I recently closed out YouTube. I can't leave expert unsupervised for 2 minutes. What'd I do now? What happened? You can't. You know you can't. You know what's funny? Also, Lady Tammy, I don't know if you've noticed this, but like for some reason, I recognize you in the chat more than do it. It has to be something with the avatar. I don't know what it is. Hey, Libby, what's happening? Oh, the LA mayor's still in gun. No word from him. No word. You think Hurricane Helene was worse? I mean, it was pretty bad, but you didn't get to see it live on the ground. What was happening? We kind of heard about it afterwards. We were watching this. I mean, there were 4 fires over there. It's an unbelievable thing. I bet you there may be more. Boy, that chick looks like a serial killer. Sorry, I should watch. I get distracted. No, he's waiting to have his great grandbaby. So, yeah, you live right there. You live right over there. What was I saying about all that stupid stuff? Oh yeah, here we go. This is what I want to say. So Palisades, it's now 11,802 acres. Last night it was 3,000 when we left. Eaton, the second one that started like 200 acres, 400 acres, is now 10,600. Hearst, which started after I was ready to go to bed, it wasn't streaming. It was like 10 acres, and then I think I saw 100 last. They're saying it's 500 now, and there's a Woodley fire. There's a 4th fire, which is 75 acres. All of this is in Los Angeles County. The fire chief said they asked for help from Oregon, Arizona, and Nevada. There are 1,000 fire trucks headed towards Los Angeles right now. It is I will. How do I get to Discord? Why won't this go down? There it is. Now I gotta set my stuff back up. Sorry. That's on the wrong side. Oh. I love it, Lady Tammy. I love it. That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, now you give me inspiration. That is awesome. Hey, Mahal, how's it going? Hey, is Baker came in and said something about communism. Is that what's happening over? Are you guys doing the Boston Lolita? Is that really a case? I didn't know, man. Like I thought you were replaying the first one. You got a fifth one last night. You had a fifth. That's a lot of alcohol, dude. Maybe. I don't know. All right, let's see if we can find some of these things. So here's what happened. I had kept all my streams up. I was ready to do it, and then I got this like wild hair, this wild crazy idea that what I need to do is just shut everything out and not remember, and not like be like where I was, where we were, all the things we watched, and we go today and restart the algorithm, just like start hitting the questions. And so let's do that right now. Let's what I still want to find is I'd like to find some people that are doing live on the ground. Wait, how do you spell Los Angeles? LAS? Or is it Las Vegas? Oh, there you go. All right, there we go. And then we go live. Oh, that's not her. That one. And then, oh, this is a good one. No, there's other people there. Ooh. All right. So here's something, guys. Oh, is this the same one from yesterday? I got to put my earphones on or my earbuds. Oh, they're there. Oh, yeah. This was kind of like what we were watching. This is the one we were watching yesterday, I think. It's not the same exact one, but it's the same type of colors. So they weren't talking. And let's bring this up. Sorry, I'm so far behind. Oh, that's awesome. She's flying. We have flight. We have flight.
Firefight up here.
Oh, we have flight. Yes, it's up.
Fire helicopters and tankers have had trouble flying as well. But hopefully, as the winds die down, they will have a better handle.
Oh, it's awesome.
For now, we're live at News Chopper 4. Back over to you.
So I was going to ask about that, Victoria. I've not heard that part. Now I've heard that, like, supposedly that museum up there, it's supposed to be something or other like that. But here's my question: Is it wrong to think, with all that's happened? Why is this screen so messed up, man? I am like, why is the chat is huge, and I am tiny. This is the weirdest. Why is this like that? Well, this whole thing's messed up. I'm on a different browser, by the way, y'all. So I went to the Brave browser because that stupid Edge, man, it messes up all the time. It just messes up. Let's see here. What is what's the settings? Stop it. Stop picking. Is at 100? That's so weird. Whoops, wrong one. Boy, I messed that up. I just yeeted myself. There we go. Okay. I don't know why the size of everything's messed up. Like the chat on this on my side, you guys are like half the size of the entire screen. It's the weirdest thing. I'm like this little teeny tiny like little midget up here, and then as opposed to like a big midget, I suppose. God, I'm so bad. I don't feel good. You know what? I'm tired. I'm worn out. I've got a little bit of the PTSD. That's what's happening. I got PTSD now. So look, there's 2 dead, 1,000 structures destroyed, it says. So the 2 dead came from the Hearst fire, which is the second one, not the big Pasadena fire. Palmetto. No, Palisades fire. Not that one. That one. I mean, let's just go back. Okay, well, hold it. They said there's 2 people are deceased, but they don't know if it's from the fire or not. Could be another medical issue. Y'all, do you realize how great that is? That's what we were saying that last night. We're like, God, the people just live. I mean, if you do that, everything can be rebuilt. But oh my gosh, I mean, the idea that nobody passed away, there's nobody trapped in homes. I mean, remember they had all those people from the nursing home out in the parking lot, freezing, inhaling smoke. Oh, look at the plane! Here it comes! Here you go! We got to drop! We got to drop! Come on! I wish we could hear it go. I mean, no, that's not sound like that sounds as a bad noise. The is my version of water dropping out. Maybe I just need to stick to being dumb. Hey, Yamaha biker, how's it going, bud? What's been going on, man? Much like Baker, the expert is stymied by size. Apparently, 50 millimeters is huge. 50 millimeters is huge on a thing. It's 20 inches. 50 millimeters is 20 inches, right? Are you laughing about my sound effects? They're horrible. I'm climbing out. Who's climbing out? Yeah, splat. Yeah, that's a noise I made. But now look at this. Oh man, see, I wish I can't see this good because I'm having issues. You're not big enough. I feel like I've heard that before. Let's see here. Can I not do something here? Okay. But if I do that, see, that does that wrong. I don't want that. Oh, wait. No, that's incredible, but I can't pull up chat. Oh, I could hide chat. How do I hide chat? It didn't make me any bigger. Why am I not any bigger? I pay good money to get big. This is horrible. That is a horrible. Oh my gosh, you got smaller again. What is? Oh, I can't find a good browser. There's no browser I like. I'm gonna try Opium or whatever next. Olympus, Oxy. What's that one called? Opera. I'm gonna try Opera. Yeah, I know. I gotta get it together. Hey, let me tell you what. It is 3:00. It is snowing. We have massive fires. I'm sitting here talking in the daylight, and Lady Tammy's wearing something that I can't stop thinking about. She sent me a picture, y'all. No, I've been tested. It's really high. It's really, really high. What, 20 millimeters is 2 inches? Well, at least I had the two. I had the 2 part, right? 10 millimeters. Oh, yeah, 10 millimeters is 4/10 of an inch. Ask me how I know. All right, so we got this one. Let me find another one. Hopefully, I can do this right. Oh, they're in here. They're doing awful stuff over here. Let's see here. There you go. And then hit filters. We're gonna do it for live. I mean, why is there not a man on the street type of thing? Money Control. I don't think that's a good website. Western wildfires. This chick looks familiar.
on how that was happening in the area.
All right. So
I mean,
I don't know who
so
they're
what are you
interviewing,
going
but
to
I'm like,
do? What are
oh,
folks
wait.
going to do? And I mean, this is a whole nother story, right? For folks
Where's my
like
thing?
you that might lose
There you go.
everything, and you're
Who
not
is that
even
chick?
insured.
Does she look familiar?
It's at the time it was devastating.
I mean, obviously
We
that
worked hard
guy
to
is
try to find
somebody. He's
some
somebody
carrier that would
rich.
cover us. That wasn't available. Nobody would cover the property, and there was no other choice. And so when you ask, what are you going to do? Well, first of all, we don't know whether our house is standing or not standing. But if it's not standing, the answer is, I don't know. You know,
Let's see here.
there's no good answer. I don't know
All
what
right.
to do.
Man, these are
They're
all trying to get the man on the street. They're trying to get the interview.
Problem,
How's this affecting your life? We know how it's affecting your life. They lost everything, y'all.
I don't know.
Yeah. And
Well,
that's going to be the second part to this story that I think we're going to be covering for folks like you. You know, we can talk about the devastation.
For folks
but
like
then
you,
when
what
you're
are you
so
talking
used, I mean,
about,
you know, we all pay insurance. You know, we pay it.
Yeah,
for times
insurance
like
thing
this.
is horrible
And the fact
in
that a
California.
carrier
I mean,
would pull
this
it,
is
it just
failure.
doesn't seem
Failure
right. That's a
leadership.
whole nother discussion. But
all right, here's what we're
The
gonna
other
do. We're
part
gonna
of it
share
that-
this tab instead. Look at this.
Yeah, very difficult. I could understand their frustration.
They
you know,
have.
trying to tackle all the fires in the neighborhood.
They're pretty good.
You know, it's not just one fire. The
That
whole
chick's
city's kind of
somebody,
burning. So we're just trying to stay calm,
Oh,
collective, and let them do their job the best that they can.
And you've said you've lived here your entire life here in Altadena, Pasadena area. How bad is this compared to what you've seen in your lifetime?
This has probably been the worst. We had the winds probably about 10 years ago, and that was pretty bad, but this is no comparison.
Tell me a little bit about last night when this all started. You were saying it hadn't even sunk in how bad a situation this was, how difficult it was until you had a moment to sit down after you evacuated.
Yeah, we started smelling
There
the
we go.
smoke. We realized that the fires.
That better move.
were
Hey,
burning.
Ballstone, what's happening?
We
Nobody
looked
wants to
outside our
breathe
window
that
and
in.
the
That's
hill
why
was
there's
just completely
not a man on the
burning
street.
red. That kind of
Well, then that makes sense.
hit us
I
hard.
understand that.
Got our things, got out, and then later on in the evening,
Oh yeah,
when we
so
heard the
this
news,
was
what
their
was going on,
kind of police
made
chief,
us feel even more worried
fire chief
as
was
to
talking about
what's to
said.
come.
And then you were saying that your father-in-law, they haven't lived in this neighborhood very long. So
like,
what
you
was
know,
it
like
for them to
one of
see
the
this
most important
happening
things you can
so
get is your
soon to
cell phone
moving
charger,
in?
which I was
I'm
surprised
sure
by
for
saying
them
that.
it was
But said if it depends between
mix
that
of
and your
emotions,
life, if it's
crazy
immediate
emotions.
evacuation, immediately evacuate.
In Westwood, where our Gail Anderson is
Shelter
at an
Refugio.
evacuation center. Hi, Gail.
Hi there. We're at the
Refugio
as you
shelter.
can see, the refuge evacuation center here, Westwood Recreation Center in Westwood. We're here with Mimi Teller of the American Red Cross because in the time we've been
Hey,
here,
Mimi,
this
how you
morning,
doing?
there are miracles
Mimi's got
happening
some
here. Yes, it's horrible that
long
people
lips.
are evacuated here and they're following our coverage and our information to find out what's happening in Pacific Palisades because it's all still very frightening and a mystery. But in the meantime,
I don't think it's a
this is
mystery.
beyond
There's a
shelter.
fire and it
What
took
we
everything
see
out,
and hear
lady.
going on inside is comforting.
Well, you know, people have found a safe place to stay, and we're working with all our community partners to keep people informed, well fed, and just know that they're supported right now.
And this is one of several shelters the American Red Cross has set up where you're telling us there are quite a few people.
Correct. We have 3 shelters total with nearly 100 people across all 3 shelters, and we're taking care of everyone the best we can.
And for folks who want to know, the other is Richie Valens Recreation Center, Pacoima, and El Camino Real Charter School, that's Woodland Hills. In addition to the comfort and information you're providing people, I've seen some incredible miracles happening here. I've seen the fire department, the LA Fire Department, they've got members here talking to the evacuees, checking on whether they have their medication, and if they don't, how they can replace that.
And that's a perfect example of how we work with our community partners. We reached out to them, we let them know what they need, and they showed up to support.
No, that's
and
commercial.
Then showing up, you're not calling them, they're not calling anybody. People are calling you.
So we got more weather alerts here.
That we have in
I don't know.
place
Should
again.
she be wearing
And
blue
you can
shoes with
pull-
a
if
black
you
dress?
see the smoke, if you see ash, You want to make sure you you head indoors. This is the type of stuff you do not
Should
want
she
to
be
breathe
wearing that
inside.
outfit?
You know, we're not talking about
think
ash, but
that's,
also the chemicals that are burning from these homes. You just don't know
faux
what you're
pas.
taking in, and certainly unhealthy. So we do have the smoke advisory that has been extended to
He
include
became a
Orange
park ranger
County
after designing
and
golf
parts of the
courses.
Inland Empire
That's
through
awesome.
tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to get extended as we head into the coming day. So the smoke futurecast, I just want to point this out because, again, you have the offshore winds coming in from the northeast. It's pressing all that smoke to
You guys have to be careful
the,
around
the
Yamaha
southwest.
Biker.
So this
He's
is
a
why we're talking about here
leathersmith.
the
He's out
smoke
there
advisory in place
making
for
belts
the
and-
basin, for example,
Have you ever
on the
made
valleys,
a
and also down
bullwhip
into Orange County. Look at
Yamaha?
all that smoke. Look at the
That'd be cool
darker
if you
colors,
did,
the
man. It'd
oranges.
be like
It just
a Indiana
represents how
Jones.
thick that
You
smoke
wouldn't have
is
to be
as we
Yamaha
continue
Biker.
throughout
You
the
could be
rest of the
Yamaha
day
Jones.
today, and even as we head into tomorrow
Hey,
too.
Great Dale, how are you
Although the
doing?
winds won't be as strong,
Yeah, it
it's
should
still
be
going to be
rich,
gusty
dude.
in some areas
But
as we
you know
head
what,
into
though? Of all the
your
one of
Thursday.
the
So
chicks
this
that
is what we can
we've
find again.
judged here
Just
in the
that dense
past
smoke
24
continuing
hours,
to work its way
she looks
toward
short.
the
I bet you
south
it's a
direction.
camera angle
Here's a
trick. I
look at
bet
the
you she's
wind gust
probably
future
like
cast, and we
7
hone in a
feet
little bit
tall. What do you
closer
think?
in some
She's got
spots,
big
and this is
heels.
around the San Gabriel Valley, Duarte, Glendora, back into Pasadena, where
No,
we're
she's
looking
not
at
be wearing
gusts
blue
here,
shoes with a black
calming
dress.
down a little bit as we continue through the afternoon. Occasionally seeing gusts
they're
getting close to 20
multicolored
miles
shoes.
an hour there in Glendora, for example, gusting around 15 miles
The
an hour
skill
there in
of
Pasadena. And as we progress
jonesing
throughout the rest of the
doesn't
evening,
interest you?
again, the gusts
Any
out this
Indiana
way, not
Jones?
looking too bad. But if you look up to the north, you see some of the coloring there. So we're still
Well,
looking
you
at
know.
gusts in areas nearby, gusts around 30 to 40 miles an hour, especially in the San
He's
Gabriel
cool.
Mountains. And as we continue into tomorrow,
You're
again,
more
looks
of
a little
the
bit
what was
calmer
his
for the
friend
most
in
part, or a little bit
Egypt?
lighter
You're more that
your
guy.
way. But let's
You're more
focus
like, you know,
over
wearing the
Ventura
flowing
County,
robe.
LA County, because it's been
You got
pretty,
like
pretty
10
gusty out
kids.
here. Where as we put this into play,
You got the
head
big old
into,
beard and all that
let's just
stuff.
say the next
Yeah.
hour, 1 p.m.
I
Still
see
looking
you.
at
Yeah,
gusts
but
over
you,
30
Yamaha,
miles
that's
an hour in
cool.
some areas.
He was
like
Gimli
Woodland
too.
Hills down into Malibu, gusts right around 41 miles an hour. As we head into
Yeah,
the late
he's a,
afternoon time frame, 3, 4 o'clock later on
What are they called?
today,
Leathersmiths?
you see we start to back off in some of the colors. So
Like a leather
you see mainly the
seamstress.
yellows, for
Zach!
example,
What's
gusts
happening?
around 20, 30, even upwards
Y'all
of
may
40
not know
miles an
this,
hour.
but you know
So
Zach,
it's still going to be pretty
ZAC.
strong, just not as strong
He
as what
came up
we're
with the
experiencing
original
here
recipe
right
from
now.
Zach's
As we head just
Chicken.
around midnight, we're
Little
still
chicken finger
seeing
place, little
the
drive-thru
occasional
chicken
gusts
place.
out around Porter Ranch, Simi Valley, for example, down to Malibu, with gusts around 30 miles an hour.
So, all
Here's a
right,
look
so we
at
got, what's
Pacific
this?
Palisades
Come on,
in
we gotta
your
get past
hour
this.
by
We gotta get
hour
past this. What else we
wind
got
gust
here?
forecast, where
I
you're
got that.
seeing,
We got
again, the
this.
strongest gusts. We had it this
All right, hang on a
morning
second.
and
I'm going to
still
show you guys.
continuing
This
around
is
this
a,
time. Gusts around 43 miles an hour, and
this
then
is
coming
bad.
down as we head throughout the
It was
rest of
just
the day
bad.
around 6 p.m.
All right. Little Miss LA. We're going to mute her. We're going to go right here. Do you guys see this? So this is what I was talking about earlier. Watch this. It's like, okay.
Agencies.
I thought that was a woman. There was a guy talking. There
On
was a guy
Sunday
talking.
afternoon from Northern California into Southern California. My local partners began upstaffing their own fire stations, helicopters, fire engines,
Yamaha,
and
you have a
crews
customer.
to be prepared for an incident like this that occurred. Those resources were pre-positioned in counties throughout Southern California for an event just
Look
like
at
this.
Newsom.
And on Tuesday morning, the Palisades fire began. I'd now like to introduce you to Chief Crowley, who can touch on the Palisades
Oh,
fire.
okay, maybe this.
Thank you.
Hey, Shelly, how you doing?
Thank you so much, Mr.
I
President.
knew there was
I'm here
a
just
woman
to provide
talking.
you a brief on 3 significant fires that have occurred within the city of Los Angeles.
Why are they showing this? Oh,
With
I'm
that,
showing
I'm gonna
this
be
to you.
focusing on
I'm
the
showing this to you.
Palisades fire.
Like this
That
happened
fire
earlier.
broke
It's
out
like,
yesterday
here, we
morning
can fast
around
forward this. You'll like
10:30.
this.
We did
You'll like
pre-deploy
this.
a number of resources. We knew this was
Okay,
there was
so-
a potential for
One coordinator. I contacted the governor's office of emergency services.
Yep. And, then look.
And it appears homes are still burning. And if you pan off to the right, Tony, you can see another.
No, why did I go past them? There you go. Can't hear them.
Mr. President, just first of all, that makes disaster declaration improved.
They're not mic'd up.
All residents here in Southern California. As the chief said, we're in a big position last
I mean, this is the leader of the most populous state in America and the leader of the free world, and they can't get a freaking microphone? I mean, what do they think? They think they're me? You know, they're going to mute themselves? I had to look down before I said it. You see that? I looked down to see if I was muted.
people that have been evacuated, lives lost, traditions, lifestyles.
I mean, what?
History is the world to us.
Boy, this is your time to shine. It sucks. I'd like to see what Biden says, though, because as soon as he says it, they whisk everybody away. He might say, all right, that's enough. Can we get some barbecue or something like that? Get pizza.
Mr. President, thank you for being here, but not just being here today. Thank you for being here since the minute of this incident.
Since the beginning of the incident, he's been there for 3 days.
All right, so obviously it's not just me, right? It is tough to hear.
Right.
The audio is a little bit difficult to hear, but
This
in
is
the
a different
beginning,
one
we
than what
got
I saw.
a
The one I
summary
saw
of the
kept
situation
playing.
where the president and the governor were briefed on the very
Did you
latest.
see that,
and
though?
what's
I
going
didn't
on?
catch that.
It did sound like.
He said, my son lives out here. And he started, we're out here, great grandpa. He's like, I'm just here for the kid. When do I get to smell the hair? Holy cow. Yeah, I was watching it on a different channel. And so they kept him on the whole time. And as soon as he says that, as soon as he's done talking right there, they will start whisking out the the press. Oh, that was so bad. Yeah, that was so bad. Wow. Well, good for Hunter the Third or whatever it's going to be called. All right, let's see what they're doing though right now.
We do still see
Look at
that
this
plume of just smoke out, and this is going to be from the Eaton Canyon fire there, where
So
things are
that
just not
is that
looking
should
good
be
out
what
there,
is
guys.
that?
Yeah, speaking of Eaton
never
Canyon and the Eaton fire, let's go.
Let's
to
go. How
right
you
now.
doing? You ripping Fireball as well? Fireball.
Good morning.
No, I
We
don't
are
have
at
that.
El Molino in
Yeah, Fireball.
Calaveras,
You
and
doing
you just
that?
see the firefighters working so hard out here to
Hey,
try
Shiz, what's
to
up? 100
salvage
days.
what they can
There are parts
of
of North
the
Carolina,
Altadena
Tennessee still have
Baptist
no
Church,
power.
but you can see that it is completely engulfed in flames. It has gotten even worse since I last spoke with you, but firefighters from
You
the
think,
LA County Fire Department did
how
arrive
long do you
here
think
on
it's gonna take
scene
out
because
there?
they're trying to
I
save
mean, this is
the
going to be a
home,
glass
the
parking
building
lot.
that's next door to this church, because what happened was the church continued to go up in flames, and then the trees and the bushes next to it started to ignite. So that's currently where a firefighter is standing right now to try to put out the flames, try to put out the hot spots. But there's also embers flying everywhere, and we've noticed that those embers have been starting more fires throughout this neighborhood here on El Molino and Calaveras. So obviously a very serious situation here. Firefighters using all the possible resources they can.
You've done a
They
lot of
did
big
tap this
stuff,
fire
man.
hydrant here
Don't
to
undersell
try to get
yourself.
more water, as much
He's done
water
like a
as they
saddle.
can. That is the bright news here, if you
He's
can
done
say there's
boots,
some bright
big old
news, is the
cowboy
fact that
boots.
firefighters do have water here that they've been able to utilize. The problem is,
Oh, yeah,
there
they're
just
out of
simply
water.
are not enough firefighters. So a lot of homes have been burning to the ground because
Another
the firefighters
36
are doing the
hours
very
of
best they
high,
can, but they just don't have
high
enough people
winds.
to get to
Wait, I can't
and
find
respond
box
to these
wine
neighborhoods
to
as
drink with
much as
Annie
they would
Bev
like
Fireball. The
We've
worst I can
spoken
do.
to a
Oh,
lot of
dude.
residents, some
Yeah,
who
man,
have
you need the
chosen
box
to
wine. We
stay
do some true
despite
crime
the
and box
evacuation
wine.
warnings, and some people like James, who you heard from
It's
in the
Baker.
last
That's
hour,
his
said
big
he
thing
didn't
now.
want to
He's a
leave
big
because he'd been working on
box
his
wine
home
guy.
for a couple
We're
of
gonna have to get
months,
some
and he
box
just
wine
felt
for
like
when
he couldn't
Baker
leave
comes
it
to
behind. I also spoke to another
Dollywood.
man who came back for his medications, because a lot of people are also telling me that they had
We have
to
another
leave
man that came back for his
immediately and
medications because, like,
evacuate
you know, he
because the
needs
fire was coming
those.
their way, and then they realized that they
And
didn't have
all
some
the
of those
good stuff.
important items,
Yeah, you
those
kind of
important
forgot that
documents,
on the way out.
all of the things
Dude, you
that
need
are
that.
really important when you have a
Hail
plan
Shizzy
and do the ready,
Wiznut.
set,
How you
go,
doing,
to make sure
sir?
you
What
have
is
all of those
happening?
things with you if you can. But for some of these people,
Craziest
like
guy
they
in the
said, it just
tubes.
happened so quickly they needed to leave
Best you can
and
do.
save themselves. So some of them are coming back.
And you
Some
can't
are
do
unfortunately
bad.
finding that their homes are burned, and
That makes
others are
sense.
finding that their homes are
Emails were
still
sent to
threatened.
Senator Ted
So they're
Cruz,
getting as
Grandpa,
much
Wall
as they
Street Journal,
can,
Tucker
but
Carlson,
the firefight still continues very strong here at the Altadena Baptist Church. I'll send it back to you.
on U.S.
Well,
currency.
that certainly is a nice sight to see that you have a firefighter there doing his or her best, right? But
Right.
as you mentioned, there simply
Come on,
aren't
you
enough
fold it all
firefighters
up, and it looks like the
to
World Trade Center.
get the job done. In this case, there is water, but not enough firefighters.
I don't know. I'm
specifically where
confused.
you are and what you're talking
My
about. Coco,
sister
thank
used
you.
to love box wine.
Before we go back
Debbie
out
Blair,
to
is your
Pacific
sister
Palisades
a
to Matthew, I do want to
true
mention
crime
that
box wine in bed by
135,000, over
nine?
135,000 LADWP customers do not have
I love
power.
that thing.
Also, Also, a
I need to
boil
put
water
that
notice
on,
has been issued for Pacific Palisades. So that's the area
cup.
code 90272 and the adjacent area.
90210.
So just 2 bits of information that just came out.
Go
Also,
back to the dude.
Pasadena
Okay, so like
schools
all these
closed
homes,
throughout
they're
the
still
week.
all in the danger.
On
That is not
Arcadia,
that
schools
smoke
closed
right
today
there.
and tomorrow, but that could
Like
change
we
as well.
don't
All right,
see
let's
the
go back out
flames.
to
The
Matthew
whole
right
this is
now,
on fire.
joining our
It's zero
coverage right now
containment
from
still.
Pacific Palisades. Matthew.
Yeah, we're near Las Flores
Box
and
wine,
PCH,
I
and it's
love
hard to
you
put into words
so.
the destruction
Won't
that we're
you?
seeing all the way down to the ocean. Just look at this. These are
Oh,
just
emo.
to the ground, absolutely.
I think it's funny how
destroyed
I've
from
heard
the
several times
flames,
like,
and you
and
can
the only thing
still
standing is
hear
the
and
chimney.
feel the wind.
Maybe we should have
The
more
smell
chimneys
out
in
here
houses.
is also hard to
You know,
describe.
look at
just
this. This is
because
absolute
is burning,
devastation.
it's
I
all
mean,
up in the
just
air,
absolutely.
and it is just
Hey,
not
wait
a
a second.
pleasant
You
smell
know,
to be
they're not
around.
letting
But
the
look at
helicopters
this
up.
home. I mean,
You
all
got
that's
that
left
one
of
we
this house
saw.
is a chimney. Even the cars out front just burned really bad. You can just imagine what kind of heat was going through when these flames crossed PCH. And then, Al, if you want to flip it even towards the ocean, this is typically oceanfront property in a very nice part of Pacific Palisades, very close to getting close to Malibu.
Oh yeah, I
all
think
the
Duke's
power lines burned down,
bit the
and you
dust. I
can
don't
see
even know what it
the
is.
beach, and you just
Look at this, man. Look, that looks just like Scanner just said.
Oh,
Need a hard
would have
roadblock.
kept
Or 100
going,
cars
right?
trying to get back in.
So
Lincoln and Woodward.
it's
No
hard to
way.
imagine what was happening when
Oh,
this all
yeah.
transpired. But yeah, if it wasn't for the ocean, we probably would have even more damage we'd be looking at right now. We have seen firefighters out here trying to put out
That guy just
what's,
tried
you
to
know,
justify
some
say
homes that
the
they maybe
ocean
can try
up
and
the
salvage and
fire.
try to prevent the spread
It's like, yeah,
from
dude, of
continuing to
course
burn
there's no
through
more
more homes.
fires.
But
You
not
know,
a good
if your
situation out
ocean is
here.
burning,
Again, just
you
hard to
come.
describe
Why is
the
this
destruction and the
glass so dark?
devastation.
I don't trust the
I'll go
guy
ahead and send it
wearing
back to you.
glass.
Matthew, you were out there this yesterday. In comparison from yesterday to today,
The
so much
cowboy
has
that kept tied
happened.
up by the
It
ocean.
must be a surreal feeling. for you.
JWH, what's up?
Yeah, it is surreal. I mean, I think obviously we saw the destruction and the flames last night. This is worse than I imagined it would look like today. It has burned everything. I mean, you're driving through on PCH and you're looking left, you're looking right. All the homes to the left are burned. All the homes to the right are burned. Businesses, people's lives, everything that they left behind is gone. And now we can hear the waves, and these homes are no longer here. It is remarkable, and again, just hard to put into words what we're experiencing out here.
Oh, yeah. And this is going to be the situation, Matthew, for days and weeks to come. People coming out and assessing the damage and then figuring out what to do next. But again, we should remind people as you show us some of the destruction from this fire that it is not okay to come back and repopulate these areas yet. I know as much as people want to get back to see what's left of their homes and their belongings, that it is not advised as of yet. You have to listen to the orders right now because it is still an active situation.
Paul
So thank you,
Carpenter.
Matthew. We'll check back in with
The
you.
fires are still
later
100%
on. But
going.
let's go to this now because the
There is
wildfires
no
are forcing families
slowdown.
to evacuate their
Zero
homes,
containment.
obviously, and many pets need a safe place to
Callie's
stay.
A group of doggy hotels offering
there's a group of
shelter
doggy
for these
hotels.
pets
Let's go to the
displaced
doggy
by the
hotels,
wildfires.
girls.
On the phone with us right now is
You think these girls are
Annie
into the doggy
Demirjan.
hotel?
Annie, actually, thank you for sending me a message there on Instagram. I was able to check my DM, and I'm so glad we connected
How's
with you
your
and we were
DM?
able to get in contact with you so you can share this information with our viewers.
Likewise, I really wanted to get the word out for those families who do not have places to leave their dogs. When my mom messaged me, I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect because I know you're amazing, and wanted to put the word out and let families know that they do have a place to leave their dogs if they don't have anywhere else to leave them.
How many dogs can you accommodate at this point?
Well, we could accommodate about 300 dogs at the moment.
And how many do you have right now?
Right now, we have about 20 dogs.
What?
Okay. So any size dogs, small or large, I mean, this is a big, big help for people because as they get displaced and they want to care for their furry friends, you're looking at the website right here of these doggy hotels in the North Hollywood
Doggy
area and Glendale
hotels.
as
Look
well.
at that. We're all going to
Yes,
save
that's
the
correct.
dogs.
We do have a location in our North Hollywood
Okay,
area.
here we go.
And it's one of the largest in LA. It's about 20.
So check this out.
is going to be consumed shortly. And we can see it right now because we don't have thick smoke covering it. But I'm going to zoom out and show you a wider
This is
shot.
the chick that's in a
You know, we
helicopter.
may not be able to see through the smoke, but just imagine
To see
how
there
many
is
other
guys,
areas
or what's
are
happening,
burning
my
like
man?
this, or
What's
have
up?
already burned like this under this
Dude,
thick
this has been
blanket
an
of
amazing
smoke.
story
And then,
of
even if your home has not been
evacuation.
destroyed, even if you
This is
have
awesome.
not been forced to
Rocco!
evacuate, just think about
We
the
knew
health
we had a
impacts,
Socko here, we'd have
long-term
the
health
rock and
impacts
sock.
of breathing in this toxic smoke. So even if you
Now
do
it's
not live in
become
the
toxic
Palisades,
smoke.
even
They
if
had
you
the
are
little
not in
mask
Santa
on
Monica,
yesterday.
you're
It's
not
like,
under
oh
one
yeah,
of
we're
those
okay.
evacuation orders
Now it's like
or
breathing
warnings.
in the toxic
Just
smoke.
look at this
But
region.
look at that.
Look at this smoke. You want to get as far out of this as you possibly can. I'm going to zoom in now and show you, if I'm able to, Santa Monica. We're shooting southbound right now.
Hey, all you over
from
there on Twitter, please
Topanga.
be sure and swing on over to
This is Santa
YouTube. Make sure
Monica.
you're subscribed.
We can
Doesn't cost you
barely
anything.
see
And it
buildings
helps with
through this
growing the
cloud
channel
of
and becoming a.
smoke. So I
Maybe
know the
one day I'll take a
evacuation
class
warning
in
is
something,
just on
become
the
an
northern
expert,
edge
an
of the
actual
city.
expert. I
But
have
if
dreams,
you're
though.
under a warning and you have the choice to evacuate voluntarily, I sure
Do it.
hope our coverage from News Chopper 4 and these live images help you make the right decision. You do not want to
Help
be
you
in
make the
this.
right decision.
Julia Dang overhead in our News Chopper 4, giving us a vantage point we really haven't been able to see much of during these burning fires, these 4 fires burning across Southern California, sheer because of the wind, because of the sheer levels of wind. It was too dangerous for them to fly. We're thankful now we can truly get this perspective, but just how stark this is, it's truly dramatic. And as Julia pointed out, we're at nearly 12,000 acres for the Palisades fire, but likely that number will continue to rise. Right now, we want to go to our Hetty Chang down below where Julia Dang is in the Palisades.
That's
We've been talking,
640
Hetty,
acres
about,
a square mile. How many
1,000
miles is
structures
that?
officially on paper so far there in Palisades, but it's not just homes. We're also talking about business.
What's the other one?
You guys, I lost communication. I lost
City.
IFB, so I don't know if you're coming to us or not. I don't know if you can see our live shot or not, but it's been so challenging as far as connectivity in this area. We've been trying for the past
What's
hour and
today's
a half
date?
to give you the images from what we're seeing in these neighborhoods, and I'm trying to stay as still as I can, and I'm hoping that you can see our live shot. But we're here in the Palisades area.
Yeah, we
This
see you,
is the
babe.
downtown area. And
Oh,
if
let's
you wanna
wonder
pan
about this.
over all the way,
Look
180,
at this.
that was where the Shell station was, where you see that fire engine. This is Sunset Boulevard, and
Oh,
that's
wow.
via, I don't know if I can see that sign, Via de la Paz. And if we swing back over this way, you can see this used to be an Italian restaurant, Casa Nostra. And it's no longer there.
Nostradamus?
Next to it, you see the Bank of America. That too is no longer there. And it's just total devastation. We can't say it enough. There's hard to find the words to describe what we're seeing in and out of these neighborhoods. We have been driving around since about 9:45, and it's row after row. It's neighborhood after neighborhood.
There we
There
go.
seems to be no rhyme or reason as to why some homes were spared and some were not. We've been to some streets where everything is completely destroyed, with the exception
Where's
of one
Ventura?
home that seemed to be untouched. If we want to pan over to the right, Eduardo, this whole
Eduardo?
row
What
of
a cool
SUVs
name. Eduardo.
behind us here to the
Eduardo.
left,
No, 2025 has
that
been
is
awesome for
Governor
us.
Newsom and Mr.
Look,
Alex
all these
Padilla's,
people could have died.
entourage,
Instead,
his security
all they
here.
have to
We
worry
saw
about is
him just about
rebuilding.
20
And it's
minutes
gonna
ago
suck. It's gonna be
with
really
Cal
bad. I
Fire
understand that.
touring this area. They
But
were getting a
you
tour
can't
of the
rebuild
area
if you're in the
of where we're
ground.
seeing the destruction. We asked his press people if we were able to ask him a few questions. They said that he
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
taking any questions, but
Totally.
we are anticipating that he's going to come back around here in just a second. Again,
Oh, is
Governor
that Newsom they're saying?
and Mr. Alex Padilla getting a tour of the devastated area here in Pacific Palisades. And we're going to stand by here in this area to see if they come back around this corner. They were with several Cal Fire officials. They seem to be getting the briefing about the devastation here in this area. But again, this
That's
is
a
the
lot
downtown
like
area of
one
Pacific
side of the
Palisades.
streets
Just a
got
little
in
bit
there
of what we're seeing
have
here That's the U.S. Bank, the cleaners. This used to be a florist,
there's a blue awning there.
a flower shop. About 30 minutes ago, we passed by and
Right.
it was still somewhat there. And then we passed by about 30 minutes later and you see it now, a complete
Right.
loss. Jonathan and Camilla, back to you.
Yeah, and I know she's having a tough time hearing us right now, but again, from her live picture here, as we're watching these images come through, Jonathan, just the devastation of not just homes, but businesses that have also been destroyed. Again, over 11,000 acres have been scorched in the Pacific
11,000.
Palisades fire here.
And only continuing to grow as we want to go to our Alex Rozier. He's at the other large fire we're following, nearly 11,000 acres. That is the Eaton fire burning in Altadena. And again, same with you, Alex. We've been talking about homes being burned, communities lost, but truly we're also now seeing
That's
small
not good at
businesses
all.
and large businesses catch fire.
Yeah, you are, dummy.
Small, large businesses. We are now seeing schools catch fire too. I want to set the scene.
Oh, now
give you an
seeing
idea
schools
where we
catch
are
fire.
right now. I'm standing
Yeah,
at
we
the
saw them last
intersection of
night.
Lake Avenue.
Oh, there's
and
those
Talavera
fireproof
Street.
goggles.
Behind me in the distance, there's a neighborhood. We witnessed at
Hey,
least
Haley
a
Mouse.
dozen homes that were destroyed by the flames of this fire that is ongoing. But let's pan you over here. And this
Only
is
Paula,
a
only
middle
2
school,
people have
that is here in
perished, but they don't
Altadena
know
at
if it's
Lake
fire
Avenue
related
and
or not.
Caladeras. It's Elliott's Arts
So
Magnet Middle
right now
School.
there's no
and we watched firefighters here
fire
earlier
related
today.
deaths
they were
to
focused
talk
on
about.
a portion
This is
of
an
this
amazing
campus. The
evacuation.
roof
And
caught
Californians
fire, and it
did something
appeared that
I
several
didn't think they'd be able to.
classrooms
Hey,
were fully
QB, how you
engulfed in
doing?
flames, and it's so devastating to think of the
Oh,
reality of this situation. I mean,
no,
yesterday when this fire took off, the students likely were returning from the holiday break, and now
Young
this
QB
school
sent
has
pictures in
severe
last
fire
night.
damage, and firefighters are no longer
From the
here right
fire.
now. But want to pan you around and give you a whole look at this intersection across the street over here. You can see a shopping
Hey, Huck,
center
how you
that is
doing?
destroyed. But
Yeah,
while
it
we're
is
here, I
very
want to show you
sad.
these
It's very,
firefighters
very
because I
sad.
had the chance just
But it's
moments
also
ago to talk to one of the firefighters because a neighbor came up to me and
Just
said,
the
"Where are
things, you
they?
know,
Where
just
are they?
things
There's so many fires." He said, "Alex, we can't keep up." He said, "There
No,
are
you
so
can't.
many places that are on fire right
Everything
now,
can eventually
and
be
these embers
rebuilt.
are flying. A new house, a new business catches." And he said, "We're simply trying to spread the resources as
So
best
there's
we
a
can
what I say there's
all
a
over,
1,000
but there
fire
are
trucks
many
headed that way.
places that have gone up in flames." Let's turn you around. We're going to head
They do
north.
not
We're going to walk
have.
and talk a little bit here on Lake Avenue.
Look at him. He's
because
got yellow bottoms too.
it's amazing to see some of these businesses that have been spared.
Is that
Some of them
standard
have no
clothing
damage
for
at all.
fires
And
wearing
then
yellow?
right next door, there will be another space that is fully engulfed in flames. So as we continue to move down Lake Avenue, we're going to show you what we see in the distance, and that's more flames up here. This appears to be a florist that was.
Did you say more
There's
flames?
an active fire burning right there. You can see the
Florist.
flames.
This is where the other
And
chick
then
was.
in the distance beyond the florist.
Oh yeah, look, it's
there's
on
an
fire.
apartment complex that also has gone up.
Oh,
right
the
now.
carpet goes,
Lake
man.
Avenue in Altadena.
Jeez.
We're talking about a busy thoroughfare, right next to a school, right next to a residential neighborhood.
I didn't
not
realize that
far
was on
from the
fire.
Altadena golf course. And now they are just dealing with destruction.
Yeah,
on so
guys, you
many
gotta figure that
different
out. What's the
levels
deal with
here
them wearing yellow?
right
It has
now.
something to
So
do with
that is what
fires,
we're
and then I
looking at
wonder if
as
that
we look
is where April
northbound
O'Neil
on
got
Lake
the whole yellow
Avenue.
outfit thing.
Some of the
Bad Deck
businesses
says
that have been
visibility.
impacted, but
Oh wait, hold on.
Jonathan and
I
Camilla,
skipped
that
it. And
really
then
is
late
just
day,
the
high
beginning
visibility. There you
right
go.
now
Clothing's
as
what
we
you're going
send it back into you.
going for, I think.
You
But,
know, Alex, you just when you think Lake Avenue, you think Pasadena, you think Altadena. That is one of the major thoroughfares through both areas, and really the heart
so
of many
grave
of those
probably wouldn't
communities.
be
And that's what
good.
we're seeing here in the Palisades. We're seeing it in Altadena and Pasadena. Entire
Yeah, it's
communities
Ali G.
lost.
I
And
got
think that's
you.
what's so devastating. You know, we'll give you numbers, we'll give you acreage, we'll give you numbers of structures burned, but truly
says
what
Paula.
we're
I'm
losing
two
here
dogs.
are schools, entire communities, people's futures. This may change the landscape of these beautiful communities.
Okay,
whether
now
it's
look,
the
this
beach,
is the stat right
PCH,
there. I was going to show you guys.
Palisades
So
to our
10,600
gorgeous
acres
Southern
in the
California
Eaton
foothills
fire.
that
Remember,
people
that was
call
the
home.
second
That's
fire
what
we
we're
first heard
seeing,
about. I think it was like
destroyed now
400
in front of
acres
our
or
eyes in a
200
way that we
acres
truly never
had
seen
gone.
before.
That's the
and
one
he
up there
talked
by
about just
Pasadena.
those line of businesses, as we also saw in
I mean,
Hetty's
think
live shot.
about
I mean, these
that.
are people's livelihood. This
It
is
is
you know, they wake up every
more
day to go to
than
work, and now
the
having to see that
Palisades.
their
Why is that?
businesses,
Is it
their
because the
homes
Palisades
are
it
completely
ran out and went to
gone.
the ocean?
It's just absolutely devastating to see these images that are coming in at this
This is
hour from
absolutely
both
crazy.
Conan and Alex, and also our Hetty Chang and Pacific Palisades. So again, so far, the Eaton fire has burned more than 100 plus.
Oh, excuse me. All right, I'm going to show you guys. Here we go. Oh, hang on, wrong button. I mean, right button, but wrong button. Does that make sense? I need to turn the. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's go back to this real quick. Look at this. Live, there's a number of burned homes.
Can you hear us?
These homes are burning right now.
Yeah, I can hear you. This house is one they put some water on just a little bit. Pasadena Fire, Engine Company 33. They have since moved on. They did what they could. Again, they're not going to save this house, obviously, but the effort was to try to keep the embers from this fire moving on. This house, of course, total loss. There was another home just down the street. This is Sacramento. Here's a Pasadena Engine Company coming by here. They doing what they can, hopscotching through various neighborhoods to try to use whatever water they can to suppress.
Hey, Jessica
the
Rodriguez, how you doing?
So that if the wind comes up and the wind has died down momentarily, it does not propel the embers from one fire into the rest of the neighborhood. It's astonishing just how many homes have not burned, and that's sort of the luck of the fire disaster lottery, if you will. That something has happened, one home, and the ember flew hopscotched over another and made its way to
hopscotch
several
is a
others.
game.
They
that's what you're supposed to
this
say
is a
when you're
pretty
talking
good
about
stream of fire as a result of their apparatus. This is what they've been looking for. You can see this.
Their apparatus. Fire
Engine Company
hose.
32 putting up a good stream. This is the second time they've done this for this particular structure. And
Cynthia, thank you. Here's the professional here. You know,
we're hearing
Cynthia
some,
Fire Fairy
explosions,
lives in
maybe some
California, and
propane.
she
There's been
is
a lot
a
of that.
smoke jumper.
They've
She
been
has been many a year
hopscotching
jumping out of
these
airplanes
neighborhoods.
into fires
This is Sacramento
in the
and El Molino and Altadena. We are
forest
west
of
of where this
California.
fire started in Eaton
sure elsewhere
Canyon.
too.
This neighborhood has been under
Nomex
evacuation
doesn't
from the very
burn and
beginning,
melts.
late last night, and most people have left, but some people have stayed in the effort to try, if not to save their home, save their neighbor's home.
19
We've seen
degrees.
a lot
It's
of that because,
showing
of course,
30 right now, but
they believe that they have
you have
a
a little
fighting chance if they
exclamation
stay.
point. What does that say?
In some cases, that is
When
not a
I
wise
want in
decision
one more.
because
I
of the
haven't
risk
got into it yet.
to not just to
Well, how bad is
property,
it
but
when
to life and
Copenhagen,
limb.
Denmark is
We're
10
gonna move
degrees
out of the
warmer
way
than
as
I am?
one person makes his way. This is possibly an evacuee. Of course, there's also the possibility of there being.
Hey, he's
we
got
can see
it.
the damage to this
That's
truck.
how they do
Somebody
it, man.
trying to
Look, I can be one of these guys.
make their way
Okay,
out.
now here's the thing.
There's a possibility
Modern
of
media.
a
What
power
is the
lines
press?
coming down.
Right? That's been
another hazard,
a
of course,
question of several
as
things.
these people
Like,
make
what
their
is a
way. Here's
reporter and
another
stuff
one.
like that. All I got to do is get a yellow shirt.
What did I say? There's a power line right there. Now that is inactive.
And I could be a fire
It shut down
reporter.
the power to this neighborhood, but that gives you an idea as to just part of the issue they have to deal with. At least a dozen homes in this neighborhood have gone up. Again, remarkable that more haven't. We understand, and you would better know in the studio as to just how many have gone up here in the Eaton Canyon fire. We know that it's been at least 100. Let's walk over here and see.
At
if,
least 100.
we can talk to somebody. We don't want to interrupt their assessment of this, but the Pasadena fire getting help from El Dorado Hills. They were here from Northern California, as well as Long Beach fire. We make our way over here and cast our attention to this house, which they've been able to save. If you can see up on the roof line, they were working on the neighbor's house just to see if they could keep it from making.
Let's go.
its
I
way,
have no idea about
into the
any
attic.
of this stuff. Like, I
And
want to know more
looks
about
like
it.
They've been able to do that.
The
That
fair
was fairly
plan?
successful.
Is
You
that
have
unique
sort of
to
a
California?
makeshift fire battalion that neighbors have put together for this neighborhood. This house, of course, fully involved when we arrived. the effort has been to keep this house from going up. The homeowner seems to have been able to do that thus far, again, based on what we've seen and what we've heard, and the fact that the
RJ, you saying the Arctic
fact that-
cap decided to flash
the wind
us?
has died
That's
down.
why that made me think of a dude in a trench coat. It's Baker in a trench coat. I do not want to be flashed by Baker.
We're going to see if we can talk to this.
I wish we could export.
Excuse me,
our
sir, is this
snow.
your house? No.
No, he's a fireman, dummy. Oh,
Looks
that
like
guy
you've done
is.
a
Never
pretty good
mind.
job keeping these other homes from going up.
We're trying. Yeah. You got to talk to them.
Right.
Yeah, this guy's a good neighbor. What's
You
called?
can see
I don't have a good neighbor. I mean, I'm not a
neighbors
good
next
neighbor.
door,
Would you guys be out
asking
there?
some
Would you guys
questions of the-
evacuate, or would you
of the crew
stay
down here?
at your house?
Again, about a dozen various, at least a dozen on this street homes. And
What
the
would you
worry is,
do?
of
Would you
course,
go-
as we've been saying, the fire advancing, if indeed the wind gusts come up, it is more still now that we've seen
Fire
all morning.
ferry. What's the
That is a
best
blessed
way
sign.
that if I
Once the
wanted to
smoke
try to
starts go
fireproof
up
my
like a
house, what's the
chimney
best way to
effect,
do it?
That gives fire crews an opportunity to fight it.
How do I
If
harden
the
my
smoke
house
is
against
horizontal,
flames?
You really can't.
I'm gonna
fight
tell my
it.
wife what you
Not
told me
only
to do was
is
to
it,
rip up
is it
all the
moving so
grass
fast, of course,
and put down concrete.
but
That way I don't have to
there's
mow anymore.
no
That's a
visibility.
good
It's
idea.
hard for you to understand where the flame is once you're immersed in that
Paul
kind
says
of
I
smoke.
would fire. I would
horizontal
fight
level.
for
So
what was mine.
If you see a plume of smoke going up, that's
Rocky
actually
would stay at his
a
house
good
and fight the
sign
fire.
in that it's
Lady Tammy, get
stationary.
sprinklers.
It may be moving, but it's not moving nearly as fast as makes a fire completely untenable when it comes to structure protection and battling the blaze. We can take a look here. These fire crews. This man in the white helmet is a battalion chief. Let's see if we can see.
Yeah, look, he walked away from him.
Chief, real quick, can you just give us your assessment? As it looks like you've done a pretty
It's
good
hot.
job saving
It's
as much as you
messy.
can.
We're saving as much as we can.
How frustrating
That
has
guy's
it been?
not
I mean,
chief.
there are all sorts
He
of
should put on
outbreaks.
his
You only have
outfit.
so many personnel and so much water.
It's extremely frustrating. I mean, everyone's
Some
doing the best they can
people
with what we have.
install
and,
sprinklers on top of their
it's just
houses. I never
frustrating
thought
that
about that.
It's just not enough.
Right. The proportion of the fire, it's still right now, that is a godsend because you can get your handle on something so long as you're not seeing embers fly a quarter of a mile, a half mile, or a mile downrange.
Yeah, I got here right around sunrise, and I really don't have a good view of the fire right now. I'm kind of
Yeah, because this guy's not a fire chief. He's just some dude who put on a
We're going since
hat
about midnight,
and
so
he's
I-
out there trying to act like he knows what's going on. I saw this movie. I saw
Again,
that movie.
He's from out of town, as so many are.
He's from out of
here.
town.
Mutual Aid,
Oh, okay. He
California,
called him fire chief. He
wrote
turned
the
right around.
book
You see
on
that?
Mutual Aid for major fire disasters, where individuals who are already set
Yeah,
up
the weatherman
from
found
various
it.
parts of the state
Damn hot!
will immediately respond, fly down here. That is the leadership of the fire response. Set up a camp, an establishment, a logistics center. One person's responsible for logistics, where the helicopter landing pad's going to be, how many crews, where the crews are going to rally, where they're going to stage. Others deal with strictly the strategy, mapping out
so
where
when
the
you
fire
say
is. Just
they
knowing
are,
where it is a challenge once you have
customer-centric?
the vertical nature of the
What you
smoke
mean
that
is
I was telling you about, because aerial reconnaissance is very
right?
difficult, if not impossible, because of the wind velocity.
Communist control
So
of
they're,
the economy.
as he said, he's under the plume.
They don't have a
not exactly
free
sure
market for
how big this fire is. He knows this fire battalion chief we just talked to. He knows what his assignment
you.
is, and his assignment has been
I
here. They're
didn't
now
know about
wrapping
any of
up.
that.
This is E386 engine company. They're headed off somewhere else as they've been dispatched because they believe that's gone. That's gone. That's
We hate it
gone.
when the press
But
shows
these
up and
other
starts asking
homes,
us questions.
they're
We're really not
cautiously
allowed to
optimistic
speak to the press.
we'll be
This
able to
guy
survive
is
this fire.
not a PIO.
So long as the wind
And
stays
he's
the
trying
way
not
it
to be
is,
rude.
which is non-existent, at least in this neighborhood at this moment. Back to you.
Yeah, we can only hope. Our Conan Nolan there on the ground.
The
in
average
Altadena.
home
I
in
believe we want to go to our
Palisades
Julia
is
Dang overhead in
$4
News Chopper
million.
4 right now. Julie, are you with us? Where are you at this point? All we see is smoke from your vantage point.
Jonathan, you can see as this smoke
Betsy's
is
brother-in-law
blowing
used to
towards the ocean,
water down the
you
house
can
for
see
fire
through this
from
opening
fireworks. Wow.
Pacific Palisades, or what is left.
I don't
of
know if
it.
she
My
knows this or not,
helicopter
but you
map is
can't
telling
see
me
anything.
This is Palisades.
You know what?
Court
There's another
that you're looking
helicopter
at. I know
pilot
at
out
last
there that
check,
couldn't see anything like
we have
this.
more than
Here's
1,000
Kobe Bryant.
structures that were destroyed. So we're going to have to add a couple dozen more from
Let's
this
go. You ever
neighborhood.
hear about
This is
Kobe Bryant? You
Palisades
ever heard
Court
about that
and
guy?
Trailer
He
Canyon
played.
Fire
I think
Road.
he played lacrosse.
And I hope the homeowners, I hope their friends and family are not finding out their home was destroyed from our live footage here. Nobody wants to learn.
Oh, okay. Edison, California,
home,
Edison
their
Power.
livelihood.
Thank you, my mama.
Their memories.
My mama, yo mama.
Have gone up in flames.
Ah,
like this,
love it.
Everywhere we turn the camera, this is what we're seeing. And as smoke is blowing, and we have these patchy openings where we can see on the ground, it is simply apocalyptic. I'm
This
going to
chick
turn the camera and
kind of
show you a
like
little bit more
in
of
the
what
ear
I'm seeing out the
thing, you know? It's
helicopter
kind of
window
like she's
now.
a stewardess.
These flames are jumping the hills. They are just eating up this dry brush. I know at last check we were nearly 12,000
just heard
acres
something.
burning here in the Palisades fire. That number is just ticking up every time we check. Every 30 minutes, it seems to go up another 1,000 acres or so. And these conditions have not changed. The wind is not dying down. We are still feeling the impacts here in the helicopter. Like I said earlier, one of the bumpiest rides I have ever experienced. And I'm not just struggling to control the joystick on the camera controls here because this smoke is getting thicker. It's changing color. It's getting darker. More flames are erupting. It's turning orange. With my other hand, my left hand, I'm having to dial
Your
down
other hand? Who's
the
this chick?
iris on this and to play with the color and light settings just to give you a clear picture.
Dialing down her iris and playing with the color and light settings. She's talented.
With. And just to give
I
our
wish she
viewers
can fix these
a
lights.
sense of how unprecedented, how historic this situation is. LA City Fire
Holy
has now
cow.
called in off-duty firefighters. I can't remember the last time they did that. We're hearing on scanner traffic now, fire departments might be having trainees come in to help fight these fires. A lot of the
Well, yeah,
images
they're
that
having
I'm seeing
trainees.
being
I mean, heck,
broadcast by our
everybody's fighting.
ground
Everybody's a
colleagues,
fire now.
they remind me of 2018. The Malibu fire, but today,
Malibu
I mean, we
fire.
have this in the Palisades. We're dealing with a fire in Altadena that Conan was just covering, and then there was
What
that
does
fire in
PS
Silmar. And
mean?
with these conditions continuing, the dry conditions, the extreme winds, we could be in for additional fires. This is going to be a very long day, a very
She's
long
got a very
memory.
ASMR voice.
Yeah, Julia, when we say the winds are dying down, it really is just a normal red flag conditions. And that's what's so scary about the situation right now that we've been seeing over the last 24 hours or so, as we see, looks like what firefighting aircraft is that?
That's right. That's right. Tankers can fly now. There was a window yesterday where fire aerial resources could not even fly. That was during the window of time that news choppers also could not launch. And of course, that was because of these extreme wind conditions. So you're right, Jonathan. Now we're just dealing with garden variety red flag wind warnings.
Garden variety red flags.
You can see. At this
My
point,
daughter boyfriend in
with
Simi Valley
this
has had
fire,
power
nearly
turned
12,000
off. She's
acres,
over an hour away.
It's not making it
Don't
any
hit
easier
on
to
the
fight
copter
this.
chick.
And like I showed you in
Yeah.
that neighborhood.
Hey
in the
man, I'm trying to help. You know what?
Pacific,
This voice
Palisades
man, she'd
Court,
be good on
we're
Friday.
not even seeing firefighters
Wouldn't
there,
she?
so they've had to cut their losses and move on.
Oh my God!
Some
You know
of
what I'm
these
gonna do? Be like,
neighborhoods,
okay,
simply
hey,
apocalyptic.
let's have
Just
Diva
devastating.
read this one. Let's have helicopter
Julia, thank you
chick read
so
this
much
one.
for that update. Just really challenging
Let's
conditions
go back
for
and forth.
firefighters. We now want to get to
Yes!
NBC4's
Let's
Christian
do it!
Petras live in
Call her
Pacific
up, Ballstorm. Find her.
Palisades near PCH and Will
All right, hang on a
Rogers
second. I'm
State
going
Beach.
to
And I know,
switch over.
Christian, you have been speaking with a number
We're
of
gonna show
homeowners
this
in that
real quick.
area.
I'm going to share
Yeah,
this
that's right,
tab
and I can-
instead, which means I got to go to this and mute it because I can't do two. I can't listen and read at the same time. All right, do you guys see this? So this is the power outage of Southern California here. This is where they've turned off the power. So all the things with the little bells, those are all power outages. They're what's it called? I just read it. Oh well, it's a controlled power outage, and the lightning bolts are EV charging stations, and all those are out. So let's see here. We got oh man, look at this all the way up here. Holy moly. And let's see, there's El Monte. Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills has power. Hey, look, they got all the power in Beverly Hills. Los Angeles, you can't charge your car there. What's this one do? No, that's not all I want. I'll hit this. Repair outage. Okay, we got that. What's this one? I didn't mean to go that far in. I wanted to see what that little thing was. The little clip guy, calendar guy. Anyway, look how much power's out. Look at this. Everywhere except for Beverly Hills. You see this? That's weird, isn't it? That's a little yeah, they're like, we don't need to turn power off in Beverly Hills. It's okay. I got you. That's weird. Oh, hang on a second. We're gonna go.
You can see this house is still
live on the
untouched,
ground right
and
now, y'all.
firefighters are hoping to keep it that way. But what you're seeing here really underscores the issue. The house that is burning has a stucco exterior and a tile roof. Nonetheless, it is burning, and that is because when you get those big Santa Ana winds and you get those embers, they get
Two people
in the
come in here and
eaves
say
and they
there's
get
no
into
power
the
in
attic
Simi
of
Valley.
homes. And once that happens, there is no saving that home. We have seen that time
Yeah,
and
when the
time
fire
again.
is
We've seen
coming out the
firefighters
windows.
try,
No, okay, so
but
they have terracotta roof. I was going to ask
struggle
that earlier.
to put out flames
and
when they're already
Firefairy
in
was
the
talking
attic or the
about,
eaves.
sprinklers on the roof. I was
And
like,
what
wow,
is
what if you had like
also
a
very curious,
ceramic or something
where
like
we
that?
are, is if we pan this way, you can see there are people milling about, and we're seeing quite a bit of traffic. So it appears a lot of people have not evacuated. And if we push in further, the roadblock directing traffic away is not that far from where we're standing. So this area is off limits supposedly to the public, but still people are coming in. We've seen some people driving by.
You know, here's what's
with their
funny.
cell
These
phones
look, the guys
taking
with the
video.
cell phone.
But this
This
is a
guy's a
very fluid
reporter.
situation. You can see something just
Okay, how
hit
do I do that?
something, and
Think
the
about
flames
that.
just got a whole lot larger.
I would be there.
Wow.
Oh, man, we
See,
just saw
that's
the
what
trees
happens
catch.
with the winds. You get one gust and it does that, and then the fire just spreads, and it can spread very, very quickly. And those embers, as we've seen time and time again, can fly 1 to 2 miles away, get under the
Hey,
eaves
Tammy
of
Faye,
another
how you
home or
doing?
in the attic, and then you have another fire. So firefighters stretch very thin, fighting multiple fires, and also the conditions that you are witnessing.
Oh, there's a
very tense
what was it? That's
situation, and also very
Tuna
dangerous
Canyon
one.
yesterday, wasn't
And
it?
that is the latest from Altadena. I'll send it back to you.
From all the residents that
what
you
was
guys
the
have
other
been
canyon?
talking to, frustration and then numbness, one person said, and just utter shock, and then sadness, of course, for losing all of this. But you see the difference in
Oh,
the
wow.
terrain
I didn't
in
know you were in
Altadena and
Palisades,
Pasadena.
so-
You're looking at a lot of mature trees. It's a very bucolic area, and look at these trees that go up in flames once you get that big spark of flame. And obviously, that then poses a big threat to the surrounding structures, right? Because of those flying embers, as Christy's showing us right now. But clearly, very different from the Palisades. And just every community, every fire is very different in terms of characteristics. So let's go out to Coco.
It's also fascinating when you see the image of one home completely engulfed in flames, and then literally right next door, a home completely
Untouched.
okay for the time being.
Right.
You never know what can happen, but it is very jarring to see that contrast. All right, Coco, that church behind you has been burning for quite a while now.
It really has been burning for a while, and there is a single firefighter who has been battling these flames, and he's been doing an amazing job by himself trying to control the fire here at the Altadena Baptist Church, which is on the corner of El Molino and Calavera Street here in Altadena. We have heard glass shattering. We have heard explosions coming from this church. It has been burning for at least an hour now, but potentially longer, because it's been about an hour for us that we've we've been here. But now you can see this heavy, thick, black cloud of smoke that is canvassing the area as this fire continues to burn here. Just heavy plumes of smoke into the air, embers flying as well, which are landing on other homes in the neighborhood. That's the devastating part, is not only is this church burning, but there are also a couple of
I hope
homes that are
Lady
down the
Tammy's still
street.
here.
You
I'm gonna
can't see it right now
tell ya.
because the LA County fire truck is
Found the
blocking
Toms
that
the other
home, but there
day.
is another home that has been engulfed
So
in
good.
flames on this street as well,
So helpful.
because
Very
of
helpful,
the embers
actually.
that flew from the church and ended up landing on the roof of that home. A very devastating situation. We've had a few people come our way talking to us, telling us that they did evacuate, but they had to come back for a few items here and there. We're also not very far from Santa Rosa Street, which is known as Christmas Tree Lane in Altadena, a place that hundreds upon hundreds of families go to every year to see the Christmas lights display. And we know a couple of homes on that street are currently burning. So residents are concerned that that neighborhood could also go up in flames, and they're really
What
hoping that
happened,
firefighters
Tammy?
are able to get to them. But the problem is the fire crews, as we've been mentioning all morning,
Denise,
are
it's always
stretched
okay to
thin, and they're
cry.
doing the very
But
best
don't
they
take it
can with
personal.
the resources
Okay?
they have to fight the
Because
flames. And it appears that this fire
it
here
doesn't help
at the
anybody who's
Altadena
here.
Baptist Church continues to
You don't have
burn.
to
However, the LA
make
County
their pain
firefighter
yours.
did
You
put
can
out
be
a
strong
lot of
for
the
them.
flames, and he did do his best. He
And
might be
it's
trying to take a breather now because he's been out
putting
here
out messages like, I
battling
mean, you're
this
in the
fire
chat, you're
as
saying
well.
that, you know,
And also,
prayers
it
for
could be the
them and stuff like
possibility
that.
that
Like,
he's being called to
you
another
don't know. There
area
might be
to
somebody
respond to,
listening that,
because
or they
there are
may listen
several
later, or
homes
whenever,
in
and they
this
see a
neighborhood that
nice
are
message
engulfed
where
in
you
flames.
say, and
Some people who
they,
decided to stay
makes all the
behind
difference in the
and
world
not
for people.
evacuate, just trying to save their home. But again, that is against the orders of nearly everyone. Against the orders
No. Okay,
every
so there's a
county
lady,
leader,
Tammy,
also
in
the
the
fire
chat,
crews,
and she
the
sent me
police
some
officers
Rolaids and
out
some
here as
cat
well.
treats.
The
And I
smoke
didn't like
is
the
really
cat treats that
heavy, so it's
much, or
important
they're
for
Tums,
people,
but the
if
Tums
they
are really
are out
good.
here, to have protective gear, wear a mask,
Yeah,
wear
see, there you
gloves. I
go.
mean, not
That's what
gloves,
I'm sorry about that,
glasses,
Tammy
goggles
Faye.
if you have them, or gloves if you are picking up items, to try to protect your hands as well, especially from the embers. So it's just important to be safe out here if
Yes,
you
I've
are
got a
returning to
thing
the
about
area
gloves. I've
for
been like,
important
for a
documents
couple
or
years now, I kind of
medications. But
collect them.
again, you're
I'm always
looking
getting some
live at the
new ones.
Altadena Baptist Church
I
that
don't know what's up with
continues
that.
to burn. I'll send it back to you.
Oh, wow. Tough
Whenever
to
they're on
see
sale,
all
I
of
get
this.
some.
That's for sure, Coco. Thank you for being there, and stay as safe as you can.
Hey, that's a
live
question.
look
So
at
does anybody know
Altadena right there.
what type of mask do
Eaton
you
Fire,
have for smoke?
10,600 plus acres burning.
There you see the towers on Mount Wilson, I believe. Is that Mount
I
Wilson?
need to go.
We do know that
to the
Mount
post office.
Wilson did send out a message
just said
saying that the area is safe for now. They are on a skeletal crew.
Oh, that
as
area
they
is
let a
safe.
lot
Y'all
of the
look, you see that
employees and
picture?
workers
It's safe.
leave
Go on
the
up there.
area, obviously because
get
of
a,
the
get a
danger,
last
but it
minute
is safe for
hike
now.
in.
Obviously, a lot
Take
of
your
the
camera, get some
communication towers are
pictures.
right there, so it is a vital artery for communications and necessary to be protected, but a skeletal crew does remain, and it is safe so far.
All right, so Palisades
I've
fire,
seen where they say
11,800
1,000,
plus acres at this point.
but the Hearst
Lots of
fire, which is
devastation,
the
of
one that was
course,
causing
1,000 structures, and who knows how many, in addition
Pasadena
to that
to be
update, have been
evacuated.
destroyed. Archie
That fire
Organi
now
lives
has
in
as
the
many acres
Palisades, and
as
Archie is
the
joining us
Palisades.
over the phone right
And
now.
then we've
A
got,
good
there's two more
afternoon to you.
fires.
How are you
Where'd those
doing?
go?
Yes, we're doing as best as we could throughout this entire
All right, so we got
thing.
Palisades.
Where are you right now? Tell
The
us your
last
story.
let
What
me read
happened? Did you
this.
evacuate? What's your situation like?
Yeah, so we're
There's
safe,
another fire now.
in the city. We have incredible friends
cow.
who have lent their home to us, to my family. We saw the fire start.
All right, guys, I'm going
right
to
as
share
it
this real
did at
quick.
the top.
Look, this is the California, the current emergency incident. Palisades fire. That's the first one. It's right below 12,000 acres, zero containment. Then Eaton was the one we saw last night start up. That's at almost 11,000 acres. The Hearst fire, so I was Eaton, not Hearst. I said Hearst was the one. I forget now where Hearst was. It's 500 acres. But look, we have Woodley and Oliva's fire, and that's in Ventura, which is north of everything. I don't know where the Woodley one is. Let's see here. Let's go do the map thing here real quick. Uh-oh, look at this. They're showing extra incidents down here. Holy moly. What's this one right here? Why is that not popping up? That's Los Angeles. The Eaton fire. 10-6. Oh, man. Am I showing the wrong thing? Oh, no, I'm showing what I want to. Okay, sorry. So there's Palisades. There's the Eaton fire. Woodley fire. That's a new one. Look at that. That's over. I didn't realize that. That's over the at 405. Yes, 405. So the Palisades, that's where they wanted to draw the line, was 405, and now it's burning up here. Holy cow, man. Van Nuys Airport's up there. Look at this. Woodley Avenue Park. I mean, that's a lot of area right there that can go in a hurry. Now, what was the other one? So where's Hearst? Did we do Hearst? Ah, crap. Hearst. There's Eaton. What's this one? I wish this would click up. Where are these little ones here? There's Eaton. Where's Hearst at? It left me. Oh, Hearst is right here. Duh. So Woodley and Hearst is up here. Oh, good. Those two can come together. Look at that. And then here's Oliva. I don't know. Ventura. Let's see here. What's all that stuff? Oh man, look at that. Oh, look, it's right next to the golf course and the harbor. This is so weird. Oh, hey, look, we're gonna do fires 10 acres or less. That one pop up? Anything? Oh well. All right. Sorry, guys. I got carried away with it. We'll go back over here.
More as that has run out of the reservoirs.
And see, here we got a helicopter. The helicopter's coming in, or is that the helicopter chick? I don't know.
That's the one thing
that might be. It's
yeah, it is a bit of a disturbing, shocking, upsetting, all of the things you can think of kind of news update that we've been hearing as well. Aside from obviously your home and your neighborhood, your immediate neighborhood, what has been the hardest for you to kind of digest as you're getting information about what has happened to your community?
So eloquently, you're absolutely correct. That's what gets me this stuff. Like, people start talking about, oh, this is the underbrush and all stuff that California doesn't take care of anymore. And I'm like, I don't know how much of that's true though, because it's
around New Year's up in the
Highlands,
this is
homes,
which we believe what started this all up again. And so,
all right, hang on a second. I'm going to switch over here. We got.
I want to be back in the Palisades helping clean up. And
all right, here we go. Check this out. This guy's gonna go right to Palisades and clean up. He can take a broom, but look right here. We've got
here in Altadena, and the fires
in the
burn. You can see one in the far distance. We walked right next to that building
look at
a
that.
half hour ago. That's the Aldi and Dollar King right there.
Oh, the Aldi's gone.
Fire, and then let's
man,
looking northbound on Lake Avenue, and you can see that this business, several businesses have caught fire too. I want to bring in Kraft here because first and foremost, Kraft, you told me you lost your home last night. So
they don't know those two people that passed away were fire related or not.
Tell me about your
experience. So it's possible that the fire has killed 0. And this is one of the great
came in last night
yeah,
telling me,
it is
saying,
probably the
"Hey,
biggest
get up,
evacuation.
get up,
One
get
of the
up."
biggest
And I just
evacuations
laid there.
since
I'm used to
Sherman
going
went to
through
Atlanta.
tragedy, living in California 30 years, right? But I just took
I
it for
live
granted. And
3
then at
hours from LA.
3:35, she says, "We got to go." We
The
get out
ones
at
have been
3:35
insane.
this morning. We're driving down the street. We pass a fire.
That's trying. I like those sunglasses.
Of a half a block away from our home. And when we passed that fire, I'm nervous because the fire hadn't gotten north of, it hadn't gotten west of Lake, and we're west of Lake. So it hadn't gotten there. So I'm thinking, track down the fireman, tell him, he goes up there, comes back, they don't do anything. And so then we sit in the house all night, and now we're back, but we come back about 8 o'clock, and we see that everything has burned up. The house is totally.
We're going to try to get to an area that we have better service to just show you more of what's going on out here.
All right, Alina, thank you for those updates. Just devastating to hear.
It'd be cool. There's a car chase. Hey, there's
believable that 100
looting going on.
Yeah.
Along PCH.
Long walks on the beach.
And you feel so terrible for the residents of Malibu. The last few months have been
trying to set me up with
brutal. Yeah, the Franklin fire, and now this fire, and the devastation, and even the students up at in Pepperdine, they were very frightened during that Franklin fire. The fire got very close to some of the dormitories up there.
I wasn't looking at her.
So our hearts go out to all of our friends up in the Malibu area, and of course
look at that
Santa Monica
spicy yellow jacket I want.
All
you
right,
know what? You got
go
the
to,
man, the yellow
Timber
hat. I
Exchange.
want to be the
I believe
dude
you're
with the
on
yellow jacket.
Palisades Road in Pacific Palisades, which yesterday was pretty much ground zero for all of this.
All the fire people are at City Hall trying to tell.
Moved to this neighborhood, which is north of Sunset Boulevard. This is Carey
Now
Street
that right
and
there
Street.
is a
If you
mask.
look behind me,
That
you can
might
see
actually,
this home.
you know
We
what?
have been watching it burn for the last 30, 40 minutes or so.
Yes.
And as we spin around in the neighborhood, you're just going to see house after house that has been destroyed. And right now, we just felt a huge wind gust. I want to bring in this Pacific.
I know a chick who went to Pepperdine. Look at the poor guy's heart. Yes,
Hi,
right.
yeah, my name's
did.
Darren O'Neill.
You
I'm
did.
a local handyman here in the Palisades.
Oh, he's
Guys,
a local
I want to tell you
handyman.
that Brett,
This is
can you pan over there? Brett, your house is gone. Over here, G-Mark.
This guy's with British
Over
accent.
here,
He
G-Mark,
grew
your
up
house
in
is
the
burning
Palisades.
right now. Everyone else's house in the neighborhood is gone. Judith Colis, your house is gone.
That'd
Alice,
be me.
your house
I'd be
is
making
gone.
up names. About
so sorry,
Volstorm, your
guys.
house is gone. It's like, I don't live in the Palisades.
I haven't been able to talk to them yet. I couldn't get reception.
Yeah, but you can get the good
I
filters on
evacuated
them.
and came back to get my
I got
truck
the-
because
maybe
I had
I
to
have a
leave my
different
truck on the side of the street. And I got help getting my truck, and now I've been able to see 16458 Sunset Boulevard. Guys, our old building, it's gone. Chris, your building is gone. It's opposite on Sunset. Chris, your building
This
is gone.
guy's just killing hope, isn't he?
I'm so sorry, Darren. I'm so sorry. I know you've been driving around.
Slug
and
Entertainment, their viewers
looking
just joined
at
us.
the
Slug, how you
devastation
doing?
around town? You did stop by your
My
place to
mama,
drop your
3
truck.
years
How
ago,
are
we
you
had all
Our
three
place
highways
at
out of Humboldt blocked by fire, and our
16040
skies were
Sunset
orange for
Boulevard is
days.
still there,
Because of that,
but
all my
across
masks
the
went
road,
straight in my go
half
bag.
a
What
block
kind of
down is a
mask do
blaze.
you
I don't know
have?
how long our building's got.
Hey, sluggers, how are you guys doing?
You also came out with Darren here.
Glad to
You've been
see
driving
ya.
around. Talk to us about how things have been looking from your perspective.
We came up to Mescal Canyon and everything was singed, so there was nothing really left to burn. We turned left to the high school, which seemed okay
Teleported
from the,
here from
the
Slug.
street.
Nolan, glad you did.
The
Glad you made
Almeida
it.
neighborhood is looking a little bit brutal. It's kind of patchwork checkerboard. Sometimes it's one house to the next. It's yes or no.
Helen T, hi, expert, Baker,
We
chat.
then
My
went
heart
all the
goes
way
out to all
around
those
and we just
affected. How devastating.
came up from
Absolutely
Amalfi.
awful. Absolutely awful.
Evans Road, that bend on Sunset is not looking very
masks
good. It's
don't
all
work for
burned.
smoke.
And,
That's what
Rivoli, we don't know. I don't want to say yes or no.
everybody's got
but,
these things on. They got an
we couldn't get
N95
through to
mask.
check,
I'm like,
if
I don't
anyone
know how
lives
good
on
these things
Rivoli.
are at working these things.
We're
Let's
going
hear
to try
Slug
to go back through
Entertainment.
the
Thank you
village
so
and
much,
see
Ben.
what's going
Editing
on. But
Megan's new intro for
kind of
streams.
the Via de la
You
Paz
got to render
area
the
is
effect, so I ended
like
to
just
let
tragically
everything
burned.
render. Oh man, that's a
horrible
lot of
scene.
work. Slug,
is
that's a lot of
tragic and
work.
really sad.
But thank you so much.
My name is
Slug,
Tim.
and,
Tim Mahoney.
thank you. Again, I'll
I
take
grew
care
up
of
in the
everybody. We'll have a
Palisades.
good time.
I was born
All
in
right?
Santa Monica. I
We're gonna
guess,
have
and
a
then
party
I went to
here
Corpus Christi, the middle school here.
while we watch
My
everything.
sister was a teacher
We're gonna
there.
watch the devastating stories
all
everybody
my
tells and
friends,
have
how's
fun.
Callie?
Oh, that's
All my
the
friends are
sadistic,
from
isn't it?
here. I'm trying to figure out if their houses are still here.
That's great. This guy's.
My best friend lost his family home. I'm
But
just
at least they're alive.
trying to see if my other
They're
friend's
alive,
home is just
brother.
down the street on Iliff and Kagawa. We're trying to figure that out.
And
so
if
far,
you
my mom's
are
condo
on
is still there on Sunset, but
Alameda in Santa Rosa,
We've seen throughout these
you are
neighborhoods.
in it
and
right
we've seen
now.
in the Palisades, I'm sure,
Look at this.
is these impromptu fire brigades where neighbors have been reaching out
They're
to
neighbors, impromptu fire brigades.
One
Where'd
of
they
the
get
things
the
that you
hats,
find
man?
out
That's
after
cool.
these kind of fires is you talk to individuals and they say, I really never knew my neighbor until this happened. Well, it's a sense of community that
No,
helps
I don't have time to
save
look
a
at where
neighborhood
Universal,
when-
Disneyland, and
when people
other places
know each other before a
a lot of
calamity
buttons
like
I'm
this.
pushing over here, man.
Here we have, they're going to bring in a ladder here to the right as I think they're going to, again, make their way to the roof and then do what they can to make sure that no fire embers end up.
Canda's watching. The mayor of LA cut fire department budgets by millions and sent equipment to Ukraine. Water management has failed.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
yes, I don't know what the exact number is on the number of homes that we've seen. The plume is going sort of straight up, which is better. It's not consuming us.
What have I got?
And the wind has
I got a
died
message
down,
from something.
which gives them a fighting chance. And I'll be honest with you, if the wind hadn't died down, we wouldn't be this close. Just because it's, again, the ferocity of the fire, the ferocity of the wind, the amount of heat that's generated, the fuel inside these homes, and then the vegetation, which, although green, much of it still with such very little.
You guys hear that? Do you hear it burning?
Very, very.
It sounds like those
I should say very dry.
Christmas
little
Yule
moisture.
log
And we've seen
streams.
some
You
of
know,
the
you
tree
have
line,
the fireplace
go
on your
up in
TV.
smoke
It's
as
always
well.
so
On this
the
street, by the way,
cracking is so
Alameda, Santa
loud.
Rosa, there are towering pines. And that's
Guys,
also
listen to that. I
a
mean,
concern.
that
They wanna
almost
make
sounds
sure that they
fake.
keep the fire from getting
That's
in any of
bad.
these
That
trees
is so bad.
that could crest, and that could lead to a transmission of the flame from one part of the street to the other. That in and of itself is an issue. But once again, this is Alameda.
Look at
Santa
this.
Rosa,
The irony is one
LA
of my
County Fire
photograph
Department,
memories that
engine,
popped up.
20,
My iPad's a photo
on scene.
on
We've counted at
PCH
least
in
5
California.
homes on
Is
fire
it
here.
if it's like a picture
Alex
of the
was talking
scenery and
about,
whatnot?
his
If you want to
neighborhood
share
in the
it,
commercial
I'll
district
show
on
it.
Lake Boulevard, that is east of here. There,
You know, Shine has a beautiful eye for photography, and I I got to know her because I asked her for help. I was like, okay, I will be to that point where I'm ready to ask for help in just a little bit. But I saw you you're doing everything else. I didn't want to lose you,
others not
and
so,
I still
not so
haven't
much.
gotten to.
Again, it's all
You
about
know, the
timing,
question I asked her, I'm like,
whether or not the
I
fire
put my
reaches you by the
f-stop
time
at
the winds die down.
-0.3.
Winds have died
Should I
down.
do that?
Currently,
I think I should.
it's very
I
good
think I
news
have a video on that,
for
but I
the
don't know why.
homeowners
I don't
here
really know what
as
f-stop.
they look warily at the firefight across the street.
We'll have a conversation
Yeah,
later.
Conan, with the
Awful.
caveat that the winds have actually died down where you are in your particular neighborhood, but again, not necessarily the story in other parts of Altadena.
Last
As
night
we
after
give our
everything, they're
viewers
talking
now
about
that
the
split
cars
screen,
that
what you're
blocked
seeing on the left-hand side
Sunset
of your
Boulevard
screen is
that they
exactly where
bulldozed.
Alex Rozier was there on Lake
and guys,
Boulevard. And of course, we have Kona's live shot there on the
Don't
right.
do
where
that. Don't.
at least
In case
5
of
homes
emergency,
have
don't
burned,
leave your car
within that
like
neighborhood
that.
of
It's
Alameda
not.
and Santa
And I
Rosa.
was like, but you know what? A
All
lot
right,
of
so we
people
want to
saw.
switch now
This is
from,
what
our
happens.
coverage
Okay, this is
here
what
in
they don't
Altadena
realize.
and take it back
This
up to
is
News
what
Chopper 4
happens. We
live
have
over
stuff
Pacific
like
Palisades
Maui,
with Julia Dang. Julia.
and then we don't have answers,
Michael,
and we're not
this
allowed to really
is
talk
eerie.
about
This is
it.
just unnerving. Look at the water.
Hey, Donna
It's
Ralph, how's
glowing
it going?
orange from flames that are continuing to erupt. We're still over the Palisades
Oh,
fire,
awesome.
and it doesn't feel to me or my pilot like winds have died down here.
The wind
This
is.
is just unrecognizable. I mean, this is our
It is
iconic
slowing
Southern
down, but
California
then it'll
coastline.
pick back
We've
up. It
actually
has
turned
gusts.
on
It's all over the
map
place.
overlay, this map graphic in our helicopter. because you probably can't even tell what we're shooting. This is
I didn't
Pacific
realize they're
Coast
doing
Highway
two
here
things.
that
So
I'm
that's
zooming in
the
on. And just like Kenneth
graphic
was reporting on the other side
over
of town, you know, it
the
comes down
smoke and
to
everything. That's a
timing
real
for
picture.
a lot of these structures, a lot of these homes and businesses, whether
Dan
they're going to
Davis,
be
how are
saved
you
or not. So right
doing?
now we've got a plume of smoke
Still no
being
power.
blown
Hey,
into the camera
Rosalind
frame,
Duke
but
asked me
you can
about
just
you.
make out. I'm going to zoom
You
in a little bit
please
more.
message
Again,
her
this is
over
Pacific
there on
Coast
the
Highway.
Twitter.
We are shooting
She'll leave me
west
alone.
toward the ocean. You can just make out a frantic firefight underway right now.
108
Homes
days,
up and
no
down
power,
PCH,
man.
on both
What do
sides,
you
east
want to
and
make a bet
west,
that
had been burning
they have power
throughout
before
the night,
you do?
throughout today. It's just, it's
That was
completely
cold. I just
obscured
realized
now.
that
I'm
was
going to pull
cold.
back out with
I
the
didn't mean
camera
it that
and
way,
see
but it
what
was
I can show you.
hmm.
But again, it does not feel like winds have died down.
What's the status?
Winds
Stars it?
have
The
been
fires? No,
kicking up
zero
flames.
contained.
I'm going to move the camera east a little
Check
bit
it
and show
out.
you
Let's
where
do.
the worst of
Show you
this
this
is
again.
burning right now. We've been posted up north
Yeah, that's wrong
northeast
one.
of the fire
Sorry.
just to get out of
No, wait.
the
I was
line
right.
of smoke, but
Just need to
because
scroll
the
down the
winds are
page.
blowing so quickly.
All right, here we go.
so
Look at this.
erratically.
So stars it. Here we go. Palisades fire, the one that started it all. The last update. Let me hit reload. Make sure we're up to the latest. Okay. Oh, they've updated. They've updated, y'all. Palisades fire, 15,832 acres now, 0% contained. The Eaton fires, 10,600 acres. Hearst fire, 505. Woodley's a new one, and Oliva's fire. Those are two new ones. But man, the numbers on Palisades that is brand new, just updated when I hit the reload. 15,000. It was at like 11,000 or whatever before I did that. Wow, man. That's over 20. That's like 27,000 acres, y'all. Oh, wait, hold on. Look at this. There's the winds right now.
Kicking up in the double digits. We have gusts that are bursting, especially across those contoured areas. And we are talking
acres.
Anywhere from, I'd say, 25
to
close to 45 mile per hour. And again, we are talking about with our watches and warnings in place, the wind's getting as high as 40 miles per hour, and those gusts going anywhere from 40 to 80 plus. And this is going to be a situation that we'll be tracking for, I'd say, at least through the rest of today, wind-wise. You know, we have our wind gusts as early as tomorrow here, and I wanted to show
square miles.
This is our map indicating that winds are not really going to be letting up. When we look in terms of single double digits here, we are talking winds pushing across the area continuously, and this is going to carry us on our screen there over into tomorrow evening, where some of the area still seeing those winds.
All right, so Cynthia says there's 11 helicopters, 4 fixed-wing tankers.
In addition to that, our humidity is on the lower side, those single digits across a lot of the region. I'm going to
super scoops. That's the thing that like lands in the ocean.
We do still see the continuation of that, and you know, all of this is just very poor when we think in terms of our drought conditions, but also how dry it is out there. I took a look at the water year for not just last year, but the year before that. You know, and we did really well. We had numbers well above where they should have been, and that is just not the case rolling into this water here. You'll see that you know, the water year does start in October and it stretches all the way through September, and we have only received 0.16
Isn't it El Nino
inches
right
there,
now?
so that is well below where we should be. It is giving us a huge deficit, especially when we think in terms of, you know, January being the second wettest month of the season, and we've not received anything for this month. Our average does put us over 3 inches, so we're well behind where we should be year to date. There we go. There's that number I talked about, 0.16 inches. So, you know, and it's reflecting in our conditions today. So we're not just talking.
Sure, Jeff. Look at this.
Who were out there in the Pacific Palisades, who you could see they're running on adrenaline, lack of sleep, stress. These are the things that
sadness.
And extreme sadness and
Did
emotion.
she say sadness? They're running on sadness?
Thousands of people are going through right now. Glenn,
that is how you run.
We, you know, we just have to hold it space for everybody in our hearts out there, because there's not much more you can do. These winds are impossible to stop. They will continue to roll through Southern California for at least until Thursday night, maybe even holding on till Friday morning. Fortunately, there will be now ebbs and flows. yesterday, last night especially, it was just a widespread wind thunderstorm. I mean, it was just tremendous. And this windstorm that ripped through Southern California last night, I continue to say this, I believe it's a once in a generation event. You probably won't see this again in your lifetime, but you can certainly tell a lot of people about it, that you witnessed it, you went through it. It just
That's
doesn't
what I was
happen.
saying last night, guys. This is what
I've been
we have. This is this is history. I mean, it's sad. Look at that, 10,600
winds like this before,
Eden.
and we talk about it. We always
sad and
alert
sick as
the
this
audience
is,
there is a Santa Ana wind event coming. And as it got closer and closer,
it's just
I could tell, and the National Weather Service
yes,
obviously
Oregon
could
is sending
tell too,
firefighters.
this
Oregon,
is going to be different.
Arizona,
I remember you saying that last week prior to you were like, this is
and there's
it is going to be massive, and it turned out to be even more massive than I had anticipated nor forecasted.
Did you get
We
banned
knew
from
we could see
something?
some of our mountain communities
Let us
maybe
know.
getting gusts of up to 100 miles per hour, but not our foothill communities getting gusts.
Well, we've seen big fires in the mountains.
Oh,
that are
that's
disastrous.
hey,
they're
I
sparsely
was
populated compared to what we
22
have down
acres
here
off.
in the basin.
Just doing it by my brain.
This has
By,
got to
like,
be
you
the
know,
biggest
eyes and stuff. I
disaster
looked at it. Isn't
in
that
Los
crazy?
Angeles County since the
It
Northridge
is.
earthquake.
The Associated Press did say it's the most destructive fire, at least in LA City's history.
And what's really going to be shocking, maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, is once the smoke is gone and everything is sort of settled down, we're going to drive around our neighborhoods that are beautiful, the green and we love, and they are gone.
Reality.
Yeah, reality is going to strike, and it's going to be really, really tough for everybody here in Southern California.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to Altadena and to our Aaron Myers. Aaron, where are you now?
42.153,125 miles.
Hi, you guys. We have actually been in the
42
same
square
area
miles.
pretty much since we got here for our first
Oh, her
segment at
mask
11.
is sideways.
This
She must have been
is
talking to
Calavera
Lesko.
Street, right in between Allen and Sinaloa, and this house has been burning out.
Not that I've seen, Silver Fox.
Water time ago with a helicopter. They do have water now. That was an issue a short time ago. They weren't able to put water. Protect that brown house, but a lot of smoke. The white smoke. And you can see they have brought in other crews as well. We have County Fire here now, also Bishop Fire. And that's what we've been hearing about a lot this morning. That died down and something.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So I want to bring in Toros to talk to us a little bit about that. Now,
So here's what gets me. Like what we're seeing here is like the cell phone tower skipping and all that stuff. That's got to be changed, man. Like,
yeah, I think we're going to move away from this. We are having some audio issues with Aaron's live shot, but we will check back in on her.
I just saw
Andy
Apple
Reesmeyer
trying to
is
deal with
in
Starlink.
Burbank. He's at a large animal
That's the
evacuation
way to
center.
go.
Hi,
I can
Andy.
I can text message on satellite my phone.
Hey Lou, how you doing? Yeah, we are at the
cold.
LA Equestrian Center in Burbank, east side of the San Fernando Valley, and behind me you can still see the Eaton fire. And over the last couple hours since we've been here, started to see that get a little darker, a little more ominous. But at least for the people over here who have evacuated their large animals, the air is relatively clear. Seems to be blowing, most of that smoke rather seems to be blowing to the south and to the west. So this was an area that last night and over the past really 24 hours.
We'll do another grift
has
stream. It's
been,
the only
huge
second one I've ever
refuge
done.
for
First
people
one
who
was
have
for
these
the
large animals. Obviously you see a lot of horses
Lady
here. There are
Lakeland. They're gonna
300
be like,
horses
you guys get
at
pick
the
up
LA
my curtains.
Equestrian Center that I was told that have been brought here from different places. They're coming from
nobody's
not
gonna
only
ban
places like
you.
the Eaton Fire over in Altadena, but up in Sylmar. They're coming from the Palisades. And in addition to them, we have some tape that we shot earlier. There are other large animals there that you can see. We had a couple of donkeys. There are a few sheep as well, and a pig.
Oh, there's a couple of donkeys.
They are also
that means.
also here. So a lot of things happening, and I think one of the things that you've noticed, or at least that I've noticed from talking to everybody, is that like people have been up all night. It has been absolutely chaotic. We showed you some tape there from the Eaton Fire earlier where horses were just running around like crazy. We talked just a bit ago to someone who did evacuate from the Eaton Dam area and shared her story of how she ended up here. Tell me about how that was last night.
It was pretty crazy. We couldn't actually get up to the barn.
Is that Sarah
We were circling
Silverman?
for a few hours.
Sarah Silverman.
And then we decided to go back down south. And we were sitting at a stoplight, and I see my horse walking across the street with two other
that's
horses and
Roseman.
one
That's
of
who
our,
that is. That's who it would be.
barn
'Cause
members.
It's a
They just
rogue horse
saved him,
just
pulled him out.
wandering
Yeah,
around.
and that was like 3
Way to
miles
go,
south of
Roseman.
where the barn
Gosh.
is.
So
Lady,
for
get
3
your
miles,
ass in
walked.
gear.
You just happened 3 horses, 3 miles,
By herself.
and just happened kismet run into them,
Yeah.
and then you put them in the truck, or
No, I was in my car, so I just pulled over and ditched my car and walked up and just got out and started walking with them.
you were telling me a lot of people were texting you because they saw your horse on TV, and that it was really part of the coverage of the rescue here. And I think what's really amazing is that now here we are in Burbank at the Equestrian Center, and there's at least an end to the story for right now.
Yeah.
That everybody's safe.
Yeah, we're safe. We did lose our barn though, so it's gonna be a while before we can rebuild and see what's going on. But yeah, I mean, the most important thing is that we were able to get everyone out and that we're safe.
Did you ever think anything like this would happen?
No, no. I was like, we hear about it all the time in other places, but you never think it'll happen to you.
What now for you guys? I mean, obviously just trying to stay sane in all the chaos and insanity, but is there a plan?
Yeah, we're just gonna have to, most of the horses will be able to eventually go back to the barn. But
I've
like
never
this
seen
guy
before.
and this guy lost their home. So we're gonna, I don't know, just see what happens.
And do you think they're doing okay? I mean, obviously they're not in the threat of fire, but like emotionally and psychologically, what kind of impact does this have on them?
I mean, horses are prey animals. They're like, think of them as like mice in large bodies. So they're definitely stressed. They're definitely scared. But I mean,
Horses
it
are
does matter.
really? Is
having
this
us
true?
here. Yeah.
Hey, Shane Grant, what's up?
So Danielle was telling me that there
Rosa, what's
are
happening?
a couple of other
Who's
points that she wanted to get across. They had a horse from that Eaton
Chow
Dam
Stream?
stable area there
I don't know
named
Chows.
Claire, who's a gypsy horse, who's black and white. She thinks she has braided hair, which they don't know what happened to her.
Oh, wait, you know what?
they
Sorry, I
said
got
maybe
distracted on my
somebody picked her up,
computer. I was like, what are these?
and,
It's like evidently I
put
must
her
have
in
had
a
an
trailer, maybe
update.
she's
I'm like,
outwandered, and they said
what's
if
all
you do
these
see her,
options I can click?
gypsy horse is
I
a
got
black and white
I
horse.
still
They're very
wanted to
easy
start
to
clicking
identify.
buttons, y'all. I
And would
wanted
have
to
been
start
over
clicking
there in
buttons.
the Eaton
All right, sorry, let's go
area,
right here
where the Eaton
to
Canyon is.
breaking news of ABC kind.
They can't, even if it's not their own home, it's their neighbor's home. But essentially, are they trying to buy some time right now, Alex? Because I know you mentioned you did see at least
Yes, they're buying
one
time. Everybody's trying to
helicopter
buy
in the sky.
time.
Are you seeing
Time
any water
shares
drops
even.
or anything like that yet?
Look, ABC News has their own
you think
embroidered
Chicago's, I know, might have been
fireman's
going on and
jacket.
off, depending on
I
what
want
the
a
wind has been
fireman's
doing as
jacket.
well. And right now, luckily,
How do I
it's
get
pretty
one?
calm in this area. That is
not
allowing
fair.
firefighters to do exactly what's happening over my shoulder.
My
If you look at that water
grandfather
that
was
they're
a volunteer
shooting,
fireman.
It's not
Does
doing
that
a
count?
90-degree turn into the wind. It's going straight out of that cannon and going right
Eyes
onto
in the
the
front,
fire.
I'm
That
ready
is
to
a big
hunt. Eyes
difference
on the
because
side.
the winds
I
have
run
calmed
and
down quite a
hide.
bit. We heard that one helicopter
that
go
mean?
overhead. It was
I'm so
low. It was
confused.
loud. It was an LA County, a yellow LA County fire chopper. And then we haven't heard anything else. We thought maybe that was the beginning of air attack getting in and the resources from the air. But unfortunately, we have not heard another chopper, another plane since then. This has all been on the ground. But really, the firefighters,
You can order a
they're
chow.
not able to
What
get
is a
to
chow
the head
stream?
of this thing and really fight it.
Oh,
They're just
thank you.
trying to, one, life safety. Get people
Oh,
to
that's
get
what
out.
I heard
But two,
beeping. I
to
look around like,
stop
what is
some of the homes that are
beeping on
burning
here?
from spreading to more homes.
You know what
by
else?
not
This is gonna, I'm
saving
gonna
the
forget.
homes. It's
Shine, remind me in
way
like
too
2
late
minutes. I'm gonna
for
forget
this
because my
house right
stuff's
here
messed
to
up.
prevent that from going to more homes
messed up.
on the block. And
Where's
yes,
the,
people are trying to buy time. That they are putting whatever water they've got.
Wait,
even though
is
it
that
is
the second
a
person
garden
saying
hose,
buying
it's not a
time?
fire hose. That they're using what they've got to try to protect their homes. And we've seen people that have not left until the very last minute on this street, that they have been filling up their cars with everything that they can. And then once their home starts to catch fire, they get out of here and they head out.
So
But
much better.
still a lot of active fire here on this street.
And that's deeply concerning, but I know that as soon as you start to get water drops, it really, really helps that morale. In fact, my husband just texted me a minute ago saying they're doing water drops near our home where this fire is starting to encroach onto our neighborhood areas. And once he saw those water drops, it was really uplifting because that is a huge part of how we fight fires here in California.
Yeah, she's got the gray shirt on. She doesn't have the cool yellow one.
Bring in our meteorologist Samara Theodore for more on this forecast because Samara, while the main focus here is on the winds, they just almost seem to be more erratic than the last time we spoke. What are we hearing right now about the fire risk?
We're still in the thick of it, Kayla. So when we look at that bell curve, you know, we were anticipating the heavy or strongest winds this morning. We're on the descending side of the bell curve with improving conditions on the way. But like I said, we're still pretty close to the peak. We're not out of the woods just yet. So here we have the extreme fire risk.
This came up on her Apple Photos. This is the Palisades Coastal Highway. Is that not beautiful? She's not a great artist. Look at this. Golly, man. Look at the details in the water. I mean, you can, there's so much detail and depth in this picture. If I could take pictures like this, I'd have a YouTube channel. Oh, wait a second. All right, so what's the other one? Oh, I don't have that one right now. All right, we're talking about the weather. I don't want to talk about the weather. Oh, here we go. We're going back over here. There we go.
And yeah, and we're doing what we can, and a lot of it's just waiting.
Tell me about the Palisades community.
The Palisades community.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Pacific Coast Highway. What did I say? Palisades? I didn't really know. Just kind of making it up.
It's with the Waldorf School. Has had some damage.
Now, is the other picture? Is this you? You said this is that was the Big Creek Bridge, and this is
what's real and what isn't.
McWay Falls.
Because so many things contradict.
Oh, there's a holy.
But that's the strongest community that I have is those people who have kids like I do and have kids.
Actually, that may be one of the most beautiful photos I've ever seen.
They are safe.
I'm not making that up. That just, I mean,
they're with mom and
look at this.
And
look at that. Isn't that unbelievable? Let's get rid of me. Let's make, there we go. Look at that. Holy moly. Look at that. There's waterfall there. That is such a beautiful, beautiful photo. Yeah, that's what right? I think this is it, isn't it? And this is McWay Falls on the Pacific Coast Highway in Big Sur. That is really amazing. So it's kind of funny that this popped up on her today in history of your photos or whatever that is, right? That's oh, wait, I'm sorry. I put Denise up here. My heart breaks for these professionals who are reporting this tragedy and their own homes are in danger. Please pray for all. As a past firefighter paramedic, I know the frustration of having to make decisions. Denise, first of all, thank you for, being a firefighter paramedic. You guys, all y'all are the real deal. I appreciate y'all.
Just to see the devastation firsthand. And I can't imagine what he's feeling,
not
knowing whether his home is there or not. And as we've been hearing from so many people,
she's having a hard time with that mask.
Random, right?
So what do you say to this one, Bad Duck? Is that mask, is her mask better than the other one? I don't think so. Come on, right?
Homes, schools.
Hey, Debbie, how are you doing?
Stores, places of worship.
Wait, downtown Altadena is under fire. It's burning. Let me see if I can find it.
It's too early to ask these folks, what's the next step for you? Because as you heard there, for now, they are just trying to figure it out.
Boom.
He doesn't.
The pressure.
Guys, look at this.
Though, firefighters appear to have water. We're seeing them again, trying to get.
Is that the Jewish center we saw yesterday?
pan back this way because we're seeing even more.
Oh, I need one of those wrenches. Do you see that wrench on that fire hydrant?
Embers.
I need that.
And it's just picking up so much smoke, so much ash. And again, these very
but that can't be any better than that other mask. The other mask can be much better.
It's a very dangerous situation here. Let's send it back to you.
It reminds me of the Ralph's.
Yeah, the nose and mouth has to be covered for the mask
to
to
work.
work.
Another grocery store, this time in Altadena, for the Eaton
Holy cow!
fire.
Look at
Christy, thank you so much for that. I know that we're going to go to. Go ahead.
When I was in the Palisades yesterday, there were not people walking around when those structures were burning. So that is what sort of stands out to me.
This guy's smart. He's got a black mask, so that way you don't know it's dirty.
There's two guys there, one with a cell phone taking video.
You got one in your truck.
I did not see that last night in the Palisades, maybe early on, but by the time it was night, it had cleared out.
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
I see it in the back. You do.
Between night and day, literally. Christy, stay safe. Thank you so much. Alex, there's been a lot of questions about the lack of water as it relates to the Palisades fire, and we're hearing from the public information officer from LAFD, Eric Scott, who just put out a message about this not long ago, and he's addressing it. He says, and this is his words, we did experience some challenges with water pressure while battling the Pacific Palisades fire. LADWP proactively filled all available water storage tanks, including
Jenny, are you
three 1 million gallon tanks located in the Palisades area. However,
that's not my
water availability was impacted at higher elevations, which affected some fire hydrants due to limited replenishment of water tanks in those areas.
That
the
really
extreme
messed me up.
demand caused a
Ronnie, how you doing?
Which created a challenge for our firefighting effort.
Yeah, there've
That's
been a
awesome,
whole
man.
lot of questions about that, and I spoke a little bit earlier.
Look at
today,
that! Oh man, I'll tell you what.
with Lindsay
Aldi, they
Horvath,
got the
one of
good.
board
They got the
members for LA
German
County
chocolate.
Supervisors,
Oh, that's
and,
so good
said,
to get.
You know,
And
how
they
does
got
this
those
happen?
charcuterie.
And she said, "Look, we need to do
like
changes, and we're in the midst of already talking about a different water plan for LA County, and this obviously needs to be part of what they do differently going forward." Let's go now to Haley Winslow, who is joining us. We see her
Christmas
there.
Tree
Looks
Lane.
like on Christmas
The
Tree
135
Lane.
cedar trees
Haley.
were planted in 1885.
Hey, you guys.
by the
Unfortunately,
Woodbury
this
family.
historical
Founders
landmark
of
here in
First
Altadena
Organized.
at the Eaton Fire is.
She's
on
got a
fire.
yellow
This
fire
was,
jacket.
These trees, 135 of them, planted in 1885. This is where people come year
Are they all
after
gone?
year. The famous landmark with the oldest and the longest running Christmas tree lighting in the United States is now several of these houses on fire. Neighbors here telling
That's
me
where a
Henry
fire
Ford's
department should be.
house
You
down
got
the
to
street
save
here
stuff
is
like
on
this.
fire, and it is just awful to see. Now, firefighters are telling these neighbors that these trees hold a lot of moisture, and so they theoretically won't catch on fire, but neighbors aren't so sure now.
If you
they
find an
didn't
Aldi in
expect
a
this.
really
They're
good zip
keeping
code,
their neighbors
it's
across the
amazing.
street here at 573
By the way,
informed. So we're on the corner of Santa Rosa Avenue and
We don't have
Alameda
any snow.
Street. And this historical landmark, just to give you a little bit more information, is
Oh, my glasses.
135
I
of
just
these
put a smudge on my
trees planted
glasses.
in
I can't see. My
1885
glasses
by the
last
Woodbury
night.
family. First organized by Nash in 1920, so Mile of Christmas Trees,
They put
105
a
years old.
mark on my
and it was
nose.
registered as a historical landmark. I
You gotta
remember
get
I've
rid of
been
that.
here. I've cut when we would, talk about the best Christmas trees.
She said I cut one
best
down in high
Christmas
school.
lights, excuse me, in Southern California, on a weekly basis. I've been here many times. I've seen these houses, and it's obviously
Hey,
a very
not Baker.
joyful time. The neighbors here are amazing. I'm going to introduce you to these two nice people, Patrick and Julie, who
Yeah,
just
they're
keep
working.
pushing
Let's go
out.
harass
They've
the
been
guy at the
spraying
hose.
water
It'd be funny if he turned that hose on her.
Patrick, 11, thanks for being so kind. Can you tell us a little bit more about this area and just obviously what you're going through?
Extremely historic. I'm here as a friend helping.
That's a horrible
good friends of the
hose
family.
head. Look at that
And,
leaking.
As you see, there's
You gotta
a
get
house on
a
fire
better
across the
hose.
street. We're just trying
You
to
can't do that, man.
keep it
You need to get a flux hose.
wet. Our
No, Fluxilla. Flexilla. Whatever.
Debris, there are embers. coming.
Hit that car. Squirt that car down. Squirt
We
it.
could light up these trees, and we don't
Look
want
at that.
it to come to the house.
Smoke goggles.
If you look
They're
up and down,
Oakley's.
it's
So he's gonna go Do a little, what's that thing called? Snowboarding.
The entire month of December.
Wait, what? Usually the expert is like a robot and nuts and bolts. What?
And Henry Ford's house down the street. Do you know anything about that?
It's a camera guy. That's not really the dude. That's just a camera guy who found a hose.
I know. I believe
I understand that.
Out of the house, obviously, and we checked that earlier, and they're out of town right now. So
yeah, look, they got the thing on their front windshield to block the sun from, heating up the car.
What waking up today and seeing the devastation?
Spawn Trooper, what's up?
Really, a lot of people say surreal, but it is part of life.
See this? I can't believe the fire in midwinter. Spawn Trooper, it's bad, man. It is bad, and it's not getting any better.
Other issues, so that's why I came with them today to help them out.
It's really nice of you to help out. I keep seeing that time and time again, and people helping, their neighbors and their friends.
But in South Pass,
is she confused by that?
So smelling smoke, and we're like, wow, we've never had that much smoke in this area, And so,
this guy's an amazing conversationalist.
Wee hours of the morning, we got a call from our friends and said, hey,
we smelled smoke.
We might be
you never had that in this area.
And I said, all right, then we were able to come back in.
You ought to put that down and talk to the blonde.
Over here and try to help them out a little bit.
Did you pack
how much fun that'd be?
You
start saying stupid stuff and she'd be like, huh?
You never know. Yeah, no.
The goggles are covering the Fox logo on his collar.
Thank you.
Yes.
We'll see if Julie's still here. Thank you very, very much. This neighborhood is amazing. I remember the neighbors.
Look, she's just going inside now. That's her husband.
Obviously, this is a huge thing during Christmas time, and thousands and thousands of people.
Oh, look at her. She's on the stage. She's
going
to
to
dance.
kind and welcoming, and obviously the decorations
I
are
died
amazing.
at that table, bro.
Julie Gray, thank you very much for your time and help with this. Tell me first a little bit about what you're going through.
It sucks. Altadena and Los Angeles is on fire, and we're trying our hardest to just douse it out.
What did the firefighters just tell you?
That fire, that water
the house,
stopped
our neighbor's
flames.
house across the street, lighting one of these trees on fire, and they said that he's over there, but he's
Go ahead.
He said large trees like this tend to not burn, so you shouldn't be too afraid. He said we're pretty good, but we're still going to douse the ones that are on our neighborhood.
Okay. Did you pack
on our neighborhood or in our yard?
I'm sure
we started packing.
Bad Duck says, "Expert, you're Catholic. You should understand every dirty joke pretty easily."
I'm sure a lot of people, had this thought last night where you're looking around your house and you're like,
I don't know a lot of jokes, man. I'm not.
Obviously,
comedy is not my thing, dude. I'm like the driest person in the world.
You realize at the end of the day, they're just things.
Like humor, I don't have it, dude. It sucks so bad.
Is all right, and I'm
hoses versus fires. Who wins? All this guy is doing is wasting water. The firefighters could use. I'll tell you what, Yamaha biker was there. He used one of his
bullets. They're going to start burning. Save Christmas Tree Lane. It's 110 years old. It's the oldest tree lighting ceremony.
Oh my gosh, Food Fairy! Where did that come from?
Henry Ford. You've got Saul Bass's old case study house.
Thank you very much, Julie. We'll bring you more as soon as we get it. I really hope that Save Christmas Tree Lane, she says. Thank you, Julie and Patrick. And we'll leave you with this shot here of their neighbor's house. Thank you. Stay safe, too. I'll send it back to you guys.
Haley, thank you. So our viewers have been listening to Haley Winslow and her reporting there in Altadena. And this is another area of Altadena. This is the Aldi food market that is engulfed right now. As you can see, Christy Bajardo was showing us these live pictures
I lost
earlier.
my straw.
And
I lost
it looks like still no fire crews anywhere.
Besides that, I'm starting to feel like I need to use the restroom.
Are you talking to me? I'm sorry, Marla. I'm having trouble hearing.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm having trouble hearing.
Fire crews here, but we were told that one crew that we were actually witnessing trying to hook up to that hydrant had to leave
really
because they couldn't get water, and so it was a
Jen
combination
Thunder.
of pressure and also hose side. So they've gone somewhere else to try.
You get the
to
light,
get
and she
water.
brings the
See that they're
thunder.
clearing out, even as
Love
this is
it. How you doing,
burning,
Jen?
Well, here comes one engine appears, another one is arriving as the others are leaving.
Was that bit of watering helping?
This has been kicking up quite a bit of smoke and also ember.
Probably not.
And I
You know,
did just speak to
am I
someone
gonna
who
tell her
came
no?
back to the strip mall
Gives her
where I'm
something to do.
standing
Makes her feel like she's
to
helping.
lock up a veterinary.
I know. How stupid is that? How many times we make fun of people like
these?
I put a sticker on my car. I'm helping.
Evacuating the animals that were at the hospital, and it got so hairy that they actually had to crawl out because there was so much smoke. They said they got all the animals out, then they got themselves out, but they forgot to lock the door. So they just came back to do that. They were all messed up.
I give her a super soaker. She wanted. Lilu, how you doing? Did I say it right? Am I saying your name right?
Appears there is water.
Because if it is,
we're seeing some
I just
spraying out
realized
of the
Lilu
top
is
there.
in like
So
Fifth Element. That'd be
one
so
left,
cool.
as I said, they
love that
indicated it was a
character.
combination of hose size and water.
That means you have to be here all the time. So I can say, Lilu,
engine has the right hose, so hopefully they can start attending to this fire and to these flames.
I know, man. All that.
With so much demand right now for water, it has been an issue, as we've seen time and time again.
All that chocolate,
the fight here, and also
good
in the
cheeses
Palisades last night.
It's all imported, man. It's unbelievable. You gotta look at the back.
With me
Say the alcohol, says Bad Duck. That's true, man.
Here,
They might have
see how
sales of
much
alcohol.
devastation.
Tennessee, they used to not have that.
From the veterinary hospital, which is right there, when
Tennessee was a lot better when we didn't sell alcohol in
was what was on fire, and you can see just
people
how
make fun
much
of us and then come by.
has been destroyed here, building after building.
I'm seeing a screenshot of the amount of structures around that alley. Oh, awesome! Thank you.
But there are no buildings.
I am saying it right. It's Lilu Multipass. Yes.
Businesses, possibly homes as well here, that have been destroyed. It's just unbelievable to look at this. Let's send it back to you.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. It's hard to
awesome. You don't
really
understand how awesome this is.
Given that this is a scene that we've seen play
Stuff like
out in
this.
the Palisades. First, that was, of
Stuff
course,
like
what started all of our coverage. And then last night,
I can't
the
look
Eaton
up
fire
all the
broke
stuff,
out as just a 10-acre brush fire. And here we are, almost 11,000
acres. All right, guys, real quick. So this
well,
Audi right here where they are,
and here
as
the
Shine just sent
there. Hopefully they get their water
screenshot.
situation
Let me show you.
Worked out. Chris,
look at that. You see that? Look where that red dot is. That's the Audi. Look at everything around there. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. That's a lot of kindling there. It's a lot that can catch fire. I mean, that's scary.
And it's very large debris. You can see all the floor is littered with it. But we're also seeing it completely.
Gina L.
Gino,
I know my fire watchers. I like that. We're the fire watchers over
parking
here.
Lot. So those very large pieces of burning ash, those embers are flying.
Spliffy, how you doing? I'm glad you subbed. Welcome to the channel. We're having, as they having fun. We're watching the misery and suffering in California right now. We found out though, everybody has been evacuated. So what is burning now is
littering
buildings.
That parking lot over there.
Does it suck?
Wow.
Yes.
It is now
horrible
2 o'clock in the afternoon. You are watching Fox 11 Los Angeles and our continuing live coverage.
We laugh through it. We laugh not because
I'm Alex Michelson with Marla
we don't
Tejas,
care.
Christy Fajardo
It's because it's a way to deal with the gallows
We're looking at the Aldi
and
market.
it's not the best thing, but
which is up in flames.
Hey, wait, guys! I woke up. I felt bad this morning.
More than
10,000
acres burned.
It's like, God, there's just so much stuff.
We are seeing now in the middle of the day some firefighters arriving to try to do
MG Law. How you doing, bud? The devastation of the direct result of California.
Damage to this market, if not a total loss coming.
Dude.
And Christy, it's interesting to see the streets open.
Drive-by political ad by MG Law.
While all this is underway.
It is. It's stunning. I've seen so many people walking by, even teenagers.
The wind's coming
on
Jeff?
skateboards
Oh,
with their cell phones, and
people are on the skateboards.
Obviously, most likely posting to social media about what they're seeing. I did not see that.
Yeah.
I should say last night in the Pacific Palisades, early on, there were people who were coming out and taking pictures, but when things got very scary,
I didn't
which
see
they
anything.
did,
I looked all night. Remember we
just
had
about every neighborhood that we went to had completely
TikTok
cleared
on,
out.
man. TikTok didn't have it.
Well, I mean, that is good news because we've seen that time and time again where people haven't listened to the evacuation order, and then next thing you know, their lives are in danger. So glad that the neighborhoods have cleared out, but it's so devastating. It's an understatement, I know, but you know, when you see these businesses, big or small, being just destroyed by Mother Nature and the flames that have erupted. And then just to hear from LA County Fire Chief Maroney today basically said, even if
two people are all that
Southern California crews,
and they don't even know they're fire-related
casualties, which is why we're seeing
which is amazing. Can you imagine? I mean, it's such a
Northern California,
one of the biggest evacuations
coming
in history.
to our aid. Thank goodness. And one of the highlights that I've seen today in our coverage is finally being able to see the helicopters.
Shine, it's got a third chili.
Yesterday, the super scoopers were out in all of their glory and capability.
Tim Fox, how you doing?
1,600 gallons of water yesterday on the Palisades
cool
fire.
Avatar you got, Tim.
That obviously didn't do a whole lot, and they weren't out for long, and they were grounded overnight. So to see air tankers out today, that's been great news. But as I'm saying this, obviously, the firefight is a very serious one here in Altadena.
Guys, look how big that flame got.
This started just sort of on one corner of it when we came to Christie, and now it looks like it's so completely engulfed. And obviously, you know, big concerns because Christie reporting that when they pulled up, the hose size wasn't right for the fire extinguisher in one of the instances, and then another instance, the water pressure wasn't there. So they had to sort of get it. I believe it was they got a new engine to get there with a bigger hose size, and now we're seeing
that a bigger hose size.
The water should be dousing this.
Good point, Valhalla. Are they wind casualties? Because I started seeing last night.
Yeah,
Am I muted?
Marla, I don't know what.
I'm not muted. Hey, Joe, I'm not muted.
See them trying to hook up the hydrant, but by the time we came back, when I was showing you those businesses across the street that had burned, the engine was gone. So
the trees that fell down, man. That was a big thing. I was surprised that I think I forgot to say anything about it in the stream. I saw it on Twitter.
These flames. And also, you know,
Carrie T, how you doing? Welcome into we're watching Rome. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it did burn in one.
Neighbors who can't go home and they don't know if it's still
standing. Lulu needs to restart PC. Everybody needs to do that once in a while.
Power outages that often no longer works unless it's battery powered. So
Debbie Webb's at Valhalla. How many babies you got today? Hey, I bet you not more than T-Rex does. He's got 7. 7
live van, so we're hoping to drive around so we can show people the streets and what it looks like, and hopefully get some answers for some of those neighbors that are now those homeowners that are so worried.
Yeah, and that's a public service.
So here's the other thing. They don't have enough fire trucks to go to all the fires.
Good news today, this afternoon, is that the winds are expected to get a little better than they were yesterday. And so hopefully we can start to move from the worst of this thing to trying to get a hold on this a little bit and get some containment on these fires. Haley Winslow joining us now from Altadena, and she's got a resident there with her. Haley.
Oh, we got a resident.
He's a
local
resident. Yeah, he just ran up to me right after we were on a few minutes ago. He said, please help me. Chris, tell us what's going on.
Is he advertising something on a sweatshirt?
I drove up. I needed to see it. I wanted to get some clothes for my son. The entire neighborhood is burnt down, but somehow my house does not even have a scratch. There's no fire damage. I went in.
This guy
the house
care
next to mine is still on fire.
Look at that
so I'm going around begging anybody to come put out that fire to protect my home.
Because there's no water.
There's no water pressure. I tried to turn on the water myself. I would have tried to put it out, but I have no water pressure, so I have no way of putting it out.
So you and your wife are just trying to go get bottled water?
Yeah, so my wife went to get bottled water. I'm going to meet her down the hill, and we're just going to try and throw bottled water on it.
Bottled water ain't going to work.
I don't know if that's going to work.
You need a lot more than that. And so the firefighters said that you're basically not on the list right now?
They said they had a list of places to go. They're spread thin. I understand. I really understand.
Yeah, I know, but
A list of places to go. Think about that. Every time they
down the road from here, tell us your address.
I'm at 6.
How long does is there a firefighter in here? How long does it take to drag the hoses out and put them back up? Have you ever heard of that
anyone to help
type of
put
thing?
out this fire?
So he's got fire basically
You're
all
working
around
a
his
fire
house,
and then you get
and
called away to
somehow
another
there's no
fire.
damage to his
How's
house
that
yet,
work?
but it's only a matter of time.
Gina
and there's
L,
literally no
I'm
water
off to
be able
the
fight it
showers.
himself.
If I'm not back in 30 minutes, calling
Anything else you
911.
wanna
It means
say?
my bag gave out. I'm down to the floor of my tub.
From
Please,
based on the size of the fire
Gina.
to the east of my house, it probably will take 5 to 10 minutes for a hose to put it out. That's it. 5 to 10 minutes, then you can go to the next place.
And Chris
I'm thinking
Anderson,
something
just so you guys
smart
understand,
out to
his
say,
uncle's
Gina, I
house burned
can't.
down,
Nothing
his
appropriate.
mother's house
Okay,
burned
so
down
I'm just
today.
gonna
He
let
used to
it
live in
be. Let it
Pasadena. He
be.
moved to Altadena to be closer to them, and now this
Sarah
is what
Beth.
he's dealing with. This
Yes,
is what
Mother
all of
Nature
the
is the most
residents are
powerful
dealing
mother
with.
of all.
And tell me about your family, what they're going through too. To wake up to their house gone.
I couldn't
Holy
even
cow.
tell my youngest son that the house was burnt down when they told me it burnt down because he was already worried. He was already crying. When I told my oldest son that it was burnt down, he's 20 years old. He started crying. So
yeah,
to find out that my house is still standing, I immediately told them. They are so overjoyed. I would hate to have told them that only to come back tomorrow and now it's burnt down because I couldn't get a little help.
What's this like for you and your neighbors? I can't imagine the stress level that you're.
Oh my God.
He doesn't need to be thinking about that stress level. Once it hits him, he's going to fall apart.
Okay.
That was a bad question, Blondie. Where's Aquanet? She was much better at this.
They put out the evacuation notice for my neighborhood. My mom's had 3 strokes. I called my brother and his sister and my sister-in-law and told them to get my mom out of there. And I started packing even before they gave the official evacuation notice for my house. Because I've been through this. I've lived in Altadena before. I know with the wind and the fire.
Well, let me tell you what. While you're there, let's look at the other side of the alley. Check this out.
It's unreal. I mean, it's apocalyptic, and there's no end in sight.
Although I keep hearing apocalyptic.
There's no stopping it right now.
I want to ask you about your feelings on the.
Wait, I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button.
A neighbor came up to me and said, where are they? But a lot of people are very understandable about the many fires that are burning.
Los Angeles is burning right now. The palm trees are candles in the murder wind.
Well, look at that guy's eyebrows.
So you said you were pleased to see.
He spends all his time in a coffee shop reading Lenin.
Trying to maintain and contain
Was
it.
Lenin right? Did Lenin ever
everybody
write a
away.
book?
I mean, they're doing the best they can. So
He said everything
yeah,
you have done with the
That's
ball
what we've
water.
been witnessing as well over the last 24 hours, and their fight continues right now. Looking live at that.
Liz Barnes, how you doing? I didn't know about Claremont. Yeah, Aquanet, that was her last night. Remember her? She got hit in the face, man. All the embers.
What's keeping these fires moving and jumping from spot
Jenny,
to spot.
8675309.
Businesses,
how you doing?
Schools, homes,
well, it's a sad day for all those people in California. It's a horrible day. But right now, we're watching places burn because they have done an amazing job evacuating. And everybody is supposedly out of the evacuation.
Joining us with our continuing coverage, Melissa.
So this is the
Michael and Camilla.
chick,
We're tracking a few things in terms of our weather over the next few days here. One, we've got the Santa Ana winds, and the Santa Anas are allowing the fires to really spread rapidly across much of Southern California. That's one. Number two, the air is incredibly dry across much of our region, and this is a problem even after the strongest winds move on out later on this afternoon and into tonight. And number three, indirectly because of the Santa Anas, because of the smoke, we've got air.
Do we have this one up? I don't think we do.
Of our viewing area. So first, I want
to check this out.
So there's no water pressure.
K-Cal's back. They turned off last night.
That hydrant right in front of your home, and they weren't even able to use it.
Yes.
That has to be hard to watch as a homeowner.
K-Cal, we may have Aquanet. We may have an Aquanet sighting here in a little bit. Iron Rabbit, what is happening?
It is now coming up behind you.
Yes.
How much
Resources were moved on Sunday in anticipation of the wind event. No one could have anticipated this disaster. Getting it,
I got a couple of ladders on the side of my
people
roof,
are trying to get out is logistically difficult.
Downward.
I couldn't imagine though. You get someplace, and you got the hoses out, and then all of a sudden, you have to pack up.
All right. Thank you, John. Stay safe.
And go to another fire.
Certainly a very tough situation for so many homeowners
Need 100 men
decision
that just drank a
and
12-pack of beer.
exactly
Be on
what to do in a
fire.
situation like this. I will say I don't
I should be
see
slapped for
many
dark humor.
homeowners still
No,
in
it's
their
what we
homes.
need right now.
And we have
It's what
been
we need.
driving around. We got out here just after 7 o'clock.
Look at her.
this
She's got her
morning,
purse.
and we've
She's
been
got her
going through
go
all these
bag.
neighborhoods while homes are on fire, and there aren't a lot of homeowners with them.
She's got her go
There's mostly
bag.
just empty space, but it is very encouraging to see the sheriff's department out here now. We have the sheriff's department adding some much needed resources just to making sure that people don't go into this neighborhood. I mean, we like to think there aren't any looters. There's also not a lot of homes left to loot, but the last thing that we need are folks trying to go into the homes that are still standing or causing any problems.
Just think, if people want to buy firearms to protect what's left of their home,
I mean, we have constantly been,
they would be told the state of California has informed us that it's best for you not
Here
to
comes
have one
somebody else
for
trying to come onto
like
this street.
2 weeks.
And we don't know why.
So that way you can think
Right?
about
Do
what
they
your
live up here?
decision.
Do they not live up here? What is their reason?
But if you
for
want an
being here? We
abortion,
all
go
know
on
we want
in.
you check
You
on
didn't
your
just
homes,
do it
but
like crazy.
this isn't the time. Right now, the time is to get this fire out.
Did I say something?
So
I'm
I'll send
sorry.
it back to you guys.
Pedro Garcia, how you doing?
De-energized. Imagine the situation at night where you can't
She
see,
does
you're
not
driving
know
through,
it's
walking
28
through.
degrees.
It's just not safe. And you know, Joy, when you asked John why is it so important for him to be there,
Looters,
and he said
surely
his
not.
kids, I could feel him get
Tell you
very
what,
emotional. I got emotional hearing him say that.
All
You
you
can
gotta do is
see
walk
why
around
he's
your house a few
fighting. He's
times.
fighting to save his kids' home. And
Always get a
and
sling.
as unsafe as it might be, I can see why he's there. Yeah.
Exactly, and it is definitely a desperate move, and
It's not desperate
advised,
move.
but we certainly
Yeah.
understand why he is doing what he is.
And the hydrant's right outside his
Right
house,
there,
right
that's
here,
not
not working. Not
Yeah,
working.
that is really a tough situation
Yeah.
there.
I mean, this is his home. This is his home.
Yeah.
This is his hydrant. I mean, and you could hear the emotion.
Oh,
in
yeah,
his
there's
voice.
nothing
He just
in that.
simply had to walk away.
You have to walk
and
away.
It's just,
Yeah.
There's
it's really
nothing
hard.
in the
And
hydrant.
when you're in the middle of the fire, you don't want to think about what could be. You have the adrenaline pumping. You want to make sure that your belongings are here. You don't want to speculate on how dangerous the situation is or what your odds are when almost every home around you is burning. And that is the case with John right now. He has one home still
Wow,
standing.
I had something in my Amazon
is
cart.
not.
Hey
The
guys,
home
check
across
this
the
out.
street
This
is
is what
already
they're
burned, and the
expecting
home
for
across
the
on the
weather
other
here.
side has already burned.
I had something in
So
my
we have the
Amazon cart
sheriff's
before I
department
started
now
streaming. I've been
trying to
streaming
maneuver
for 2.5 hours.
and get them to stop driving
You know
through
what it
this
was?
community, but I
It
don't
was
know how they're going to do that. They're going
some
to have to establish a lot
Cat
of
8
roadblocks
shielded
further
Cat
down
8
because
cables
people are
because
coming into
Bad
this
Duck
neighborhood and they have been all day
was
long,
making
and
fun.
it is
Bad
just
Duck
creating a
and
lot of problems
Jeff
for first
Montgomery were making
responders
fun of
and
my
a very
connection the other night.
dangerous
I was like, it's
situation
not
for
me.
folks trying to
But
drive
I wanted to
under
make
and
double
around
sure.
these power lines.
So I'm getting
And the
new
sheriff's department
cables.
escorting them out right now.
Found a great
Stay
deal
out.
on them.
Yep, exactly. And that's what
$5 for
we're
one.
hoping is that these are just people that are trying to leave, not people that are trying to come back in. All
They
right, Joy,
were
thank you
Joy.
for that.
gonna be here
Let's
tomorrow.
get to Irina Nakano. She's
I
live in
forgot to
Pacific
hit
Palisades with a look at what's left
send.
at a school that
I just
caught
now looked
fire
at it.
last night. Rena, what school are you at?
It's now going to be here Monday.
Yeah, well, I was actually in a
Wednesday.
private escort with LAPD and LA Unified School District Superintendent Carvalho. We went
is-
up Temescal Canyon and
They're
checked out
expecting
three
snow,
different schools.
expecting a
There
big
are
event.
3 schools that are affected, but this is the street went up. As you can see, there's lots of black
Spliff-
smoke. and in
Volstorm,
that black
Spliffy's
smoke,
new here.
unfortunately, were 3 schools that are a part of the district. Now, first glance, we went over and checked out Palisades Charter High School. Take a look at this. About 3,000 students go here. Now, the football field, tennis courts, and baseball fields, those were looking good, but as we walked onto the campus,
This is
that's
where
when we saw the
Aquanet got
destruction
hit
along
yesterday,
the
wasn't it?
bungalows. Most of those were destroyed. District officials were
Wise
telling me
Angel, how
about
you doing?
25% loss. That's what they're estimating. But let me get to
I think she
the
did say
specifics
that,
in terms
MG.
of what's standing and what's not.
I think
The
she
older
did.
parts of the school, the brick and mortar, including buildings D,
Oh, this is
E,
the
F, and G,
Palisades. Okay,
they were standing,
this is the
but the
school.
bungalows, from our
Legally
vantage
Blonde
point, we
was filmed
only
there.
saw
Iron Rabbit with
109
5 gifted
and
memberships. Thank you
U110.
so
Those
much,
were
Iron
standing.
Rabbit. Everybody
Also, the
go to
continuation
the.
school
You'll
on the
get
campus
an
also
email.
burned to the
There's gonna be
ground.
emails out later.
Next up,
You didn't know
we
that.
went
You don't
and
actually get an email. You
visited
get a
Marquez
notification.
Charter
But you know what you
Elementary
get
School.
until then.
This is a
We're
K
gonna
through
break
5
up
school
things
with
a little
about
bit.
300 students.
We're gonna say
We arrived and saw the multi-purpose room was
this is for
burned
the snow
from the
that's coming.
back side. Everything else completely gone. We're told that the students
Wait.
here just had an enrichment garden opening and they were so happy to celebrate it. Unfortunately, that was all burned to the ground.
down. District officials.
There you go. Thank you, Iron Rabbit. Thank you for reminding me that we need
the superintendent back onto Sunset, turned
always
right on Via de la
doing
Paz.
the wiggle.
We went to Palisades Elementary Charter School.
This is a K-5 school as well with about 400 students. District officials told me they just celebrated their centennial this year.
I don't know who you're talking about,
this too
Food Fairy.
is deemed a total loss. Now, the superintendent, I asked him, now, how do you even talk to these kids, some as little as pre-K, as to what happened? He said,
What are you talking about, the Wiggles? Oh, man, the Wiggle dance, man. That's...
We need to be...
this channel's, it was like, what was it? Usually it's around 80% female. I haven't checked in a while.
Age-appropriate way. Ask them to express their feelings, how they feel about it, but having an honest conversation with them and reassure them that in time things will resume normalcy, and in time their school will be back. In time they will be reunified with their colleagues and their teachers.
Now, at this point, we are told that the district staff is already speaking with the state officials in Sacramento about funding for the rebuilding of all 3 of these schools. Again, 2 of them are total losses. One, the high school, is about a 25% loss. But the one thing as a parent you really want to know is, where do I send my kids, right? So I asked that question to the superintendent. He told me that the district staff is working with the students and parents of all 3 of these affected schools to be which schools they are going to go to in terms of neighboring schools.
Wow, I cannot believe
so that they can not only go
this
there
went
for
from
educational purposes, but also
tomorrow
before school and after school programs. But
to
from what I can tell you, the superintendent and his staff, when he walked onto all
next
3 of these
week.
campuses, he was just shrugging. He kind of just stood on a ledge and just looked at the burning areas, the mangled up chairs, saying that this is just total devastation. What a catastrophe for this entire area. I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, just so tough to see these images, so many of them. And we do, in fact, have some new video from Pacific Palisades from within the last hour. The Chase Bank building on Sunset Boulevard engulfed in flames. Governor Newsom, Mayor Bass,
That's crazy.
In Pacific Palisades, talking to firefighters. Mayor Bass just returning to LA today from a trip to Africa, and of course,
hey, hot damn, Elaine, how you doing?
Along with the governor.
What happened?
The governor there, but President Biden getting an update as well from the.
Oh, there you are. They were covering.
About the resources and what these departments were planning for and how they were preparing, but even with all the additional resources that were brought in, it still wasn't enough.
Yep, and we do know the governor has
Debbie,
already
take
asked,
care. Haven't
Biden
been to
in
bed
Washington,
yet.
DC,
Holy
for
cow!
Federal aid that's already been approved. That's going to help to pay for the firefight, which as the minutes tick, it keeps getting more and more expensive.
They're out of water, Spliffy. They're absolutely out of water.
Where more buildings.
Hey, I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Talked to a guy today. He had the same crud,
guys,
the
we're at the
coughing and all
intersection
that
of El
stuff.
Molino Avenue and Sacramento Street. You
Hey,
can,
2
all
dogs,
around
no
us.
longer
This
Jeff.
is the scene, unfortunately. This is a residential area. This home, in the time we've been waiting to go live,
Megan
completely
McCarthy.
collapsed. Let's go ahead and roll some of that
super
video.
crazy.
We
Been
were
watching
actually,
this between
we had
calls
the
all
camera
morning.
on this house.
Megan,
as it fell apart, as it collapsed, the roof came down. The stairwell.
Yeah, I've been doing this. I did like 10 hours yesterday. It's just streaming like this.
It's been just incredible
this,
to watch
again,
the
this is,
damage
I
that
think,
we've
one of the
seen.
most major events in our
Suzanne right now
lifetime.
is showing you
And
a
I
live
want
picture
to
of the house
have
next door to the one you saw.
I want to be here with you guys. This is how
you
we're
can
going to
see
learn
that
about
there's
it.
a
Keep up
gentleman
with
right
it.
there with a hose trying to put out
Slug
these,
Entertainment
flames
expert.
that are
Would you be
popping up.
willing to do it?
This is kind of the scene we've been seeing all around Altadena
If I
and
went,
pretty much
I'll
all
work
across
with
the
you
Southland today.
to transition
Amy,
to
you mentioned
OBS.
neighbor
I'm
helping
never going to
neighbor.
go to
That
OBS.
is exactly
If I
what
lose,
we are
I must interview
observing over
people
the
in
past
DC in a
several
maid
hours.
dress.
No matter what neighborhood
Well,
we
it sounds
go
like you
to,
went both
there are
ways.
people coming from all over, not just this area. From
I'll
as far
play,
as
but
the
I don't
South
compete,
Bay,
man. I
coming
don't
here
ever
to
compete for
Altadena,
stuff.
to
I'm
pull
not
their own
a
hoses,
competitor. I'm
knowing
like,
that the fire
you know,
department is stretched thin.
I feel
They have
like
hoses of their own.
just
I
having
asked them,
cleats
"Are
is
you
a win
guys
for me.
retired? Are you
Cindy, how you
off-duty?
doing?
Are
Disney
you
Junior
reserve
fan.
firefighters?" He said, "No, I'm just a normal guy trying to help out people who really need it." So this is a scene being played over and over again. We just walked across the street, another house just completely leveled. You see homes that are obviously leveled, but there's still active
You're a
fire and
lousy
flames
hubby.
burning,
Well,
a lot
I
of
am.
hot spots still
Let's not
going.
talk about how
That
bad
is
that is.
why noble
Jessica
people
Rodriguez,
are
I hope
just
they
trying
get
to
some
come by
control over these
and
fires.
help completely
look. This is
put
like a
out
war
these
zone at
flames
this
because
point.
we do
Yeah,
know the longer they
Slug was
burn,
just talking about like playing
embers
Call
are
of
going
Duty or
into
something
the
like
air,
that.
and
Like
that
this is
ignites another
it's like you're
fire.
running
So
around,
they're trying to
right?
help
But
firefighters
there's fires over
with
here. Instead of like
anything they
enemy
can, whether
combatants
it's
or whatever. The fire, you run
spraying
around the
the flames.
corner.
You
There's
see
one.
the gentleman right
It's
there.
just this is
They
so
brought
weird.
their own hoses,
Megan,
and
I'm
just
in
trying to do
Oregon.
what
Just
they
reminds me
can.
of 2020.
And
It looks like
to
Mars
address an
up
issue,
here.
I
flew over
believe
these slopes.
Jasmine, I heard her
Well,
talk about earlier about the water
hey, where
pressure.
you
She was interviewing a lady
No, never
in
mind. I was gonna
Altadena
say, where you
talking
from
about
in
the
Oregon?
lack of water pressure.
I used to
That is
live out there.
exactly what we are seeing as well.
Oh,
No
it was
matter where we are
Portland.
going,
Actually,
some of the
crossover
people who came
Washington.
to help
Doesn't matter.
tried to hook up their hoses
You're
to
very
the
wiggly.
fire
Well,
hydrants.
you know what?
There was no water coming out. So some
Everybody
people came
needs a
with the best intention
little
to try and help put out these fires, but there was no water coming out. So it was very
I did not know I had that on
People were so
loop.
frustrated to see this, that there was nothing they
I
could
mean, I
do,
put it on
even
loop. I
though
remember it
they
now.
wanted to come and help. So again, we're going to walk back
Did
towards
they
the
say how
intersection
the
of
fire
El
got started?
Molino and Sacramento Street. I'm going to tell you, quite honestly, born and
So
raised here in
Dan,
Southern
I guess they
California.
start hearing stuff about like,
I've worked
oh,
at
good
KCAL since
fireworks. Yeah,
2009.
fireworks at 10
I have
o'clock.
never seen
But then there's so
anything
many
like this
fires
before.
in
It
different
is truly
areas.
heartbreaking to see your home.
I don't know.
And
I have a
your hometown in
part
this
of me has a little
condition.
conspiracy theory going on. You know, like look at
It's
what
like a
happened in
war zone.
Vegas, what happened in New
Sure is,
Orleans.
Rachel, and I feel your emotional voice there as well.
Yeah.
MG Law says it's all a mass
All right,
weather
Rachel,
event.
we're going to let you go.
Oh,
Again,
water.
providing us these
Reverse
pictures
excess rain,
from
snow
Altadena, Allen
to the
Avenue, from
ocean,
La
break
Paz
some
Road,
stupid
and
little
I
fish
second
and
what
stuff
she has to
building
say. I've been here almost 30 years,
reservoirs that
and
were
I don't
funded to
remember
be built.
anything ever like
Well,
this
they now fly
When
out in
we
the
have an
ocean, they pick
emergency
that water up
situation
and they
just like
dump
this
it.
one with all these fires, we're bound to hear stories about scams
Maybe.
and price gouging. Well, the state has just issued a new consumer alert.
Yeah, joining us now is California Attorney General Rob Bonto with information on how people can protect themselves. And thanks so much for joining us. And let's begin with this alert and how the state's price gouging law applies here.
Do you ever meet a guy with a big smile?
Thank you. I was
or glasses?
just watching your program and just really heartened by helping neighbors, people, lifting each
Have I ever
other
taken
up
that
in this
off
time of
loop?
need. That's
No,
what we
I'll
need
do it
more
right
of. That's
now.
what-
Okay,
who
we'll
we
never
are as
have it a loop
Californians,
again,
and,
Lady Tammy. Never gonna
that's
loop
what we
again.
should be doing, not taking advantage of people.
Oh, wait a second.
victimizing
I'm
them,
not taking
exploiting them
advantage of
during this difficult
anyone
time when
with
they're
this guy.
experiencing tragedy, and that's why
We're
we
gonna
issued
do.
the
We're gonna
alert.
go here
It's
and
not
do
just
this.
this building; it's the one next to it.
And wait,
And
I don't
possibly
have
one more
sound.
as well.
Oh, what I do the
Let's send
sound
it back
button.
to you.
Wait a second. If I do
So much destruction to process and take in. This is in
Mm.
Altadena, the Eaton fire. And speaking of all of that destruction, it is really.
Keep pointing them to this house across the street, but they said, you know, it's so far
Oh, that's
gone that
that's the Roseanne
only
right
have
there,
enough water
right?
to
Is
try
this
to save the
Roseanne?
ones that are
That's
savable.
Roseanne trying to put out the cedar tree fires.
I was concerned because I thought, oh,
Part of the roof. We'll pivot around here, and I can show you the. I'm sorry. Your first name is.
Two
Joni
looters
Green
have been
and Julie
arrested
Green. Julie Green, and you've lived here for
in
how
the
many
evacuation
years?
zone.
9 years. Obviously, never seen anything like this.
No, there has been some, there's been fires up in the hills, but nothing has come down here.
and one of the reasons I thought
I've
it would be
got
great
an
to live
extra
on this
voice.
street is
I'm
we have
trying to cut off,
110-year-old
not him.
Theodora cedars here. And so that
No.
told me that these trees haven't burned.
No.
And we live right between Mount Wilson and JPL.
No.
So
Right.
you'd think they want to save those items.
Which they are, I think. I don't know if they're doing any helicopter drops or not, but we haven't seen any.
We've seen one helicopter and 2 fire trucks.
Well, that's part of the. That's part of the horrific geometry of an event like this. Is that you have such the flames advance.
No, they don't know.
wind
They
and the helicopter and
they
its,
tried to say that it
aircraft
was
grounded because of how
fireworks
difficult it is
at
to
first, and
maintain
that wasn't.
altitude. So, yeah.
They don't know. It's under investigation.
Right.
Still under
we heard
investigation.
about,
What they say.
the lab seems to be
Very
okay,
cold for
so
us right
we-
now. Went through
again,
$100 in a
as one
day
fire
and a half
captain,
trying to keep
or
warm with
battalion
space
chief
heater
says, we're
running.
under the fog
Jeez,
of
man, I'm
the,
so sorry.
of the shroud of the smoke. So we don't know exactly what the big picture is at the moment. But listen, thank you very much.
Would it be rude to bring
You're gonna
marshmallows
stay
to
here
random
until-
houses?
Until the end.
Until the end.
You know what? I don't think you want to roast those
sure, and try to
marshmallows,
save
though.
these
They might have
trees
some
on Christmas
toxic
tree
stuff.
Lane.
Oh, yeah, that
Listen,
guy
thank
is
you very
on a
much.
Triumph
Christmas tree
motorcycle. Did
Lane.
you see that? His little
That is what
little
this is known for.
ascot,
These
or whatever
cedars
the hell it is.
going up up and down a mile.
Matching
here in
glasses.
Altadena.
Should have matching glasses.
And
They
you
did.
can see in a distance, you can see there's some structure protection we can assume based on the fire.
I want to play
apparatus
some Fortnite or
end
Call
of
of Duty. Let
at
me
the end of
know.
Santa
Try
Rosa
to
and
do some
down
gaming either
further.
tomorrow or late
Again,
tonight.
part of the problem, as we've said
So, look,
before,
I would love
power
to.
outages as a result of
Hey, are you
power
on
lines
Discord?
being down. This house is gone.
I wish I knew how to get my
I'll
Discord
walk you if we have time.
message
I'll
thing
show you
away.
what else.
Not very bright.
What else is left of this neighborhood? That's the plaque that
Shoot
I
me
was
an
telling
email.
you about.
theexpert@email.com.
Christmas Tree
Here, I'll play
Lane
this thing.
that was established here back in 1990. As they do put some, this
There we
LA
go.
County Fire Company 20 is putting down some water.
So I did
to the
actually get a.
adjacent homes, but they've been lost as well. Just on this block in this neighborhood, maybe
I'm so stupid.
6, 7.
I gotta find
each
my
block,
Xbox.
7, 8.
I did get a thing to
It's
hook it
adding up.
but I don't know where
Alex
it is.
Rozier was reporting earlier from west
I
of
need
us,
to
or
get
east of
a.
us on Lake Boulevard.
Yeah. So here's the
Closer
thing. How
to
do I
the,
type that
to the
in? If I
germination
do
of this
that,
fire
you're
in
not
Eaton
there. I
Canyon.
guarantee you, I'm going to click
We
it.
go
It's not going to be
further,
there.
Talk to a homeowner across the street. Once again,
I'm not very good at
nobody is
Discord. I'm
suggesting
great
you
at it.
stay
I
home
love the
and protect your
service.
home, because
I'm not
that's
very
how
good
you
at it.
lose your life. And 2 people have died apparently in this Eaton fire, and we're understanding that those were civilians. But there are those who are able to
can't
stay
find.
and
How do I start a
and
message
put
to
enough
somebody
water
new?
down, or at least pay attention to any ember that makes its way.
Okay.
Because once the ember makes its way into the attic, under the roof line, the fire department pretty much believes it's gone. As we head on in this way, this house gone, that house behind it gone, the house to the right also.
You open Discord, click on friends, click on the
Also
green
gone.
add
Let me
friends
talk to this
button.
homeowner over
Friends.
here.
There's a green. Oh.
Errol, can I talk to you real quick? Errol Brown has lived here. His uncle lives across, or did live across the street. Their house gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
No.
Do you know if it was
No,
an
that's
ember?
not right
Do
at
you know
all.
how it
Hang
started?
on.
Do you know if it was
I believe a tree fell on the house that was on fire, and it caught everything else on fire. There was no way to save it at all.
How long have they lived here? First of all, they're okay.
They're okay. Yeah, they evacuated yesterday, so they're perfectly fine.
Which is a wise thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, my friend request was sent.
They've
Let's
been
see if
here
that
for how many
works.
years?
So they're doing the best they can, just praying for them. Like, yes.
It's been a long time.
Second house they've
spent a lot
shown
of
with the
time.
fire seemingly
Oh, yeah.
just contained on the inside. It is weird. I know what you're talking
Godfather,
about.
My pastor. So
Wait, that happens to you?
this
What
is
happens?
Every
What'd you do?
Thanksgiving, Christmas, this is where we are right here.
Yeah, it's freezing here too. I put my thing down.
It's got to be tough to watch this.
It's 70 on the floor. I knew it was cold.
In neighborhoods throughout Los Angeles, certainly in the Pacific Palisades, certainly up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. Okay, wait, I read this thing. Okay, I'm
It's
caught
tough.
up, right?
It's tough because I lived here too, so it's tough.
God bless you. Good luck. Thank you. So,
oh, look at this.
Once
Hold on,
again,
this is
the
a
good
good
news
one.
here.
And
there's
it's
that
it's now
chick.
just it's a devastation.
J-Dog King
I'm going to
Hefner.
show you up there as well. There's another active fire burning. We're going to turn over this way to go on the other side of the truck. This is a pretty narrow street here, so you can imagine the difficulty engines have going through this area. Thankfully, everyone followed evacuation orders last night, and they left, giving fire crews a fair chance to be able to tackle
amazes
this
me how
fire the
everybody
best
followed
they
the
can.
evacuation orders. I
The
mean, that's
wind now,
just-
as you can see, it's
that's
pretty
just
calm.
awesome.
Not really an issue. But last night,
Awesome slug.
it was ripping through here, and that's what created the situation for this fire to spread so quickly. Eddie, can we go down this way? All right, we've got a cord
No, you
that's
can't
tangled,
go that way.
so as soon
No,
as we untangle
no.
it,
Battery
we
Porter,
can go down the
no.
street here. Okay, so again, this is Las Flores Canyon, and if we go around the corner here, you can get an
Is that a
idea
cop car? Oh,
of what
the cop
happened
was
here
waiting.
since
Like,
last
you're in
night.
my way, lady.
Home after home, burned to rubble. If we continue to walk over this way, just following the black smoke, you can see there's another active fire just up that way, where that American flag is.
It'd be so great if
So
it
some of
were
the
an
flare-ups
American
out
flag or
here.
something. I mean,
I
it
mean,
is an
the
American
good
flag.
news is the
But wouldn't
only
it be
good news is that the
hilarious
wind
if it was
seems to be
like,
calming down. We're not seeing
you
it
know,
pick
the
up.
Japanese flag?
So that's
See, doesn't know
always
the difference.
a good sign that the situation is at least
Oh,
calming
I
down.
love
We
seeing
haven't
stuff like
heard
that.
as
What?
far as
Hang on.
containment goes. We don't believe there's any containment out here. We're just looking at the damage, and you know,
You see all that
it's,
damage right
there are
there?
no
It makes
words
you
to
think when they're
explain
building
what happened
construction, they
here.
got to put those little
This
silk
entire
fences
community
around to
is
contain
gone. This
the
entire
runoff
community is
from
gone.
construction. Doesn't
And
seem like it does much
unfortunately,
good
people
job,
who
does
live
it?
here in
When you see all
Malibu,
that,
live
you're
here in
like,
Pacific
oh,
Palisades,
wow, one
they went
thing
through
of Mother
this a
Nature
few
and
years ago,
everything a
and
man's
now
ever
it's
done
just
to try to
happening
like
again.
save all
And
this
it
stuff.
makes you wonder,
Gone.
when is this going to end? You know, looking at the topography of Southern California and the nature out here with the Santa Ana
Yeah, I
winds
think it's
and
like
what
in the
happens. I
60s.
mean, this
Like
particular
LA
wind
just, I
event,
always
we
figure
haven't
LA
seen
to be like
anything like this.
72 year
I've never
round.
experienced anything like this, being an LA native my entire life. And it's hard to imagine them being able to save these communities, considering the wind and what we went through in the last 24 hours. And this is the result of it. Utter devastation. So many people have lost their homes. Where do you pick up from here? How do you rebuild? You know, you have to, it's a battle now with the insurance companies to try and
If
figure
you
it
have
out. But that
insurance.
aside, it's a matter of coming to terms with what's been lost and picking up the pieces, you know, people trying to understand and wrap their head around how are they going to carry on with their lives. Let's walk over back this way just to give you another peek at the house
All right,
here.
Jeff. Thank you.
That's fully engulfed. This seems to be one of the last active fires in this area.
Yeah, you're
So
gonna go around the
we do
corner
have one
and you're gonna
engine
see
out
another
here, a
one.
couple engines down on PCH. And as I mentioned earlier, more than 100 homes along PCH, Carbon Beach, La Costa Beach have burned. You can see that firefighter there, very close to the flames. He's on the property, and we can hear the wood breaking, the glass. It's shocking, guys. I mean, we're right here, front row seat to just this nightmare. We'll send it back to you.
You know, that was somebody's dream home.
Alina, thank you.
And why wouldn't it be? I mean,
Yeah.
it's great views of the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, it's Tony Stark's.
And
That's
you know,
Tony
and a big
Stark's
concern here
place.
in California.
I know
there's
it
been a
happened
story
there.
last couple of years of insurance
The
companies pulling out.
Mandalorian.
And a lot of people, even in the last
shot it
couple of
with a
months,
arrow.
you know, their insurance company said, we're not going to cover for fires.
Diana G, 5 hour stream. Yes, I
It's gonna
did.
be-
Look at you,
it's
champ.
gonna be
Yeah,
worse
well,
now.
you know.
Yeah.
in
Maybe I
terms
should
of
get
that.
a life.
Really
Maybe I should get a
quickly,
hobby.
Alina
What do you do
is
for
on
fun,
the
man?
west side of that fire line
Reason why I
right
have
now.
fun.
On the east side, as you get closer to the Getty
Please,
Center,
Lord,
closer
Snoop
towards
Doggy
Sepulveda and the
Dog,
405,
Linda, Bill Hand.
unfortunately, we're
Wow, that's
seeing
funny.
some
Look at that. The
significant
chimney's on
wind
fire.
gusts moving through those particular areas, and that's why there's so
Chimney's
much
on fire.
smoke in the environment right now. I'm looking at some gusts of 36, 37, 38, 40 miles per hour. And again, that's closer to the 405, closer to the Getty Center area where we're looking at this live shot. Again, that's a little bit to the southwest as you make your way towards Topanga Canyon. And they're still seeing sporadic gusts here as well. And you can see that with the smoke at the top of your screen. It's moving back and forth. But not only, of course, are we concerned with the winds
Doesn't that
here in
scare
the
you guys a
Malibu
little bit?
area,
You see
but
that
also in
retainer
Orange
wall right
County
there?
right now.
Like, that's what
I'm
you're
picking up some
depending
gusts
on.
of up to 35,
Oh, look,
40,
by the way, that
45
fire
miles
hydrant,
per hour
it's
as well.
open.
And cities like
Empty.
Santa Ana, they've got some very strong wind gusts.
Oh, wait, no, there's a hose going the other direction. I
Picking
didn't
up
see
some
that hose.
28 mile per hour sustained wind speeds, and also San Bernardino right now. If you're in the Inland Empire, you are feeling it
Where's the
this
ghetto
afternoon.
center?
There's no
Where's
doubt
that
about
at?
it. San Bernardino picking up a sustained wind gust right now of about 30 miles per hour. So that puts a gust anywhere between 35 to 37 miles per hour. Chino picking up some 22 mile per hour sustained winds right now. So we're seeing the shift really, Glenn and Lou, as the area of low pressure, that cold core low, is now moving in a southeasterly direction. If you can imagine that in your mind towards the Four Corner states, now we're seeing that low, which turns in a counterclockwise rotation, bringing some of that energy there. You can see it on the screen right now. As you can see again,
hang on.
San Bernardino, Corona,
I
Santa
don't wanna
Ana,
see
sustained
that.
winds between 28 to 30 miles
I
per
wanna
hour.
see
Burbank, Van Nuys,
this.
sustained winds 20.
If you're in Santa Monica and you know this area, obviously you would know this area. This is an evacuation warning for the Palisades fire issued in Santa Monica. Again, the areas are
Santa
between
Monica is
Montana
getting.
Avenue, Wilshire
Oh,
Boulevard,
man.
10th Street, and Pacific Coast Highway. The warning means get that go bag ready
Well, they're talking about go bags a lot, aren't they? Usually when they talk about go bags, they're like, these are
just keep that in mind if you are nearby in Santa Monica.
Igloo
Hate
hunters.
to see all
What
of
is
these
it?
evacuation warnings be
Boogaloo.
expanded and extended. Let's go back to Christy Fajardo. She's covering the Eaton fire.
You almost didn't make it
Altadena.
back, but you
Christy?
got back in the nick of time. What's happening?
Yeah, Marla, you just
Did you have a good
actually floored
shower?
me because you just announced that my house is now under a evacuation warning. I'm in the area impacted by the evacuation
did
orders
you bring
in
your go
Santa
bag?
Monica. So that really hits close to home. I think we all know people who have either lost their home or are afraid that they have. I've had multiple people reach out to me who I know asking me to check on their home, and it's just so heartbreaking. And we're seeing heartbreak here too.
Hey, you know what we're gonna do later on? We're gonna do that.
You can see
we're gonna do a
the
coin
sign
pusher.
on this business.
Oh, Happy Day Vegan Care, Vegan Cafe.
Oh
Man, look at that! It burned up. It was their grill. Their grill caught fire.
And you have to look at this and just remember that this was someone's dream. This is the people pour their hearts and souls into their small businesses. And sadly, here on Calaveras and Lake, or rather Lake between Calaveras and Mendocino Street, we're seeing so much devastation. And it's still occurring because I can see flames on the other side of all of this debris, and it looks like that actually might be burning about a block away. But if we pan to the right, past this Jack in the Box, we'll see that something else is on fire.
Jack in the Box?
And if we pan across the
Something
street,
else is on fire.
You'll see something is burning over there as well.
Is
And in
that
front
Audi?
of what is burning, there's a sign with a happy or a smiling tooth, and you gotta believe, or at least looks
It
like
is
there's
Wednesday.
a dentist office there, and that has been completely leveled. And the building in front of it, Brian's Cleaners, is also badly damaged. And
I just did crap in the
across
elevator. No, I just remembered I gotta do something.
what was there because the sign has been destroyed
I gotta give me a
as
drink.
well.
I'll be back.
And next door to it, another building.
I don't have anything to drink. I'm
completely
dying.
leveled. And we're just seeing business after business destroyed. And again, behind every one, there is a family or a person who thought of this, who worked hard to make it a reality, and now it's completely gone. And unfortunately, it seems like everywhere we go, we're just seeing that in Altadena. There'll be one building like the Jack in the Box that it looks unscathed, and the one right next door that is a total loss. And I hear this time and time again while covering wildfires. People wonder, why did one building survive and another didn't? And sometimes it's just luck of the draw. Let's send it back to them.
Yeah, you're really at the whim of Mother Nature, depending on where that wind blows, where that ember ends up. And we've seen that happen time and time again, where an entire neighborhood, one side of the street could be completely wiped out, the other side unscathed. It's amazing how that happens. And we've seen those embers fly miles. And that's part of the problem, especially when you have these destructive winds that certainly are not letting up, and that red flag warning, as we heard, extended into tomorrow. Obviously, Christy, I meant to say out of the gate, we're so sorry to hear the personal connection that your home is now under an evacuation warning. Let us know, obviously, if there's anything that we can do, if your family's safe, etc. Let's hope that that does not turn into an evacuation order.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marla. I mean, we did think ahead. I did pack my car this morning when I came to work, and my daughter is staying with my cousin in another part of town, so she's safe. I am worried about my pet, but my husband has come up with a contingency plan to go get our bearded dragon if necessary.
Well, yeah. I'm glad you have a plan. That doesn't surprise me. You are, on top of everything. So, Christy, we're obviously thinking of you and wishing that everything works out just fine.
Yeah, this fire hitting so close to home for so many people. Christy, thank you. Meanwhile, we continue to look at live pictures, and now it looks like our chopper, is that true? Skyfox is over this fire, I believe, for the first time. We were grounded because of those dramatic winds. It is good to see that our chopper is now up, and it'd be great to get some guidance on which flank of this fire. I think this is Pacific Palisades, but yeah, Pacific Palisades fire which we know has burned about 16,000 acres or so far. And you look at it from the air and you really, wow, look at that as we pan out, just all that smoke and so much of it dark smoke, which is a bad sign, although we do see some white smoke, which is a better sign. But we see so much of the west side of Los Angeles just covered in smoke right now as this firefight continues. And as far as we know, this thing's still at 0% contained. Let's put some info on your screen to talk about some of the numbers that we're looking at right now that when it comes to this firefight. Right now, the Palisades fire is officially at 15,832, although we know that it's more than that. It's burning in LA County. We're talking about Pacific Palisades. We've seen lots of Malibu burning. Thankfully, no structure loss in Santa Monica so far.
Eaton Fire, 10,600 acres. This is, yes, LA County as well, right near Pasadena in the heart of Altadena, as we've had our crews out there as well. And then the third fire is the Hearst fire. This broke out late last night. Alex and I covered the originality of this, and this was a small fire, as they all, of course, start out to be, and then it quickly gained in size, although 700 acres by comparison, easy for me to say if my home isn't threatened, but 700 acres holding steady there. Let's hope that that one can be put out soon. That's the Hearst fire. And then there was this that erupted early this morning, the Woodley fire in the Sepulveda Basin right near Van Nuys, holding strong at 30 acres. At first, there was concern that that was going to erupt quickly with a rapid rate of spread, but Bob DeCastro was out there and said they actually downgraded that to 30 acres. So all right. Speaking of Bob, he has moved and he's at the Pasadena Convention Center, where we are awaiting a press conference about the Eaton fire, not scheduled till 4 o'clock. Bob, what do we know?
But we're also at the convention center, which has turned into one of the major evacuation centers for this region, for the Eaton fire. And I tell you, Marla, Alex, I have covered a lot of different stories here at the convention center, mostly conventions, kind of fun things. And it's really eerie and different to see it being utilized in a different way. But this is all to help the community and those evacuated. As we know, there are some 50,000 evacuees here, 40 under evacuation warnings. There's a front door there of the Pasadena Convention Center. I'm going to bring in Miriam with the Red Cross to tell us a little bit more about this. I know this was activated.
Wait a second. It's 2:30 right now out there. Oh, we're not going to be here at 4 o'clock. The chopper is up, then hopefully they'll get the
around inside.
up.
People are in
Yes.
cots. How many people?
Flanker, how you
now that we're
doing?
serving here at the convention center?
Yeah, so right now we have at least 1,000 people, with more coming in as time goes by throughout the day.
These masks cannot be helping. Can somebody tell me if those masks
coming
help?
in just for resources. So
For
that's where we're
smoke.
at right now.
Yeah, and you have people who have different needs, because I walked around
Yes,
and
we're all different
you have
needs.
seniors here. I imagine I heard that there was some.
Look
How
at,
is
so is
this
that
possible?
poor
Well,
planning?
One
What is
part
that,
of it
guys?
is that the fire department
feel the
and
coal
the
coming off
public
the
works from the
window. Hang on a
county
second.
and the Department of Water and Power said the system isn't built for this scenario, this once in a generation firestorm. It's built for day-to-day use with the occasional
But wait
need
a
for
second,
emergency
though.
tanks of water from where the fire hydrants are filled and are full of pressure and where they're not. But in a situation like that, like
I heard they don't
we've
want to
seen
use
over the
those water
last
because
day,
it kills
that
green life. I
simply
guess fire
hasn't been
doesn't.
possible. And of course,
Yesterday
contributing to
they
all
did
of
a
the
few
chaos in this was that the winds were
fly-ins.
so
What do you
strong.
call it? Oh no,
made
they
water
landed
drops
there
from
the
helicopters, retardant drops
Whatever
out of town
Sharknado
to
would be
back
like
in
a-
Southern California.
whatever,
Now,
Shark
so
Inferno,
we'll have an
Shark
opportunity
Inferno.
to try to address that with the mayor's office
All right,
this
so
afternoon.
this guy,
Back to you
I
guys.
don't care about.
All right, so looking forward to that if it happens, Eric. Appreciate it.
All right, yeah, thanks, Eric. Look, here's what we're gonna do. Jeff was telling us about this. So now let me reload this one more time. And all right, so Palisades, that's the one that started. Then you got Eaton and Hearst. All those were last night. Now we have Lydia, the Lydia fire. So I click this one, right? We go over here. You guys on the same page? Yes. Okay. So Lydia. Lydia's not a good name. It sounds like a scary name. And look at that. There's the fire. Which fire is that one? Which one's this? Is that Hearst? believe so. Oh, yeah, look at this. Hold on. Look, here's all these fires. So we got Lydia's over here, right? Look at this. Look at that. It's a big square. It's a big square. And all these can come together. That's what terrifies me. That's what I'm scared of. It's unbelievable. All right, so let's go back. Let's see what was the other one. Olivia, all of us. Where's Woodley Fire? The Woodley Fire. That's another new one. 30 acres. Oh, wait, where's that? Oh, there's Mulholland. Wait, where did we just see? Where was that other one? San Fernando. That's okay. That's right in between. Holy cow. And the other one was up here, wasn't it? So last night, the thing was 405 is going to be the line. That's where they want to stop it, right here. Because you go past 405, look what you're doing. Yeah, see, Santa Monica, they're already evacuating from this fire. That's what they said earlier. You got West Hollywood. You go into LA. Wait, actually, I think Beverly Hills is right there too, right? Beverly Hills right here before you hit Hollywood. UCLA is right here. That's scary. And then what was the Woodley Fires right here? And Woodley Fire is, so it's what's burning right there. You don't see it. Oh, look. Oh, it's a wildlife area. Great. So that's good. You know, you don't want any buildings. You don't want people to go. But guess what all this is right here? Just fuel. Just fuel. They can't get up there and fight that. And that's not going to be fought at all. Right? I don't imagine it would be. Cynthia Firefighter, they just sent you a video from Austinity. All right, let's see here. Oh, wow. On scene. I said on Cinity. Sorry. Thank you, Cynthia. Yeah, I got it. All right, let's see here. Let's go. Let me find something else real quick. Oh, hang on. Let's go back here. Where was so we've got was that Woodley? Yeah, Woodley was the one. Where am I getting confused on these? There's Lydia. So because Woodley was over here, right? Yes, Woodley's right here. Lydia is up over here. Let's see what's in Lydia. Nothing over here. So Lydia's not going to be, they're not going to do anything with Lydia. They can't. What are they going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to go out here and try to stop it where it's just going to be grass? Or are you going to try, or do you continue to fight over here where you have life and property? You're going to go with life and property. Man, this is just sickening. And then let's see, there was the one in Ventura. Let's check on it real quick. And Ventura one is right here. And does it say under investigation? I didn't say. Oh, hey, what active air assets? What does that mean? I don't mean anything right now. So let's scroll in. So, oh man, look at that. Oh, natural preserve, all this. Look, it's all greenway, state beach. Oh, golf course, it's gonna be gone. There's all this right here looks like agriculture. And then you start hitting the high dollar boats. Oh wow, man! Like, you're not gonna do anything with Olivia, or I mean, yeah, Olivis. Oh, I don't know. What do you say? We gotta find another one here. Oh, here we go.
Still, so they are trying to put out the flames on the one that is still burning. And then the home here, there are just looks like possibly at least a dozen cars. Some of them just completely gone, completely destroyed. Some of them then look like old cars.
That's what I think, Gina.
Some of those old-fashioned cars that you would see at car shows, things like that. And one thing I want to mention in this area as well is we're seeing a lot of people driving around here on Altadena Drive.
I don't know what it is right now. Oh, we lost her. Oh, is this those cedar trees?
It is very smoky.
No.
Visibility is okay where we are, but down the road a little bit, it gets worse. And there are fire crews all around. Come through a short time ago. They turned on their sirens. People are taking photos. They're coming out taking videos. Many of them media, but others are not. And so just better to stay out of crews' ways at this point. Now, Christmas Tree Lane has been around for more than 95 years.
Yeah, it's Christmas Tree Lane.
All along Santa Rosa. It's about a mile long, and you can come see the lights, something people really enjoy every holiday. And you can just see the destruction here. So something so sad and very difficult. And this is what we've been seeing all around Altadena today when we got here around 9:30 this morning. Some homes okay.
I didn't know you sent me all
go
this.
2 homes
Rosalind,
down.
I'm sorry.
And
Holy cow.
those heavy winds and those sparking things.
All right, we're having some problems with Aaron's signal, but Mary Beth McDade is nearby.
We'll start there. Wayne, I'll bring it in a sec. Okay, all right. Yeah, how are you guys? I just we're back here at that food mart. You know, I was wondering why they weren't concerned that the front of that food mart was burning. Well, now I understand, because we came around the other side of the food mart. You can see there is actually no building there. That food mart is all gone. We got a LA County
the Aldi's gone.
As we speak. Anyhow, that food mart is no longer
Blackhawk.
there. And then behind the food mart, there were blocks of homes. They are no longer there as well. And I'm going to bring in here, I have Wayne.
Get that new plume.
Yep. We have new plumes popping up all over. I think you're right. I think that's what they're trying to do.
What's that say?
There you go.
Yeah.
Good.
And what do we think?
That's a water drop.
There we go.
That's our first water drop. And the first time we saw that today.
Good. Good. Yes. Let's go.
Over there.
There they go. Hung in the horn, man. Get that air supply in there.
Okay, but that's straight up the street. What do we think that plume is that they just did the water drop?
That right there is just an apartment building that's up in that area.
Okay.
Well, air supply.
There's all apartments back in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, condo complex up in there.
Okay, before we get to that Jack in the Box, let's just look behind.
Yes, the Pacific Ocean.
Here. This was a whole complex.
Yes.
All those businesses, guys, they're gone.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, those big. I know exactly what you're talking about.
The mosque here.
But you know what? They don't have water.
No, we go there and pray sometimes.
Okay.
For the Muslim brothers. No Ramadan this year, I don't think.
No. Oh, well, hopefully you can find another spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
I hope so.
So what kind of businesses were all here that are now gone?
Tax,
no Ramadan this year.
Cafe. You know.
That's right,
a lot of stuff. Food.
That's right.
Halal food, all that.
How hard is it? I mean, this was your place of worship.
Akbar coffee.
Your place of worship is.
Oh, now that I'm not on camera.
It's an Aloha snack bar, y'all. Look at that.
It was in the family.
Yeah.
You know. So, like I said, then.
You know what we're gonna do? Well, they're talking about tasty snacks
from blowing
at
up.
the Aloha snack bar. We're gonna go over here to see what Rosalind says. Look at this. She said this was a sweet post. Now I'm just gonna warn you. I haven't looked at this, and you know I worry about that when Rosalind says this is a sweet post. I'm thinking to myself that somehow she's making fun of me, because you know she reminds me a lot of the Megan Fox type. You know, it's kind of mean to me. That looks horrible. What's going on? Oh, there's commercials. All right, let's do this. Where is this right now? Wait, that's not it. Is that what I just showed you guys? Oh, no. Good. Whew. All right, here we are. Boom. All right, he's running. He's running. He's doing the neutron dance. Put your hands on your head again. What's happening? What are we doing? What are we doing? What do we got? What we got? We got a rabbit. Guys, if there's one thing we've got over here, we got a lot of redheads. We got a lot of rabbits. We love the rabbits over here. Well, that was dumb. The thing ran in there. Hey, man, that rabbit wanted to become barbecue, dude. What you doing there? That's sweet. Thank you, Rosalind. We needed that. That was really awesome. That guy, look, you see, he was panicked and he saved the day. That dude is a critter hero. He is a critter hero. Let's see here. Let me go back. Where's the oh, let's see what we got. These people. What are these people called? Over here, Case guy.
Where are we looking at?
Put up the map
Is that
tracker.
Palisades High School?
It might be, yeah. He's gonna look for me right now.
Well, we know yesterday, Mike, the bleachers at Palisades.
Laughlin Lane is what he's telling me.
Okay.
So I'll look and figure out where that's at. But it's, I mean, you see that, and there's nothing. I mean, the first neighborhood we were looking at, there were some homes that you can still see standing, and this one, you just don't. You just don't see anything standing still, and there's still stuff on fire. But and I know we're peering through the smoke there, but everything is just
jeez, man.
there.
And you know, when it comes to rebuilding, Mike, there's just not going to be enough manpower to rebuild schools and homes and neighborhoods and commercial buildings. It is going to take decades to come back to where we were just a few days ago.
Yeah. Well, we want to welcome all of our viewers. You are watching our continuing coverage of the wildfire disaster happening across Southern California. We are simulcasting on CBS Los Angeles and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. And here's what we know right now. The Palisades fire is now the most destructive wildfire in LA County history. They just updated the numbers. More than 15,000 acres have burned and an estimated 1,000 structures destroyed. And we do not have an exact number, but there was a significant number of residents and first responders that were injured.
The second largest fire we're tracking is the Eaton fire in the San Gabriel Valley. It is burning in the Altadena area. That's the area most affected. We've just
and 100 structures destroyed. Yet 1,000 in Palisades. So it's up to 1,100 structures now.
We were reporting earlier today. More than 10,000 acres have burned so far, and that number is growing. And more than 100 buildings have been destroyed. But the good news is that the firefighting planes and those helicopters have finally resumed their fights from the air after being grounded, of course, because of those very strong gusty winds.
Now, there is a third and smaller fire that is burning in the Sylmar area. It's called the Hearst Fire, and it's currently at 700 acres with no containment. There are evacuation orders and warnings in place for all three of these fires.
Oh, no, we know that it was to show. Look at this.
Is elevating a lot of the chemicals, a lot of the ashes, a lot of the metals, everything that burned. It can definitely bring them up into the air and create projectiles. We saw that earlier this morning when we were at a mobile park about 10 minutes south of us, when some of the metals were just kind of flying around. And it really is a very dangerous area here. So basically, if you don't need to be out here, they are asking the public to please stay away. We did get a chance to go over to the Bluffs community. And again, we just saw several homes on fire. I can also tell you that the Palisades Charter High School, it also had some damage from the fire. But again, guys, just a heartbreaking situation. Anywhere that you go, no matter what community you're in, this is the scene that we're seeing. And of course, as you can imagine, so many lives have been changed because of this fire. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Christian Casadas live.
I'm going to show you guys some more.
All right, folks, it is 3 o'clock straight up now. We've been on the air for 28 hours nonstop.
Oh, he's been on the air 28 hours. Yeah, dude. Amateur. All right, so look at this. These are some of the pictures that show up. Yeah. This is what Rosalind sent. Man, look at that. And then, let's see here. This one's wild. So, it's funny is when I first saw this one, I thought that was the sun coming through. No, that's two different fires coming together. It's two different fires. I don't know, man. I'm not going to eat them. I'm going to eat a fish. That's weird. Eat that stupid thing. All right, let's see here. There's that one. Yeah, this is the one I think got me. So you see that? Look, just driving along, just on the highway, and look, like here, man. That's just. Do you drive? If you're driving and you're gonna go near that, I'm gonna turn around. Just some point I'm just gonna say, no, I'm out of here. Sorry, I gotta go. Oh, hang on a second here. We're going to show this for Lesko here.
In terms of what we're seeing as the red flag warning will stay up through Thursday.
She's getting ready to do the Lesko. If you're here, she's getting ready to do the wind report.
We are dealing with significant Santa Ana winds that aren't just affecting areas in Altadena and the Palisades, even across areas in Sylmar. It's affecting all of Southern California. Here's why. I want to show you a picture outside as we're looking live at downtown Los Angeles. Look at the color of the sky. You could see the gray, the white, the orange. It feels ominous when you look outside. That's all of that ash. That's all of that particulate matter just hanging out in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We've got air quality concerns even right through your Thursday here. And Kathy was talking about how dry it is. Look at some of the relative humidity numbers. We're down into the low teens and the single digits, down to 16% in West Covina, 8% in Van Nuys, 10% there in Thousand Oaks, and 14% in Riverside. This is because those Santa Ana winds coming from the northeast right through the canyons and passes. That air compresses and it rushes all the way down to the surface, and it really dries out the atmosphere. So as we press forward into tonight and into our Thursday, the fire weather outlook is still critical for much of our region, out across areas in Ventura County, LA County, Orange County, and the Inland Empire. The reason why it's so critical, it has been bone dry during our rainy season. Our rainy season starts October 1st and it continues on.
Did you get that? Let's
so
go. Do we know about the rain? Has she said the rain yet? I just can't pay attention.
Of rainfall.
I got bad enough weather
inches.
here. I mean,
so normally
Amazon's postponing orders now because of the weather.
3/4 worth in terms of rain. We've got a deficit of more than 4.5 inches of rainfall here in Southern California, LA specifically. This point last year, we had easily over 3 inches of rainfall. Now, it only takes one storm to reverse all of this, but this is the reason why it's so dry here in Southern California. And then looking forward, looking at the Climate Prediction Center,
come back to the
next 6 to 10 days, taking you into next week, still looking at below normal conditions in terms of precipitation across much of the West Coast. So why are we in this pattern? It's all because of our winter season and what is now currently a La Nina weather pattern. So this means that right now here in Southern California, we've got this ridge of high pressure that's blocking any storms.
I don't understand high pressure, low.
Hey, well, how you doing? It heads off to the north as it rides that jet stream. So that means for us, and as we've been seeing all across much of the
Is that what I was looking at
Northern
earlier?
California, they've been dealing with
all
of
I
that
think
rain,
I just saw
all
that.
of that mountain snow. And that will leave us bone dry here across much of our region. So we've got a blocking mechanism in the atmosphere allowing for those storms to migrate off to our north. And nothing is coming down here in Southern California. In fact, nothing expected for the next 6 to 10 days. So we'll monitor that very closely. But in the short term, it's all about the gusty winds. And even though it's still strong right now, I'm starting to see some improvement in terms of where we were yesterday and where we were during the overnight hours. So the winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour in Santa Clarita.
Oh, she's saying improvement.
Oh,
here's the wind. Here's the wind.
33 in Santa Ana. I want to show you the wind gust futurecast. So as we get into 3-4 o'clock later on today, the winds are actually starting to subside in some spots. And if you look at the colors on the map here, the oranges, that's an indication of winds lowering to about 30 to 40 miles per hour. Same thing.
Crap! Today is Elvis's birthday.
At 8 p.m. So let's talk about the rest of the week. We're getting lots of calls.
Yes. Oh man, tonight's gonna be a special coin pusher. I'm gonna put something about Elvis
when is
on
this
there.
event over? over. As we go throughout
Celebrate
the rest of the
Elvis'
afternoon
birthday.
into
Anybody
tonight,
got a
the
number
winds are
they
going to
like?
diminish. They're going to slacken again, anywhere from about 20 to
They'd
40
be like,
miles
hey,
per hour
Joel,
in some
I
spots
want to do
after 8 o'clock tonight.
point
They will be
pusher.
locally
You
higher,
want to come over
especially
and
as we're
because
dealing with
it's
some of
Elvis'
those fires going
birthday.
here in Southern California. Relative
Lexi,
humidity,
what's
however,
going
is still
on?
an issue, 10 to 20% or lower across much of our region, and there is more wind possible as we get into our Thursday. Not as
So much
strong, but we are
wind,
tracking
so
more
much
Santa
wind.
Anas that
It's
will likely
windy.
develop as we head into our
Oh,
Thursday.
hang on.
So
That's
we're
what these
monitoring
dudes
the
are saying. They
conditions.
look,
It's
these dudes
bone
look serious. Look at this. Look at this.
What am I going to do?
Right?
It's discouraging when you guys have such a good heart and it's in the right place. And Sean, last night you described the winds. When you saw that, you're talking
These
about
guys are serious.
St.
They're like,
Mark's
you're
Episcopal
Aquanet.
Church, 119 years old.
Why is that
burned
guy
to the
wearing a
ground.
puffy jacket?
What were those winds like? I said they were hurricane. They almost knocked me over.
Beverly Way
The
and Lake
winds
Avenue.
were the winds were pretty crazy last night because
Guys, look at that.
you know, I've been in Florida during hurricanes earlier this year, and that's scary enough. But the winds here, I've never seen anything like it. And it's the debris that's coming up. It's the side panels off the houses with the nails inside of them. It's the little chunks of glass that are flying. And to see actual big billboards topple and street signs, and just from the wind, not from any fire touching it alone, is just unbelievable. Seeing that here.
Are we gonna drop? Are we gonna do a drop?
Literally sitting in that parking lot last
We have
night
a
for the
water
video.
drop finally happening.
Yeah.
Oh, they just
This
this
is
is our
crazy.
first water drop.
We just saw it drop over a neighborhood, and it looks like finally this is going to drop right here off Lake Avenue. Look at this.
The whole place looks like a war zone. It's unbelievable.
It looks like a war zone.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Come on, where's it
You
going?
can
Where's
see
it
this water.
going?
I've seen one so far.
Get your
John,
mark.
my photographer, knows a lot about helicopters. Which one is this? That helicopter about to make a drop. He said a couple thousand, I thought, gallons of water, but it's going elsewhere. We saw at least one, you guys.
Oh,
so
he
far.
came by, he
Let's wait
swung
for it
around.
and
He's like,
see.
yeah, it's not that
Okay.
bad over
They're
here.
going to try to go get their van and buy some water. You guys, thank you so much.
They're gonna buy some
Give
water.
you a hug.
These people are buying bottled
Okay,
water.
you guys too.
So what do
Thank
they
you
do? They throw the
guys.
bottled water in the
Thank you,
fire like
Juliana.
little
Be
grenades,
safe, okay?
little water balloons.
As we're watching
God, they're
this
fighting
video,
the
we're
fire
setting
with
up the
water
free karate
balloons,
business
y'all.
with kid classes.
Just saw the water drop, Jazz.
Did you see it?
Yep.
And this is something
Okay.
that we don't see often with, water.
Well, they got to do
dropping,
something.
in a business area,
Yeah.
in a urban area. It's
Yeah, they don't have a choice. This is like
they need all the
watching one of
resources
those
that
movies
they
about
can get right
Vietnam.
now,
It's like
and
you're being
every
overran
bit
by the
of
enemy, so you
water
just call the
and
napalm in on
aid
top of you.
helps, and it's amazing that these neighbors are trying to help neighbors and out
This
there.
Nam,
with
man.
extinguisher,
war,
just trying to
Nam.
make a difference. So
Yeah, those are three
Charlie's in
amazing
the
guys
tree.
that Jasmine was
Where's
talking
Baker
to.
at?
Jasmine, thanks. We'll get back to you a little bit later.
Charlie's
go
in the
back to
trees.
our
I don't want to
Julie,
see
who
this. What are
is
you
on
jabronis
PCH
doing?
in
Go back to
Malibu. She has
Aquanet.
been keeping a close eye on the Palisades fire and roaming through
Oh, is
those
this
neighborhoods.
J Doll's girl? King Bob, what's going on?
Hey, you guys,
Hey, look,
we
the fire department, I don't know if they
just looked at our
realize this or
map
not,
and
but
realized
there's no
where
fire over there
this
in
is.
the-
With all of this destruction, it's so difficult to determine what used to
filling
be
up water,
here. But
maybe?
as we looked at our phones and the map, we
looked at our
came to
phones.
the realization that this is Moon Shadows, the iconic Malibu
Oh, wow.
restaurant. It
I don't
is
see.
gone.
That's Moon Shadows? Boy.
I was just
Wait, is there really
speaking
supposed to be
one
a
of our
restaurant right there?
producers who tells me that he celebrated his 50th birthday here in July. And there are so many people who have
Well, that's
so
it. You
many
ain't gonna do it
wonderful
anymore.
stories about this oceanfront
What
restaurant.
was it? Moon Dancer?
Here in Malibu since the 1960s.
Oh, man.
And this is what you're looking at here.
Moon Prancers?
So terribly sad. And of course, this isn't the only business lost in the Palisades fire. Here in Malibu, we have a Thai restaurant.
Thai food.
It's Malibu's Real Inn is gone, as well as Cholada Thai.
Cholada.
There are so many businesses in addition to the scores of houses that burned in Malibu. You can see
They be
these
clean.
power lines and these poles that have come down in the middle of the street. I'm driving in the middle here. That's what law enforcement instructed us to do because of all these down lines. But I thought
Well,
that
sweetheart,
this would
we're
be
hoping
kind
you
of a
weren't going to drive
powerful
over the
shot,
down lines. That's good. Glad to
just
know
to
that.
drive along
Yeah, they said
this
Cholada,
stretch
didn't
of
they?
PCH in Malibu to show
Moon
you
shadows,
what things
like the
look
song.
like here.
I know Moon
There's
River.
still quite a bit of
I don't know Moon
activity,
Shadows.
as you can see every so often. Cal Fire, LA
Rosalind
County
Duke, my
Fire,
boyfriend's
and all
memorial
of the
was there
other
10 months ago.
agencies that
At
have
Moon
rushed
Shadows?
to our area to help us here. They're
Was
making the
his
trek
50th
back
birthday?
and forth along PCH, but this is just one stretch of
We got
this
Wiggle for
iconic,
Chilada
beautiful highway
in memory
in
of
this
Chilada.
amazing
I think we can
city,
do that.
and
I think we can do it once
it's
here.
just
I'll find
piles
it.
of debris and
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
smoky ash.
I didn't
We've
turn the
seen
loop
this
off
time and again in Malibu today.
for the Chilada.
And as we
Is that
started
the
to
clam
count,
juice
just so we could get
and
some idea
something?
about the number of homes that
Tomato.
might have been lost here. And
Why is this on NASA
you know,
animation?
this
NBC
is just
sucks.
anecdotal information, and we certainly didn't get to the end. But I mean, at last count, we were in the 60s and 70s, and we were kind of zipping by, just trying to see. And I'm sure the number is much higher.
15,000 acre
unfortunately.
Palisades. Wow.
But I just, as I said, I wanted to drive past
there's
just to
3D
show
map.
you all the cars that are here, and I'm not really clear whether these are houses here. I do see some appliances, so it looks like.
Well,
that is
obviously
the
you've
case.
never been to
Cars parked.
Chiladas.
We know that there are some beachfront parking lots here, but in this part of PCH, this is what we see in the area where Moon Shadows once stood. So I'm just going to drive for 30 seconds or more and just kind of give you the look.
We're getting the
it
look.
really is something else, Michelle. To
I've
see
gotten the
Moon
look
Shadows
before. I don't
gone
like
and
the
just
look.
An entire coastline leveled by this
Chalupa
fire. And it
colada.
was interesting, Amy. I heard earlier today.
A Mexican Bloody Mary
necessarily
with tequila.
The embers or the flames, but it was the downed
Bloody
power
Mary, is
lines,
that
right? That
vodka?
fell up and over these
Diane, you
businesses
gonna
and
come to,
homes, and just
Dollywood?
basically started fires
Let's see if I get,
and wiped them out.
There,
White
they were
Rabbit
burning
cake,
on one side
Bloody
of the
Mary
street,
sweet.
toppled over, landing over on those
Damn
other homes, and it just wiped out that whole side of the coastline, which who would have thought these homes literally on the water.
Yep, and
would
just the
burn.
pilings left.
Yes.
Look at that. Just
Yes.
the support.
Well, I mean,
beams
who'd
that
have thought
keep
that these homes on the
foundations
water
up and
would have
off the
burned?
beach.
Well,
the only things
they're
that
on
are left there.
pylons or
I'm sure
whatever
a lot
they
of
say.
people
What do they
thought that their
say?
homes were safe
Talons.
because they were on the
I
water.
mean, here's the thing, man. I'm thinking that
We've been
man, I
talking
got a
about,
dog. You're just gonna jump off the
neighbors,
bed and
helping
that thing's gonna
neighbors.
fall
Mara
into the
Casneville,
water.
She has been
What
doing
is
such
that?
an amazing job out there.
Oh, it's a
Really
chicken.
getting those stories. And earlier today,
that dude's
she
gonna
and her
eat that
photographer
chicken.
John Schreiber helped rescue chickens from behind a burning home on Altadena Drive in
June
Pasadena.
4th,
They
5th,
captured the
6th,
birds by hand
Diane.
and then
June
stored
4th,
them in a
5th, 6th.
trash bin. Take a look when they
That's when
gave
your
them
friend wants to
to
go.
that
Is your friend Tom
owner.
Gillis?
Yeah.
We got to
Hey, Sarah Bill, how you doing?
Catch fire.
Hey, how's
You guys have a
LC?
You
Man,
have
every
anything
time I
to put
see him,
them
I'm trying to go sleep. And God, I miss him, man. I miss
in?
him.
You guys want to come to
It's
us?
been since I've been over there. It's freaking get busy, man. I hate it. I mean, I like being busy, but I hate missing my friends.
Come on, Chris.
That's awesome. You see, you tell him I think about him, I love him. I don't mean that. I mean in a platonic way. Platonic love.
I got you. I got you.
Wait, so hang on. Hold on.
We can.
These firemen are saying these.
John, they might come to us.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, the blue dog just opened the door. Oh, that scared me. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. So hot. Thank you. Oh, hey, I have some, I think. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm getting the special curbside service at the White Rabbit Cafe. Hey, if Diane comes to Dollywood, will you make her a Bloody Mary?
They're all in here.
She said, sure.
They're here.
What, they put the chickens in the... Okay, wait a second. So they had those firefighters out there saving those chickens.
Well, Christine, anything we can do, right? I mean, these people have lost everything. And so that
And then they
mansion
wonder
went
why
up
they
in
don't see
flames. Out here on
firefighters.
Altadena
Oh.
Drive. Avita lives right next door, and her trees were catching fire. So we went in to the backyard. She told us just open the doors to the coop. And my photographer, John, is like the chicken wrangler, and he just started scooping up the chickens and putting them into the trash bin. And here's Avita right now.
What's
holding them. I know
happening?
you saw ducks back there. It just got a
Purple.
little too dicey to keep going back.
They
But
just announced $500
we're
million
just
to help
hoping
people
some
who lost
firefighters
everything.
show up. You're trying to wave
never
them
mind, that's for
down to
Ukraine.
save your
Oh,
home.
was it really? Is that true?
I know. I know it's tough, and I mean, you've been crying here,
Cholula?
hoping at least some of your chickens got out.
You don't like Cholula?
Avita, what was it like last night when this fire started?
I didn't think it was anything
Chicken
serious,
nuggets, not
actually.
butt nuggets. They're
I was
chicken
still
nuggets.
working and I got home at 8 p.m. last night. And then everyone was evacuating. My friends
nice
started
hat.
calling. And I didn't think much of it. And we thought that the fire was going.
What's maybe they gave the hill?
But this morning when we
You're not Japanese. You're Laotian, aren't you,
in
Mr.
Altadena Drive was burned.
You got out when flames were just burning and the wind was
Flame
gusty.
broiled.
We were at my mom's
Those chickens
house
were going to be
last
flame
So you
broiled.
didn't have time, obviously, to grab mud.
No, this is
Avita, I'm
my
glad
favorite
I'm
chicken.
so sorry. No, I'm so sorry. Anything
General
we can
Chow.
do. Again, we're able to go
General
back there
Khan.
and do what
General
we can
Khan,
to
whatever
help.
his
I've
name
just
was.
seen so many residents. Thank you. Stay safe, okay? I know she's going to load up. They're all in the back of her car here.
You got to take the wins where you find them, right? And in this
Absolutely.
case, it was
I thought you said
helping
wind.
this woman and her beloved chickens.
Yeah.
Beloved
safely
chickens.
before the house burned down.
Yeah,
Do you guys have a beloved chicken?
Earlier today, actor Steve Gutenberg was live on
Oh,
air
Steve
with a message
Gutenberg,
to
the
neighbors
Goot.
affected
When
by
he
the fire
when we
in
talked about him
Malibu.
yesterday,
Actor Steve Gutenberg lives in the Pacific Palisades area. He joined us
Police
during
Academy,
KCAL
Maroney
mornings
or whatever,
to discuss
Mahoney.
his situation. Take a listen.
I really want to use this opportunity to tell people in a crisis, if you're going to abandon your car in the street, leave your keys in the car so guys like me can move it. And the second thing is, if you're able-bodied,
Wait, he moves cars now?
try to help people. There are people in wheelchairs. There are older people. There are mothers having anxiety attacks and panic attacks about their kids. They can't find their kids. Try to help people. And also during the normal life, when this is over, try to be kinder and nicer and try to bring what you do in a crisis to the normal day. So to answer your question, yesterday morning at 9 a.m., it was an idyllic day. By 10 a.m., the sky was black. I mean, black as night. And there were small fires raging, little dancing devils of fire. And before you knew it, the wind was kicking up. This is wind I've never seen in my life. The only time I've ever seen this is in South Africa. It's like a devil wind, which is
he was devil worshiping in South Africa?
Fire like crazy.
Is that what he said?
And this morning, I thought I was going to wake up. I'm at my friend Danny and Laura's house,
falling out.
and I thought,
how much
they
power
have
do I
no
have left on these
electricity.
things anyway?
I thought that I would wake up, and I thought the fires would be out, but they're still raging.
Nope.
And it's just terrible. This is the biggest fire I've ever seen in my life.
Crap.
Yeah, many of us hoped that the fires would be out this morning, but unfortunately not the case.
Well, many of the fire evacuees, they had to leave everything behind, including life-saving medication. It was either lost, left behind, or they needed a refill. Mickey Fine Pharmacy, though, is here to help. They've been busy refilling prescriptions, whether it's for asthma, blood pressure. They've been contacting doctors so everyone can get their life-saving medication.
Anyone who is evacuated and unfortunately they lost their homes or they're in a situation of transitioning and they lost their medication or left their medications behind, we're trying to accommodate and help all these patients. Yes. So far we've been very busy. People are in Pacific Palisades or the areas around. They've been coming to Beverly Hills and getting their prescriptions from us.
Did the mayor say that?
We do have a good
put on a
connection with
mask and stay
doctors. We
inside?
have
Does
a
she
lot
know
of
what's going
doctors.
on?
We can call them directly.
Everybody coming together to help. The pharmacy says it also has concierge doctors on site to interview patients on their immediate medical needs.
Yeah,
In
Biden
some
was there
cases,
with
they can
he's
deliver
having a
the
baby.
medications to
Biden's having
evacuees.
a
But again,
grandbaby.
those
You can't leave it
areas
till
are
it's
limited, of
born,
course, due to
so you
travel
can-
times and just
he gets the
down power
first-
lines and just trying to get to
what's
where
the
they need to go.
Yeah,
hang on a second. What's the
Well, a pillar of the Jewish
I'll figure it out.
community in
Give
the
me a
Pacific
second, okay,
Palisades
Kimbap?
in the path of the fire, the Chabad of Pacific Palisades posted on social media a photo of members of the congregation holding the Torahs that were saved. They say the storage area has suffered severe damage, as well as several cars in the parking lot. The synagogue has been in touch with congregants, some who have not yet evacuated. Well, SkyCal is live overhead as fires leave a path of destruction across Southern California.
Yeah, so Kimbap,
Right
yeah,
now,
Biden's there
SkyCal
because
is
they're
headed
having
to
a
the
great
fire from
grandbaby.
the
He's got to get
Palisades
the
fire
placenta
area,
to make
and you can
fresh
see
adrenochrome.
what the SkyCal and people in this area have to contend with. A giant blanket of dark black smoke over the area now. And it's interesting with all this, the winds we've been having, you would think that some of this smoke would be pushed out over the Pacific Ocean, but it's not the case. It is sitting over our area right now. So that's something that we need to be worried about over the next days, perhaps even weeks. If you have respiratory issues,
we all have
issues with
respiratory
allergies
issues
as well, it's quite
the
problem. Our assignment editor, Mike Rogers, live at the desk now. He has an update for us.
All right, hold on,
Mike,
Sam.
what's
We're done
going
with
on?
this.
Yeah, you know, that's the Eaton fire that we're looking at, and that was the number that we just got, the 5 dead. And, you know, we're being a little more conservative with where we're flying the helicopter. You know, there's concerns by our crew up there about safety. We certainly don't want to put them in a situation where they feel unsafe. So that's why we're not necessarily as close to the fire as we would like to be. But what you're looking at is the intense cloud layer, smoke layer, I should say, that is covering the better part of the San Fernando Valley and, of course, the San Gabriel Valley. And it's really kind of incredible just how thick that smoke has gotten. I don't know anybody else who woke up this morning. I didn't realize what time it was because.
All right, we're sharing this.
PCH last night, and we're destroying the homes there and the abandoned vehicles. You know, I heard from people comparing it to Lahaina as well. It's just absolutely devastating that this is happening in our area of the greater Los Angeles.
But as bad as this is,
really
both of those fires were worse. What happened in Paradise and Lahaina, because of the geography of both of them, there really was no place for those people to go, which is why we saw in both of those the death toll was higher than what we're seeing here. That being said, this is absolutely devastating, and nobody wants to lose their home. And in terms of the 3 fires we've had, the only one that we know of where there was loss of life
everybody's
is the
changing
Eaton
their
fire.
cameras. They got to
We
find
know
new
of at least
feeds.
5 people that have lost their life in this fire.
Oh, Blue Dog's
and
upset.
you really get a sense of what's happening in the neighborhood here from Gino Arias behind the wheel and Christy Fajardo narrating as they take the Fox 11 news van in this neighborhood and try to give people a sense of what's happened to their homes.
All right, we want to check in with our photographer, Sam Dubin, who is there. You made your way up to a trail that you're familiar with in the Pacific Palisades.
Yeah, this is on Westridge, and Sam's got about a 9-second delay, so we're going to ask him one question, Sam. Just basically tell us what you are seeing.
Yes, I have, Marla and Alex. So I'm going to start talking right now.
Okay, I'm glad you told us.
Yes, so you guys, this is the front of the fire here, those flames. I'm shooting into the sun, so I apologize if it's hard to see, but these flames are the front of the fire right here. And what they're burning on is the Sullivan Ridge Fire Road. So it's actually a very popular mountain biking and hiking trail. And it's wide enough that you can put a vehicle or a fire engine and also a bulldozer on there. So what they've done is they've made a humongous containment line here. I'm going to pan very slowly because I have a big delay here. So they've built a humongous containment line here, and this is the front of the fire, and there's really barely any flame left. So it looks like they're doing a good job of holding it here. And just below, you can't see it's in the
Are they
canyon,
fighting
but
it?
down below is Sullivan
Or is it
Canyon.
natural?
And that's a major natural gas pipeline that's owned by SoCal Gas. And if that were to catch on fire, that'd be very bad. So I have a feeling that they're really going to try hard to keep the fire and the flames above the ridge. But so far, this is the front of the fire, and this is kind of it. It's just smoky, a tiny little bit of flame here and there, some dry brush. But up on that ridge, they have just made a humongous dozer line on that mountain bike trail on the Sullivan Ridge Trail, and they're doing water drops.
Oh, they have
and
made
so
a dozer
far,
line.
I've been up here for
That's
about an
good.
hour. The fire has not progressed, so that's very, very good news. And I don't think they'll let it burn Sullivan Canyon because of that natural gas pipeline. Alex and Marla.
That is great news. Very encouraging to see. I mean, Sam taking us to the top here of Sullivan Canyon Trail, as you said, very popular with mountain
You guys know a
bikers.
tube
He
of
being
Ritz
one of them.
crackers,
And
you know?
this is the work that we weren't seeing, you know,
I
sort of
just
happening
opened one
behind the
up.
scenes to prevent the spread. So it's
And
great
2
to see that
crackers
they
are the
have
only 2 I have
used the
that didn't hit the
dozers and they've cut those fire lines. And now he's zooming in to see one of those, in fact, up there on the ridge. So they are actively working to do what they can to contain these fires. This one in particular, of course, the most devastating, the Palisades fire, almost 16,000 acres.
Sam Dubin putting in many hours, was working until 7 o'clock in the morning, got about an hour break, was out with me this morning with the president, and now up in Pacific Palisades. Sam, thank you. We will go back to you as that firefight there continues,
All right, let's see
as we
here.
continue to keep an eye on 3 different fires burning right now in Southern California. Again, as we approach the 3:30 mark,
Many structures just destroyed in a matter of, what, about 30 hours. We are continuing to show you images from the ground, but I know we also have SkyCal that has been up again today. Yesterday, the helicopter wasn't up. The president was in town, and then we had the strong winds, and it made it a little more difficult to see exactly where a lot of this destruction was, but we are definitely getting a ground view of it right now. Our crews have been out there just showing us as much as they can. A lot of people watching, trying to see if their home is still standing. And a lot of people, unfortunately, have seen their homes on our air, whether it's been burning or, it just is really, really tough to see.
All right, let's go to SkyCal. As we mentioned, SkyCal is live overhead. Yes, this is a live picture there. You're looking at that dark plume of smoke there, this cloud of smoke as fires leave a path of destruction all across Southern California.
That's good, Rosa.
We're right now headed to the Eaton fire. So once it gets there, we're going to finally get a firsthand look at the destruction from SkyCal down below. Because as you know, over the last couple of days, due to those strong, heavy winds, not only have firefighters been hindered from sending up air support, but news choppers as well, like SkyCal, have been grounded due to the dangerous conditions. But you can just see just how incredible the smoke coverage is there.
Yeah, we see that little peak of sunshine in there, but otherwise it looks like a dark sky. Mike Rogers, of course, on the breaking news desk, and you've been getting new information.
Yeah, and I wanted to point out where he's looking right now in SkyCal. For reference, SkyCal is almost over the Montrose area, so that's where he's looking at it from. And this area is almost right where the fire started. This is that hillside that we saw it spark off of last night and then move significantly to the east. Now, there are flight restrictions, so we won't be able to get much closer. Our pilot is concerned about getting too much higher because of the wind. So this is probably one of the best shots that we're going to get, at least for now, of the Eaton fire. But you can see as it still moves to the east there, you can see all of the smoke that is still billowing. I'm going to ask Oliver, if you can pan left and push into where that kind of black smoke is. We know that black smoke generally indicates either some sort of structure or home that is on fire. And you can see that is still happening. And we've seen that from our reporters
Holy
as well.
cow. I looked away.
It's kind of
like see all the tabs and stuff that are open?
We
Gosh,
don't
that's
very
black.
frequently get these multi-day kind of fire events like this, where we are day after day watching things.
It's still
continue
0%
to burn, continue
contained.
to push through cities, continue to push through neighborhoods.
Let me double check that right
we
now.
see the eerie scene there where you have the smoke that's just kind of laying low there after it's ripped through these cities. I mean, we're talking Altadena, Pasadena. There's even evacuations in Glendale, Sierra Madre, Arcadia, Monrovia, a very good chunk of the San Gabriel Valley now dealing with these evacuations.
Right, I'm going to show you this fire map real quick, and then I'm going to.
And again, I believe this is close to where the fire started.
You believe that? I'm being
and again, all of the fires that we're talking about have not had any causes.
Enough not to
I also
do it
want to reiterate to our viewers that the LA County Sheriff's Department confirming to me, that 5 people have died.
I don't think it makes
in the
sense.
Eaton fire. So right now they are not able to provide any kind of circumstances, any kind of information as to how that happened.
Wrong one. No, I got to turn the. I can't have the talking in the back of my ears, Like I feel like I'm hearing myself. So look at this. This is this is kind of bigger. Oops. I don't want that big. Let's back out. All right. So these are the major fires. Lydia, Hearst, Woodley, Palisades one that started. Then there's Hearst. Then the Eaton. Now Woodley and Lydia are new. And we got Olivis is another one. There's these are cameras of the places. You have to follow the link. I don't want to go through all that stuff. But anyway, what I want to do is the camera's moved. All right, hang on a second. So let's reload this. You guys still here? All right. Look on the right side there. Palisades, Eaton, Hers, Lydia, Woodley, Oliva, all 0% contained. All of it is 0% contained. I mean, it's just sucks. I mean, that's not live. I was gonna see there's another live thing where he goes, oh, here you go. Look, we got a plane
from Cal Fire that is working on this right now for us. So lots of aircraft in the air. It's such a nice thing to see as compared to yesterday, you guys.
No doubt. What a relief to see those planes in the air. And with every fire retardant drop, it's a little bit of hope that maybe they can start getting some containment.
How good are those
Mike,
fire
earlier,
retardants?
you had mentioned to us that the U.S. Navy was going to be sending us 10 helicopters with buckets, water buckets, to help in the fight. Any word on a timeline for that yet?
So not that we're working on that with the Navy. I was just looking on the radar to see if I can see any of them headed up this way. There's a ton of, obviously, as there always is in San Diego, a ton of aircraft activity down
You know
there, so I
what's
can't
the
really
best thing about this?
what might be coming here and what is.
They sent out the call to evacuate.
So,
The
we're gonna work with
military
the
wasn't
Navy to
there. The
figure out
police
the
weren't
deployment
there.
of those and
People
figure
got
out
in their
when,
cars and they
they're
left.
going to get here.
And
But I can
everybody
tell you,
got
I mean,
out.
we've got
That's
like,
what's amazing.
You know, Orange County Fire Authority had a helicopter up here yesterday. We've got Ventura County is fighting the
All right, guys.
fire on the Malibu side. We've got LA City Water dropping helicopters
Come
fighting
back.
it on the LA side.
9:30
That's just the Palisades
ish,
fire. Then we've got
9:15,
LA County
9:15.
using
How
their
does that sound?
helicopters
9:15 Eastern.
on the
We'll
Eaton
do
fire,
coin pushers.
fixed-wing aircraft on the Eaton fire,
time.
and then we've got
We'll do if
some
there's
more
any
Black
updates
Hawks.
between now and then.
There's the retardant drop.
And
it's so nice to
guys,
see, right?
it's
And
been a
then
good
you've
4
got
hours
you know,
with you.
more helicopters up at that other fire,
Man,
Sky Cranes.
I got
as
to
well,
stand to
which
walk
holds
around.
some
I got to
water.
pick up the
So,
crackers. That are
we've
all
got
over
a lot
the
of
floor.
air power here, which is really nice.
Yeah, and you know, earlier, I mean,
Air
of
power is
course,
always
all
nice.
the air support
Yeah.
is helpful, but we do know that earlier during a news.
Guys, again, this is a historic event. Thank you for sharing it with me. I appreciate you guys. Oh, where all the mutual aid is. The aid is on its way. They said 1,000 fire trucks are on their way. So it's a hell of a thing, y'all. It'll be interesting. So this is day 2. Started streaming this at what, 4 o'clock yesterday? 26 hours ago. It's 0% contained. Once they start fighting it, it'll be interesting to see how long that takes. And then, man, they say they're complaining about being dry now. If it rains, you have mudslides and all that wonderfulness. This is horrible, man. This is just horrible. So, guys, thank you so much for spending time with me. Thank you for getting me through this afternoon. You guys are my best friends. You are. You don't see anybody around here I talk to. My wife just like stuck her head in the door. She didn't even say hey or anything. I'm just kidding. Blue Dog be my best friend. When she finds those crackers on the floor, I got to pick those up. Guys, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Be safe out there. Don't forget about 9:15 night. Wait for that notification. Make sure you're sub. Make sure you got notifications turned on. We'll do some coin pushing because it's Elvis's birthday. We got to celebrate. Happy birthday to the king. Hail to the king, baby.
I woke up to go get me a cold pop. And then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got her. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop. Then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Jesus, 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 it's a fire. Oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Ain't nobody got time for that.